The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stunner! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this massive Overreaction Monday, October 7th, 2024, this program starts now. Football! It is awesome. College football had so many upsets this past week, and we're going to have to address it here rather soon. And then you roll into NFL Sunday, and there's storylines brewing all over the place. There's already teams looking ahead to the draft, it seems like, with what is possible and what isn't possible. And speaking of possible, is it possible that this Ravens team is better than they've ever... I don't want to talk about Joey Flacco at times with the Baltimore Ravens.
Of course not.
Sure. Okay, I don't want to do that.
No.
Because obviously that defense that they had was spectacular, legendary, filled with Hall of Famers, littered with greatness over there. And Joey Flack still doing it at a very high level, deserves a dub yesterday against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which we'll talk about. But this Baltimore Ravens team, it feels unfair with what they did on the offensive side of the ball whenever they bring Derrick Henry in. And Lamar Jackson looks better than he's ever looked. You know, he lost some weight. He lost some weight coming into this season. Said he wants to be quicker, agile. Let's go to the AFC North matchup that stole the conversation for a lot of people. He bobbles the snap, drops the snap, which would end up happening later in a massive time. But what's he do? Get off me! Woo. Get off me! Extends the play, falling out of bounds. Wow. Fadeaway throw to Likely for his second touchdown of the day. Both of these quarterbacks went absolutely ham. Let's go to the fourth quarter. 1:40 left. Justin Tucker, who people have been questioning, hits from 56, plays the wind beautifully, lines that thing up outside of the upright. The amount of confidence you have to aim outside the upright and have that thing play back into the middle so you can send the thing to overtime. So it's 38 in overtime. Cincinnati Bengals get into field goal range, the exterior of it, mess around, find out that not necessarily easy to do. There's a lot of factors in a field goal. There's a snap, there's a hold by an undrafted rookie. It slips through the hands. Money Mac sticks with him, though, which I respect and appreciate. Still tries to get the kickoff in overtime. It ends up being a miss. I think it even hit the guy's hand on the way out. So let alone falling, slipping. You know, it slips underneath there. If it wasn't such slippery turf, maybe it catches the ball. His right hand, too, still on the ball. Okay, normally hold with the left hand there. Keep the runway clear for the ball. So not only does it fall, so McPherson has no idea where the ball is going to be set up whenever he tries to kick it. It gets set back up, and he's putting it up with his right hand. Then his pinky, his ring finger, and his middle finger are all blocking that kick, too. So it's like a triple whammy of, oh, no, nightmare, slip, nightmare, block, nightmare, overtime, nightmare, AFC North matchup, nightmare, you're giving the ball to Lamar Jackson right there. Right. And this particular offense had been rolling all day. It was a shootout between these two teams, and Derrick Henry closes the game with how he started a bunch of games this year with the Baltimore Ravens with a long one, putting the GOAT, Justin Tucker, in field goal range, and he knocks home a 20-yarder for the Baltimore Ravens to get a win.
Huge stuff.
Great game. Special teams, obviously a big deal there, and that's how that's going to go. Then let's also chit-chat about the Texans getting a massive win over the Buffalo Bills. You know, this was the Josh Allen-Stephon Diggs matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Revenge game, spike game. Who's going to get the most of the other person? Now, I'm learning a lot about both these guys.
Good Lord.
Sure. Okay? I'm learning a lot.
On and off the field.
Stephon Diggs, there's reports on the internet. He's doing it down there.
Be careful.
He's all over. Let's go to the game, shall we? C.J. Stroud continues to be an absolutely dazzling performer. How you doing, C.J.? What are you? Boom! Nico Collins in a bucket. How are you going to react, C.J.? Cold. Ice cold. Has been that way since he got into the NFL for the Houston Texans last year. Classic go here from Nico Collins. And C.J. Stroud has the arm strength to drop it in. You think to yourself, wow, this Houston Texans team is for real. Let's go to the end of the game here. 2020 tie ball game. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen had to lead. Houston Texans come back. Let's go to a punt from Tommy Townsend, acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion. 49-yard line, going in. Need to pin him deep, 30-some seconds. Now, Buffalo does not have any timeouts, but need to make him go the long way because field goal kickers kick long balls these days. Pins them very deep. Now, we pin them as punters. Defense, you go get them. Okay, what are the Buffalo Bills going to do? Well, they're going to try to move the ball to get in field goal range. They obviously have Josh Allen. Let's go for it. Oh, they take a shot down the sideline.
Nope.
Incomplete. Clock stops. Houston still has all 3 timeouts. Another shot down the side. Incomplete. Another one. All they did was waste about 10 seconds of clock right there. 3 failed plays. Now you got a backed up punt. Okay, normally 14 to 15 yards is the operating punt distance from snapper to punter. Sam Martin has to shimmy up a little bit closer to the line, which means what? Well, we got to get the punt off quicker. Anytime you're in a backed up punt situation, first thing, don't step out of bounds. Don't be Dan Orlovsky. Don't be an asshole.
Of course.
Okay, especially in this tie ball game. This will lose us the game. You step out of bounds, that's game over. Don't do that. Sam Martin, a veteran, been around. And the next goal is get it out. Don't get it blocked. A lot of block kicks yesterday. We'll talk about it. He does both, stays in bounds, gets it out, hits a long liner, okay, trying to flip the field, get him on the other side of the 50 because the field goal range these days is bananas. Because of that, they're able to receive it, get north and south, have like a 13-yard return. Then CJ does a little drop off. Then Kaimi Fairbairn, the points king for the Houston Texans, hits a 59-yarder to win the game. And this thing starts left, comes back to the middle, and Houston goes bananas after a massive comeback victory. And I'd like to point out, in that particular game, all 3 phases showed up in the last minute to win. Tommy Townsend pins him. Defense, everybody's talking about Josh Allen and the play calling by Brady. McDermott, this guy's a doofus. A lot of Bills fans are saying, I think I saw in some overreaction things. Defense also shut it down. They get a first down there. They're able to move and get scored. Houston shuts them down, 3 and out. Now they get back. CJ does a smart thing, ends up with the clock management at 1 second. Then Kaimi Fairbairn comes in and hits it. That's all 3 phases of football playing great for D'Amico Ryans down there. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler, looking incredibly cool today.
Wow.
This is one of the coolest fits that I've seen. That's a huge win down there in Houston. And the way they got it done is like football IQ through the roof there.
Big win. Huge, obviously, late game execution. We saw it on Thursday Night Football with Kirk Cousins, getting him down, throwing it, getting down, getting a field goal. Similar situation there with C.J. Stroud. He just seems to always make the right plays at the end of the game. Now, on the flip side of that, I was kind of with Scott Hansen. I was getting a red zone call of this. What are they doing? What are they doing? Do they not know the situation? You got 96, 97 yards to go. Obviously, you got a good offense, good quarterback. Didn't play great yesterday. But very questionable clock management, game management down the stretch. But on the flip side, Houston Texans, they did what they needed to do to win a big game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared about this Houston Texans team.
Yeah, sure.
And I am worried about the Buffalo Bills. I'm pumped up for the Ravens. Obviously have some questions about the Bengals. Who are 1-4 now. Joey B said we're not in there. But let's go to Sunday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys go into Yinzerville.
Whoa.
Yinzertown.
What?
In front of the Yinzer mob after a 90-minute delay and steal a win at 1 a.m. on the last play of the game for the Dallas Cowboys. Tone Diggs, I know you're one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, are you Dahn today about how that one ended and the fact you stayed up until the very last play for your heart to be broken?
Yeah, I am Dahn today, and I hate watch that whole game. When the kickoff is at 9:45, I was already pissed. And I already knew what was going to happen because as a Steelers fan, this has happened so many times in the last few years. I knew. I mean, it's always a one-score game in their games, but I knew it was going to come down to the end. I was going to have my heart broken. I was going to be up at 1 a.m. Then I was going to take an hour to fall asleep because I was so pissed off and I was just reading Twitter. And that happened. Defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. Offense couldn't convert on 3rd downs. There's a missed block here. There's a missed block there. Everyone's doing their job. There's just one. It's just one thing after another. And yeah, you lose to a Cowboys team that was basically an infirmary. They had no one on defense. Their offense was with guys that you've never heard of. It was an awesome night to be a Steeler fan. And basically the same old shit day after day, year after year.
Whoa. Tony.
Here we
go. Steelers. Here we go.
Nah.
What?
I go to the playoffs, I guess. Maybe.
Don't be so bummed out. Teams would die to get to the playoffs. Elon Musk was in the building. He had a better towel twirl than J.J. Watt did whenever J.J. was shown up in the suite or whatever. But all eyes were on Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh showed up after that 90-minute delay.
Yeah, they did.
And you know who else did? Dak Prescott gets a win.
Wow.
A game-winning drive in Pittsburgh on Monday night at 1 a.m. with players, to your point, that we had never heard of. I think Dak Prescott moves up in the conversation. This guy's worth $60 million a year.
Yeah, and not going to his best player a ton. You know, had a big pick that he threw down in the end zone to CD. I'm sorry, and on the sideline they had a little spat, read some lips. What's going on? Didn't get targets for I feel like a couple quarters. Jalen Turbert. Unbelievable night. Finish it with the 4th and goal. Ricky Dahn in the backfield. He took over kind of RB1.
Well, had a fumble on the second down.
He did. That was a tremendous play from the linebacker. That was some typical Pittsburgh linebacker.
23 right there, Rico. Nobody really heard of before the night. Had a huge night for the
Scary moment for the Cowboys. But for him to get it done, 4th and goal, dramatic fashion, crossing route. Called it. Wasn't an easy catch, too. It was a contested catch for a walk-off win. Pretty much a walk-off win. I mean, that was a tough way to go out at home for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it was an Elon curse. You know, he had
what?
He showed up earlier in Pennsylvania,
curse.
jumping around, doing his whoop-de-woo. He did have a decent towel twirl.
Pretty good towel twirl,
pretty good twirl.
So is this there's an Elon? How many other games has he gone to? We do have to check.
I don't know. It's starting right now.
This is his first.
We're starting right now.
Starting right now.
0 for 1 from Idaho. I like how filled up the stadium was after the 90-minute delay. And then at 1 a.m., I like how filled up it was.
Yeah.
Now, follow up to that. So many pissed off Yinzers on the Parkway last night. You guys have no idea. I couldn't even fathom what was being said about the Pittsburgh Steelers organization from top to bottom.
Anybody could get it last night.
Literally, I couldn't even fathom the amount of gripping on a wheel. I'm 2:30 a.m. on Monday morning.
Kidding me?
Disaster.
I'm up for this. This organization. And then Matt Canada was probably getting it in a lot of cars last night. I have no idea who from the Pittsburgh Steelers organization was safe from anything being said by pissed off Pittsburgh dads last night on their trip home at 1:50. Well, in traffic, getting out of down there, we got to walk all the way to the car. Of
course.
So they're pissed at the city for the way it was designed. Getting out of there, you got to get on these. Only a couple ramps could get you out of that particular part of town. Those things are clogged up. We're not going to make it home until 3 a.m. Why? Because we got to see the Steelers get their asses beat by the Dallas Cowboys. I couldn't even fathom the misery level of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from 12:55 a.m. until about 4 a.m. all across Western Pennsylvania. What a time! I didn't even think about that till right now.
I can tell you who was getting it. Starting from the top, Mother Nature. They were pissed. They were super pissed at Mother Nature.
It's supposed to be midnight.
Yep. Super pissed at Mother Nature. Super pissed at Omar because there's no wide receivers.
Obviously, right. Joe Nardo would have. Joe Nardo would have had a shield out there to get that.
Probably
score.
a lot of miss you Joes.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people saying this wouldn't happen if Joe was here.
Super pissed at Tomlin. Super pissed at Artie. Super pissed at George Pickens. Super pissed at the highest paid defense in the league. Yeah, everyone was super pissed.
Pissed at Russell Wilson though.
No, Russ wasn't getting. Well, actually, there was a lot of Russ.
No.
Russ and Matt Canada were actually the stars of the night.
What about TJ?
Wow. TJ Watt got held all the time. He got his 100th sack.
Yeah, people do love TJ. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, let's get TJ to a team where he can win a Super Bowl."
What?
That's not me.
That's 2:30 a.m. That's 2 a.m. on a highway.
I saw some tweets like that.
Thought I heard it at like 10 o'clock today. But
Yeah, I was reading a tweet.
Oh.
That's what you mean.
Okay, yeah. Well, it sounded like it was coming from your own brain.
No.
But I do appreciate that.
Big Mike had a good homecoming.
He
He
did.
had a big contingency there. A lot of family there in the
He said
stands.
he got to see his dad yesterday.
Yeah.
Went over there. I wondered about the Dallas Cowboys being on Central Time, which is 1 hour behind, actually helping them.
Yeah,
Actually helping them because of how late that game was. It was only midnight for them. 1 a.m., I guess, was the end time, 12:59. There was no chance I was up for it. Watch it this morning. Electrifying.
Great.
Electrifying ending to a Sunday night football game that you're in second quarter there. It's 11:30, 11:45. It's 6-3. I mean, that thing.
It's tough.
That thing was asking people to fall asleep
watch.
during that game.
Good watch,
But
yeah.
then the end was worth it completely. Shout out to Sunday Night Football making it happen. Shout out to Football Night in America having to fill 90 minutes, you know. Showed a lot of highlights. Got a chance to see that, some more pieces. Yesterday was fantastic for most teams. Now let's go to the toxic table. Kind of a split atmosphere, kind of a split vibe. Bruce Brown, New York Giants, not bad.
Not bad at all. I mean, Danny Dimes played pretty well. He's kind of handcuffing us now, where maybe he is worth $40 million and our franchise quarterback moving forward. Tyron Tracy, Eric Gray on the ground replacing Big Motor. They played phenomenal defense, pass rush. 4 sacks in the fourth quarter.
Wide?
Kind of shutting the door. And then, the exclamation point, Isaiah Simmons going up and over, blocking that field goal for the win. A little cold water to throw on it. The offense did kind of shut down in the fourth quarter again, and we did need to block a field goal to win.
Okay, Seattle's a good football team in Seattle.
Great defense.
That's just think about how long of a flight that is. I mean, that's 6.5, 7 hours
at least
from Jersey all the way to Seattle. Then you got to deal with the fans up there, which are incredibly loud. To get a win over Gino and the boys, I think you should be incredibly pumped. Not cold water needed, Maybe they just decide to rest for next week because they know they're about to go on a run here. That's what
Hopefully. I will also say Dexter Lawrence is just unbelievable. He is the best nose in the league by a mile. The guy is fucking unstoppable.
How many sacks did he end up with or whatever?
Ooh, I think maybe 3.
Yeah, whatever the case. He was dancing in the backfield, and Sexy Dexy's a great name, and he also has a phenomenal personality. Anytime he's on a microphone, it is great. A lot of block kicks yesterday. A lot of block kicks yesterday, and botch kicks. We'll certainly dive into it. And then next to Bruce Brown at the Talks table is that Boston Connor. Boy.
Yeah.
Con man. Let's go back to Friday, you talking about this Patriots-Dolphins game.
Sure. This is the under bowl of the century. You close your eyes, you pick a player, and you take their under.
Okay, so Patriots-Dolphins did it the under.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a crop game. What is your big takeaway? Is the Miami Dolphins in Snoop Huntley get a big win over the New England Patriots of the AFC East?
Yeah, I mean, big takeaway for me, of course, look out for the Finns. They're second in the AFC East now. I mean, let's not sleep on them when Tua comes back.
Wide open.
But for me, going into, week 6 now after this week 5, we're on to the draft, okay, people? I understand everybody wants a competitive team, and I get, hey, we need to play Drake May, Jacoby Brissett. He's not getting it done for the offense. And some people I even see saying, this offensive line for the Patriots played pretty well. Okay. I don't care. I don't think anybody in New England should care. We watch teams. What do we start with? We started with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And how good is that team? Top to bottom.
Lamar yesterday
Yeah.
had 2 guys following him.
Yep.
Okay, he had 2 guys following him. He's running like this. He looks over his shoulder. He sees him. He gives him one of these. They both 10 yards that way.
See you later.
Then he flips it back. It was an incomplete. That was a failed play.
Yeah.
That was a failed play, and 2 people just got absolutely shook. That is what we're looking at whenever we're judging AFC. Hey, gone. Those guys are gone. Incomplete. Okay, incomplete. That play doesn't even count for them.
No.
That doesn't even. But when you're watching them, it's like, I don't know anybody on my team could do that.
Yeah, I don't think the Patriots have players like that right now playing. Now, I have very high hopes for Drake May. Personally, I am already solidified Drake May as a Hall of Famer. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see him play football this year, okay? Matter of fact, I don't want to see him play football this year. I don't think it's worth it. I think there's a chance he goes out there and he might get hurt. I know for a fact that he goes out there and he throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns no matter what.
Which is good.
Which is great. We don't need that. What we need is number 12 who plays for Colorado, Travis Hunter. And we need that boy living in New England. Let me just say, first of all, Travis, there's great fishing in New England. There's lakes all over the place. You ever heard of Lake Winnipesaukee? It is gorgeous. It's up there in New Hampshire. You can go up there. It's great. That's just lake fishing. You want to go deep sea fishing? You ever seen the movie The Perfect Storm? You can go up to Gloucester, hop on one of the illustrious boats that they have, and they can take you out into the deep sea, and they can show you a great time. But when it comes to this season for New England,
it is October 7th.
It's October 7th, and we need to start looking ahead to the games that matter, okay? We have the Jags in London. Need to lose that game. Not even a question. Okay?
Jags get their first win yesterday against a game Colts team.
Bingo. And we needed that. That was a big play by both the Colts and the Jags. Thank you to both of those teams. And we don't have to talk about the Texans next week coming to town. Let's just not even play. We don't have to play the Houston Texans. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want anybody for the Texans to get hurt because, again, one of those teams you look at in the AFC, holy shit. How do we get guys like that? How do we get a Nico Collins? I'll tell you, we lose to the Jags in London. Maybe get blown out by the Jags in London. Then we can put Drake May in for the second half, get some reps. You guys can see what I already know. He's a Hall of Famer. Then later on in the year, we got the Titans. See, we're competing with the Jags, the Titans, the Browns, and the Andy Dalton, Bryce Young Panthers. Those 4 teams are the ones that I got eyes on. I know you guys want to talk about the playoffs. Hey, the Steelers might go to the playoffs. Hey, one of D-But's 8 teams might go to the playoffs.
Joey
Flack is back. I mean, it's electric.
I mean, we lose, but we give up 400 and some yards to the Jacksonville Jaguars that have been offensively inept. But yeah, we're going playoff.
Yeah, who knew their backup running back was freaking Emmitt Smith?
Tank Bigsby was running on
running wild, bro. Yesterday.
What's that?
Unbelievable. He looked like LT. Prime LT yesterday.
Yeah.
And we have, on defensive side, we got guys that will make tackles. We got guys that will make tackles.
EJ Speed.
Tank Bigsby was all over. But offensively, there was a couple. I think the turf was incredibly slick. This is, this guy's unbelievable. Fourth quarter right here.
See you later.
Fourth quarter.
Game on the line, 7-point ball game. Like, come on, you catch a
He's
call.
pointing at him. We got a lot of guys out. We had a lot of guys out.
Exactly.
Okay, we had Ryan Kelly was out, obviously. AR, Anthony Richardson was out. I don't know what's going on with the oblique. We had Joey Flack. Joey Flack goes bananas.
So good.
Kenny Moore was out.
Default.
Okay, that's a big deal. DeForest Buckner out for, I guess, the season and everything like that. So we got a lot of guys out, a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of
No excuses. That's why you put a good, deep roster together in the offseason. So, everybody's got to get looked at. Obviously we got the backup quarterback, Joe Flacco. He came in there and did his thing. I think we'll talk about that later, but he did his thing.
Not right now.
Everywhere Flacco goes, he hoops. Look,
Kevin Durant with one of the greatest tweets in the history of the NFL. Just perfectly worded. Put Flacco anywhere, he's going to hoop. Hey. Amen, KD.
Nailed it.
And his football analysis is spot on because that does appear to be the case. Now, we've wondered this a lot about Joe Flacco. Why is the interest always seemingly, and this isn't a loss to the Jags. So the Jags fans, just understand this. Watching you guys do your thing yesterday was cool to see. Yeah. Good for you guys.
Good job, Jags.
Happy for the Jags fans. We have lost now 11 straight years in Jacksonville. I have no idea why. I think those pools are captivating to Colts.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. But like Joe Flacco had that one year where he was on the Jets, right? And then he leaves the Broncos. He goes to the Jets. It doesn't work out as good, so I guess some people sour on him. Yeah. Everywhere else he's been, he plays winning football and is beloved.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time yesterday on the sideline, Anthony Richardson was sitting like next to Joe Flacco, and they were like laughing, like having a joke. It's like everybody loves Flacco. He seemingly understands every single offense, can make every single throw, and he's the best tackling quarterback in the NFL. Found out yesterday. Don't love that.
See that.
Don't love that. We had to find that out yesterday, obviously. A pick had to happen for that to take place. But he made a great tackle. It's like this guy's running, this guy's throwing, he understands the offense, he's leading. It's like, why? I guess because he's 39 years old.
And as someone who watched him for 10 years in the division, these last 2 years with the Browns and now with these few games.
Look at this, 39 years old.
Excluding the playoff run.
Footsteps.
This is the best he's ever played in his entire career.
Whoa.
It is.
This has been footsteps from day one.
No, it is not.
Okay. This is what Joey
We used
Flack
to love
does.
when Joe would come into Hines because you knew you were getting a couple picks. You were going the other way.
Alec Pierce had 2 deep balls and that catch.
This is the best Joe's ever played.
And this is the best Alec Pierce has ever played as well.
Sure.
I would just. And
OJT, Josh Down goes up. Look, it wasn't his fault. If this is the best he better play, okay, whatever. But I would give him the keys for the rest of the season. Right now.
Whoa.
Now he is a little long in the tooth. You can't hand it over and say, hey, you're going to be our franchise quarterback going forward. We drafted Anthony Richardson for that reason. I still believe in AR. He is super, super young. And I know a lot of people, hey, how is he going to learn if he's not playing? Look, you learn by watching an old guy do it. Aaron was on last week, and he said, look, that's the best thing for a lot of these young quarterbacks is to learn. I understand Richardson is lightning in the bottle. He's a weapon with his feet, weapon with his arm. I get it. But Flacco, he's going to be on time. He's accurate. And when you're an offense like that, with your receivers, tight ends, offensive line, like that helps everybody when you're on time and on target. So when you get JT back, I think, look, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, he's been, to Diggs' point and to your point, kind of this stat right here with how he's been playing. And AR watching Joe Flacco, especially with the relationship they seemingly have, could be perfect for his career. I know as a fan, that offense looked awesome.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even imagine with JT back there what it would look like, and Ryan Kelly potentially playing. We lose Fries.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was a tough. That was a brutal injury.
For sure.
So that's and to the Jacksonville Jaguars, congrats on first win of the season. Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence have to feel much better today than they did 2 days ago in Jacksonville. And also the Khan family's got to feel much better today than they did 2 days ago, especially with the money they gave Trevor. He want bananas. He want bananas.
I mean, that's kind of a theme. I'm getting sick and fucking tired tired of.
Caleb goes for 300. Justin Fields goes for 300. Trevor Lawrence goes for 300.
Yeah, that was Caleb's, I think, first big passing game. Justin Fields, he's not a 300-yard week in and week out passer. And then Trevor Lawrence looked like who we thought he was going to be coming in as that number 1 pick from Clemson. So, obviously, once again, to your point, we are banged up on the defensive side of the ball. You got to give those guys help on the back end. They were in that
85-yard ball, 60-yard ball.
Right over the top in quarters coverage. That was terrible. The one to Brian Thomas Jr. earlier, he's in the slot. We bite on a hitch route by a tight end and let him go, 70 yards down, 90 yards down the field. You can't do it. I know it's a young guy out there, but you cannot give this up. He's a game record at this point. You got to know 7, got to know where he is in that slot. So to make Trevor Lawrence look like a world beater like that was tough. We got to figure that out on the defensive side of the ball.
Now, to be clear, number 40 on our defensive side, Jalen Jones, he makes plays all the time. I don't know what he does on every other play, but I know he's around highlight. This dude punches balls out. He intercepts balls. Yep. He's around the rock all the time. And he wears the number 40. So that's a big deal. I would assume nobody knows who this guy is.
No way.
AFC Defensive Player of the Week a couple weeks.
Bingo. And I think he's going to continue to do that. This dude is a stud now. Everything else needs to get figured out. Joining us now is a man who might have a little bit more information about the Flacco situation here in Indianapolis and the rest of the situations brewing around the NFL. Senior insider for the NFL on ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the Adam Schefter podcast, Adam Schefter.
Schefter. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey,
happy Monday.
Hey, happy Monday to you as well. We were just ranting about the Colts and, forgetting to put the spotlight on Jacksonville Jags, which once again, congratulations. 11 straight wins over the Colts down there. Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco. How's this discussion go from your standpoint? Like, obviously, I don't know if you have inside information. I don't know if you've seen this situation brew before. How do you see this ending up for the Indianapolis Colts? Joey Flack is a dog. And obviously, through what he did for the Browns last year, you thought the market would be immense. For us, we're able to pay him like $4 million, and he is seemingly playing great football for us. How do you see it going there, Shefty?
Well, when he comes in, he delivers almost always, and he's got experience, he's got production. He's a guy that's valuable to have, and it's amazing that there weren't more teams interested in a guy like this. How do I see it playing out? I think that when Anthony Richardson's healthy, fully healthy, and they're comfortable, I think he goes back to the starting lineup. But it gives you an awful lot of peace, security, comfort to know that you have a quarterback in Joe Flacco that you can turn to. And if Richardson isn't fully right and they don't feel fully comfortable playing him yet, then they go back to Flacco again this week. We said yesterday on Sunday Countdown, the interesting part here will be, well, what happens if Joe Flacco comes on and plays well? And he did play well. Yeah. He played well. He was not the issue in that loss in my mind. And so he gives them time to make sure that Richardson is well before they have to bring him back.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to watch it all. And the Colts got a team. Hey, a lot of football left, Colts.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of football left. Speaking of a lot of football left, I think Jets fans aren't going to want to hear that after what took place yesterday. But did that expedite the Devontae Adams to the New York Jets conversation, you think?
I don't think it expedited. I think it, if anything,
cooled it off.
Slowed it a little bit. Because here's the deal.
Devontae said, I'm not going over there.
No. Look. In the end, ultimately, I still think Devontae wants to go play for the Jets or the Saints. And I think ultimately, in the end, the Raiders figure out a way to work it out with the Jets or the Saints. It's been those two teams. I think it will consistently be those two teams. That doesn't preclude a team like the Bills or the Steelers or the Ravens from monitoring the situation just to see what else could happen. But you're going to need Devontae Adams' cooperation if you're trading a second-round pick to that team to restructure his contract. He's going to want to have to be willing. So even though he doesn't have a no-trade, he does have influence in this particular situation in the form of restructuring his contract for next year and beyond, because he's due like $36.25 million next year, non-guaranteed. There's not going to be a team out there next year that wants to pay Devontae Adams $36.25 million non-guaranteed and carry him on that roster. So either you have to redo it with his help and cooperation, or you have to move on from him. So if you're going to give up, let's just call it a second-round pick, because the Raiders have been adamant that they get a 2, you're going to want some kind of assurance from Devontae that he's going to be there beyond this year. And he's certainly going to be more apt to give that to an organization that he wants to be playing for and a quarterback that he knows well. And the two quarterbacks he knows well and wants to play with most of all are Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr.
So I thought it might have expedited it because Aaron threw the ball to Garrett Wilson, I think 22 targets or something like that. And it was very evident, like, hey, this is who we're going to. And then Lazard, if I need to get the ball anywhere else. So you add another weapon in there. Do they wake up on this all-in year, seemingly, that they're all potentially on, whether, that's because of the owner's choice or everybody else's choice in this entire thing?
In their all-in year, they lost last week to Denver, and they lost yesterday to Minnesota. And Aaron last week hurt his knee, and yesterday hurt his ankle. And there have to be people that say, okay, hold on. Do we want to now trade a second-round draft pick when we're not playing overly well right now? We're not reaching our potential. Do we think that a wide receiver is going to solve the issues that this team has been having? So I don't view that game and that result as making it more likely that the Jets would trade for him. I don't view that at all.
Okay, when do you think this all kind of happens? When do you think it comes to a head?
Anytime. Because Mark Davis is paying Davante Adams $970,000, almost $1 million for each week he's not playing. I don't think Mark Davis wants to do that. So ideally, you'd like to get this resolved. Now, again, you will need to see if the Raiders are willing to pay down any of the money that's due to Davante the remainder of the year, which my understanding is they've been declining to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to pay him any money that's owed. So that makes it tougher for a team like New Orleans to go trade for him because the Saints have just over $4 million in cap space. So you got to make something happen. The Jets have more cap space. They have the cap space that's needed, but there it is. Are we willing to allot all that cap space when you still have Hassan Reddick out there and maybe you might want him back? That's a question that the Jets have to answer. And ultimately, the owner's got to sign off on it. So there are questions with each that I think slow down the process a little in terms of who's absorbing all the financial responsibilities. Can you redo a contract with Davante? Can the sides agree on compensation? All that could happen very quickly, or it could drag a little bit. So,
anytime.
I mean, could it happen today? Sure. But again, they're going to have to pick up some speed and momentum to make it happen today.
Well, yeah, we got Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw tonight.
Come on.
So everybody's probably a little distracted.
Post bad blood.
Yeah, certainly the Raw came back on Saturday. Everybody's probably a little distracted. We got to get back focused. Tuesday, the off day, everybody kind of focuses back in on what the future looks like. Speaking of the future, what's it look like in Pittsburgh? Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, watching and listening to the game last night as Sunday night turned into Monday morning, I was noticing more and more that Tirico and Collinsworth were talking about how this game was huge for Justin Fields potentially moving forward, being the starter, and and how it didn't go great last night. Is there a chance that Russ Wilson, as early as next week, could be the starter in Pittsburgh?
Well, Russell has been getting healthier and healthier, and I think he's now at the point where he is healthy enough to play. So that's going to be a Mike Tomlin decision. I think at some point in time here, it's not going to surprise me if they turn to Russell Wilson. I don't know whether that's next week or the week after. But Justin Fields, they've lost 2 straight games now, the Steelers have. And that's not all on Justin Fields at all.
No.
But they've lost 2. When you're winning every week, as they were the first few weeks of the season, you're not making a quarterback change. When you're losing, that opens the door to discussion and conversation about, is it worth it to go to a guy like Russell Wilson? And I just think that that's a conversation they're going to have. I don't know ultimately what they're going to do, but Russell's at the point now where he was considered the guy when they first traded him. Mike Tomlin anointed him as the starter. He hurt his calf. Justin took over and played well. They won. Now they've lost 2 in a row. Now Russell's healthier. So there are some elements at play here that I think lead to a discussion that I don't know ultimately what they'll decide to do, but I do think at some point in time Russell's going to get a chance.
Yeah, and I think after a 1:30 a.m. drive home from most Pittsburgh dads, with how that thing ended last night, I think it would be received well at this time, just because they're calling for change for everything. And Tomlin understands how Yinzers operate. He understands how passionate the football fans are. He understands how to navigate this situation, but not a bad time potentially to go to Russell. And if he starts winning, holy hell, we're back. And those towels are twirling yet again in Pittsburgh.
Look, they want to be able to run the football. They want to be able to play good defense, and they want to make sure that they don't turn over the football. That's what they want to make sure they do. So if they feel like Russell is going to give them a chance to do that, then maybe you see that change sooner rather than later.
Let's stay in the AFC North. D-Butch got a question for you.
Yeah, no QB questions here. Had a great game between the Ravens and the Bengals yesterday. Bengals are obviously struggling. It's not Joe Burrow's fault. Jamar Chase, on the other side of that, with Joe Burrow, had an unbelievable game against the Ravens once again. Are the contracts talk with him dead for the rest of the season and we'll pick up in the offseason, or what's going on with Jamar Chase?
My understanding was that deal was not getting done this year, that both sides basically had moved on, that Jamar had accepted the fact that the deal wouldn't get done at the level that he wanted it to get done at this season. I think he would like to be there. He said that. I think the Bengals would like to keep him there. They've said that. But they're apart in their respective stances. And so unless somebody changes their stance, I don't see it getting done. And I see that deal being revisited with talks reopened this offseason. Look, here's the thing. Jamar Chase isn't going anywhere. You see the numbers yesterday, 10, 193, 2 touchdowns, always open, correct. And the guy with the ball in his hands is magic. So they're going to get a deal done with this guy. He's not going anywhere. The price isn't going down on him. But they didn't get it done. He took out an insurance policy on the season. They'll revisit this after the year, and they'll figure this out eventually. But it doesn't sound like it's happening in season.
Insurance policy, smart. I had a Lloyd's of London whenever I was franchise tagged. They got me for $60,000. I would have had to lose a leg to get the $20 million.
Literally.
I would have literally on the practice field would have had to lose a leg to do it. So I'm excited to see what Jamar Chase's insurance policy is for. Is that for like $50 million, $100 million, $200 million? Oof. What is that?
Oh, I think it's tens of millions. I was
50.
told it was 50. Then someone called. They're like, that can't be right. I'm like, well, that's what I was told. It was a $50 million policy.
That costs so much. The insurance.
Let's put it this way. He has a insurance policy for a significant amount of money taken out, whatever that is. Millions.
Smart. People say I have an insurance policy out on that field goal kicking contest. I don't, and those are big checks. Congrats to Daniel.
What a moment.
Congrats to Daniel.
That was a great moment. And by the way, like anytime anybody has a team that's struggling with its kicker, they're volunteering your guy from game day there to take over. Here it is. Like, guy stepped up, very clutch, the excitement and energy in the air. That's an awesome kick. And you just see how much it means. Like, look, Pat, you're there. You tell me. You're fired up. He's awesome. Fired up. Everybody's fired up. It's great.
It was magical, man. It was, that's right in the heart of campus there, too. The Campanile there, the bell tower, is a massive piece of it all. It's a part of the photos that you see of Cal Berkeley. And Daniel Villasenor, his first kick, he missed his first kick, but I heard the thud. I heard the thud whenever his foot hit the ball, and I was like, wait a minute. I think we could potentially, and he did. He stepped up. He was locked into, which I was so incredibly thankful for. And then for the $100,000 extra on top of the hurricane relief donation, it's like, I think he genuinely was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. And I appreciate him. I appreciate all of Berkeley for how they treated our show and how they treated us. That was a magical Saturday morning, man. That was a magical Saturday morning. And Daniel was a huge piece of that. Shout out to Vans. I think Vans is going to donate another $100,000 to hurricane relief. And I think they're giving him free shoes. I believe they're giving him, I don't know if it's lifetime supply of shoes or whatever, but Vans is also going to donate. It's like, awesome. What a massive morning in Berkeley to take care of people all the way on the opposite side of the country, and then to come together and celebrate football. It's like, that's what it's all about, Shefty. I saw you posted. I appreciate you doing that, man. That was very kind.
Yeah, I saw it. Like, there are certain things that resonate, right? And when somebody does something like that for the greater good, and you see how much genuine emotion. Look at Herbie there. Herbie's all excited, right? You think,
sure.
It was a very cool moment, and kudos to all who were involved.
Okay, and I would like to point out another thing too here. You got phones on the left side, right? Mm-hmm. But look at everybody else. That's 2 hands up. Everybody else in the crowd. No phones. It was like everybody kind of in the moment too, down the side and everything like that. Herbie, like I told him after I saw this photo, and we were talking about just like how lucky we were to be a part of that moment. Like it was so awesome. And Daniel, what a huge kick, brother. That's uphill, too. That shit was uphill. So that's higher. That's not a normal upright. No. That was a higher upright in this entire thing. But it's like Kirk Herbstreit's pure joy right there. How often does that happen? And it's like, what a cool moment Just a very, very cool moment. Yeah, thank you for showing love on that. Anyways, so Chase's money, Jamar Chase, we get back to it. He had the insurance on his body for this particular season. He goes bananas the last few weeks. T. Higgins went crazy as well. He's on a franchise tag, just a one-year deal. The future of the Bengals certainly interesting. The current of the Bengals also interesting. Joey Burrow saying we're not a championship team right now. They're 1-4. They're slow starters notoriously. But with what the AFC's doing, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs are still undefeated. You worry about the Joey Flacco-led Colts potentially getting in there. But nonetheless, it is the season slipping away. Let's stay in the AFC North. One more. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Chef, just to round it out here, the Browns just look like a shit show every week, and it's not getting any better. Both just the body language on the field and then obviously the results at the end of the game. What is kind of the vibes coming out of Cleveland, and are we going to see any big names moved from their team? Are they going to be selling anybody, especially because of the future cap hits with how big Deshaun Watson's contract is?
Well, they are struggling, and it just feels like when you watch them, everything's a battle. Like nothing really comes easy. And if that continues, then I would think that they would look to move parts. Like they are always an ultra aggressive team, and they're always looking to make moves. And so I think of the name of Amari Cooper. If you can't get it together and you can't get it straightened out, why would you not trade Amari Cooper to some contender? Like people talking about Dallas going after Devontae Adams. Like, Amari Cooper would make some sense there too as well when Dallas isn't going after a guy like Devontae Adams. And Dallas can't afford him. They can't afford Derrick Henry. I don't know if they could afford Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper would be a guy that I would be watching if they keep losing. And I think Cleveland's always looking to make moves. Always.
You bringing up the Cowboys not being able to afford Derrick Henry after what Derrick Henry has done is a nice little subtle shot from you. I do appreciate when Shefty decides
it's not
to
a shot. No. I'm using
just a
the
reminder.
Word that they used.
Just a reminder.
They said that they can't afford him. I didn't say it. I'm using the exact words that they use.
Yeah,
they
big win in Pittsburgh last night or this morning, depending upon what time zone you're in. And just a reminder, what Derrick Henry's doing could be doing for you guys. Could be doing for you guys. I appreciate that. Amari Cooper on the move. Maybe he comes to Colts.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Why? Devontae Adams maybe comes to the Colts.
They play DB?
Yeah, well, we'll figure that out too. We got a lot of weeks. Let's go to a team that just got a massive win over the Rams. The Green Bay Packers had a little situation pop up out of nowhere. Bruce has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, Romeo Doubs suspended this week. I saw reports that he missed practice. Do you have any insight there, and is this going to be a problem moving forward for the Packers and Romeo?
I think this is a really interesting situation for a few reasons. Number one, he was there Wednesday and then didn't show up to work Thursday or Friday. And the team goes out to L.A. on Saturday when they announce his suspension, one-game suspension for conduct detrimental to
What do you mean he wasn't there? He just didn't show up? He just didn't show up at work?
Didn't show up at work.
In Green Bay, there's 2,000 people there. Did anybody see him? Nobody knew?
Was he on a heater at the casino?
Maybe he was. Yeah. It's a great casino over there.
Right?
He wasn't there and didn't show up, and they took the step to suspend him. Now, they said we look forward to welcoming him back this week, and he'll be a part of the rotation. And look, they were missing Watson, so they certainly needed Dobbs. Didn't have him yesterday. They were able to come through and win. But I'm not saying this is the reason there, but I do think in speaking to some people this weekend, here's what came up. It's interesting. In today's day and age, in the world we live in, there's so much discussion about targets and how many targets each receiver gets and fantasy football production with fans sounding off. And let's also remember how much money is going to wide receivers so that when there are certain wide receivers that don't get their targets, they know that could be costing them money, and everybody reacts differently. And obviously, Romeo Doubs, for whatever reason, decided to stay away for a couple of days. Don't know that he was particularly thrilled with the number of passes that went his way. And when you're talking about targets, you're talking about money. So I just think that's part of the world we're living in right now, where that's an issue with a few more players than we probably realize. And I'm just saying that may have been an issue. Certainly people have brought that to my attention over the weekend, and they do think that he'll be back this week, and hopefully he's more content and happy with the targets he does get.
Okay, so targets are opportunities, obviously, is how it's being framed or painted whenever you look at it. And I'm not getting as many opportunities as everybody else on this team. Does that mean the quarterback doesn't like me? Does that mean the play caller doesn't like me? Well, play caller is actually head coach. So then he just gets pissed off and says, I'm not coming to work. That's a wild, this week 5.
Yeah,
going into week 5.
And Love missed a few weeks too, so it wasn't like he was out there with Love for 5 weeks, just not getting.
Malik Willis not throwing him the damn ball.
I mean, this is tough, and this was something that we kind of praised last year with the Packers. Like, hey, no number 1 wide receivers, everybody's running routes, everybody's getting open, everybody's happy. But to your point, what is he, year 2 or 3? 2? 3?
3 now.
Okay, so this is pretty much a contract year for him. Not been a first round pick, but yeah, that's interesting. I'm interested to see what else continues to come from this, because these are obviously humans you're dealing with, so you don't know what else he may have been dealing with away from the field. But I'm interested.
Exactly. We hope he's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
We hope everything's okay, obviously.
Get back out there. And
we hope he's only pissed about football stuff, because although it is petty and wild to do this before week 5, especially with Malik Willis and how the offense was running at those particular times, we hope it isn't something bigger.
For sure.
Where there's a lot of shit going on. Tony, you have some stats?
Now, he did miss yesterday's game, but he's 4th on the team in targets, and that's with Christian Watson being out.
I'll tell you what, Kraft.
He was 1 last year. He definitely got the most targets.
Tucker Kraft came in and said, you throw me the ball whenever the hell you want.
But it's not. This
not like guy went bonkers.
Yes, he did.
You're talking about, I did not have him in a convo about tight ends being unstoppable.
See ya.
He was so fast, explosive, and his moxie, insane. Look at this little quiet, little snoop around there. Let's go. I'm hiding in his zone. Go ahead.
You know what? I remember people telling me about Tucker Kraft last season, that this guy is he is a football player, like in the Mark Bavaro, Jason Witten mold. And then right before their season began, I had some people in the organization tell me about Tucker Kraft. This guy was the real deal. And by the way, Luke Musgrave's targets went down right away. His playtime went down right away. And I think a lot of that had to do with how good Tucker Kraft is, which I think people began to realize and recognize yesterday with that breakout performance.
Huge. Look like Kittle a little bit. Speaking of Kittle, let's go to San Francisco. Conman's got a question for you.
Yeah, Shafty, we all know that you're plugged in with San Fran. Is there any panic going on over there on the West Coast?
Everywhere you're plugged in.
Yeah, of course, everywhere, but San Fran especially. Obviously, Seattle loses and, the Rams lose. So in the division, not as big of a deal with San Fran, even though they lost to the Cardinals. But is there any sort of panic, or is this kind of one of those games where if they have Jake Moody, they think they still win?
Well, for the record, I am plugged in, right
Oh! Gimmicks, Carrot Top! All right, I'm joking.
Look,
shut up, Carrot.
The thing that the Niners have going in their direction right now is that nobody seems to be running away with that division. Seattle loses yesterday at home to the Giants. Arizona comes in to San Francisco and wins. And San Francisco, they blew a lead against the Rams. They blew a lead yesterday. They haven't taken care of what they need to. They haven't been able to close. And again, we just go back to the end of last year, the Super Bowl hangover. I always think that's a real deal. You got guys holding out, guys holding in. You got an injury to your most valuable offensive player. He's still not out there. There are a whole host of factors as to why they're struggling. It doesn't explain blowing leads in those games. And they're still within reach of making noise in that division. But again, the vibes have been bad all offseason. And every time you think that, okay, they're turning a corner. Okay, Ayuk and Trent Williams get signed. They come in, and then they don't forge ahead. And then they win last week. They win last week a game against New England and look impressive, and then take the lead and then don't close. Yesterday, Mason has the fumble in the red zone. Kyler comes on, throws this rainbow to Marvin Harrison, who makes a great play on that particular play when the Niners are coming after him. And now they got a short week, Thursday night in Seattle. Week after, the defending champion Chiefs. The week after, the Cowboys. Then a bye, then the Bucks. The schedule, they are about to head into the teeth of their schedule. And that's why basically giving away 2 games that they had control of, I think, has to really hurt them. But 2-3, still within reach. Need to get your guys back. Need to get refocused. Long season, but not going the way that they or anybody would want it.
Niners 2-3. Okay, let's read off some other teams that are 2-3. Okay, just so this is who the San Francisco 49ers record is the exact same as after week 5 of football. The New York Jets are 2-3. The Raiders are 2-3. The Colts are 2-3, but we're looking up, obviously. The New York Football Giants are 2-3.
Hell yeah.
The Dolphins are 2-3, and the San Francisco 49ers are 2-3. It's been a wild NFL season thus far. Let's look ahead to tonight, shall we? Big one: Saints, Chiefs. Taylor Swift in attendance from what we.
What?
I don't know.
Really?
We are hoping.
I hope so.
We
She better be
hoping.
there.
Hope so.
Monday Night Football.
For the good of these conversations that are happening everywhere, okay, I don't like it at all. Okay, I love love. I love that two greats can fall in love and amazing things can happen for all of society. And I hope it happens tonight. I hope Taylor Swift effect and aura is there, because Monday Night Football, a game of this magnitude, certainly getting heightened even more by her presence would be great. Anything we should be looking at tonight as New Orleans travels to the home of the Chiefs? Shefty.
Yeah, well, and a couple of things we're looking at here. I think this is the first game where the Chiefs have had to game plan without Pacheco and Rashee Rice. So it'll be interesting to see how Andy attacks this. That'll be notable. Like, who are they getting involved? Who's stepping up? Who's going to replace all that production that they've lost from all these particular players? That, to me, is going to be really interesting to see how that evolves tonight. Obviously, you got the Saints in on Devontae Adams. Don't believe that Devontae Adams is going to wind up in Kansas City, though I think the Chiefs are going to be in the market for a wide receiver, especially depending on what happens with Rashee Rice's knee procedure today, where they're going to go into the knee to determine exactly how much damage is there and how long he's sidelined and whether there's any chance he can make it back later this season, which would be a huge win for Rashee Rice, for the Chiefs, for that organization, if there's any way he could make it back, which they'll know after today's procedure. So you got two teams here that both need a win. A lot of question marks for both teams. Should be a great game tonight. Looking forward to seeing how it works out.
Okay, can we talk a little bit more about the Rashee Rice procedure that's happening today? They're going in to snoop around, or they're going in to clean something up and then figure out what else is happening? And then should we have an answer tomorrow then, I guess? Is that what everybody's kind of expecting?
It's a little bit ambiguous, but what I do know, the best I can tell, is he's having a knee procedure done, like an arthroscopic surgery, so that they could go in, because I think there have been some differing opinions on the extent of the damage, and they can't exactly tell. So doctors are going in today to the knee to figure out exactly what it is, because I think different doctors have seen different things from different images. So once they go into the knee, okay, so that's what it is. Then they can tell, and they could say, oh, okay, it's a torn ACL. It's not a torn ACL. Oh, there's this damage or there's not that damage. Yes, it's 6 to 8 weeks, or it's 6 to 8 months. They have to go in there to really get a better picture. So they're doing that today, is the way I understand it.
So are all the doctors in there today then, all looking at it at the same time?
No, there's a doctor that's doing the surgery, and again, I'm not a doctor. It's hard to be.
No, I agree. But if you're one doctor saying one thing and then you have another doctor saying another thing, you would assume, just human nature, doctors probably aren't, left out of this conversation. Whoever's going in there is probably trying to see if they're. I don't know. What the hell?
I think when you go in there, I think it becomes fairly obvious what the damage is or isn't.
And then the doctor that was on the other side, I told you.
Just like a mother.
I told you.
They've trusted one doctor to do the surgery.
Okay.
And to make the determination about what ultimately is in that knee. And I think everybody's hoping that it's not terrible, that he can make it back this season, and we'll know later on today, I expect.
Because your tweet saying the extent of the injury, we won't find out till next week, was fascinating. And you even said, normally we hear immediately what it is.
Right away.
So now, so there's a little differing of opinion. They're going in today to see who was right, who was wrong. We'll find out relatively soon then, it sounds like. Okay.
I would think there'll be some sort of determination made today, certainly by tomorrow.
Thank you, Shefty. You're the man. You're on TV tonight? Where you guys didn't travel?
Oh, I'm doing it from home tonight, and I have to travel tomorrow, so I'll be broadcasting tonight, but do a Monday Night Countdown from my home. And it works out. It's nice to have a home game every now and then, Pat.
Yeah, you're plugged in over here. We get it.
Plugged in. We always try to be plugged in, always.
How many phones? Just one?
We got two, side by side.
In a portable charger.
Which one are we a part of? You think we're business?
You're a part of every phone. You're a part of my heart. You're part of my life. You're part of everything I could possibly have. You're part of my being.
Shefty, we think the same thing, and we want to let you know we are in the majority here of football fans. Your tweets really send people into a very good day or a bad day.
Big time.
And that is, you're a massive piece of it all. We appreciate you joining us every week, brother.
You know, it's funny when you say that. I can't tell you the number of times where I'll call somebody and they pick up their phone and they go, "What's wrong?" And like, when did I become the Grim Reaper all of a sudden? That when I'm calling people,
you're their why, Shefty.
You know when?
You're their why.
Yeah, you know when. You know when you signed up, when you got that second phone. Say, you know what? I'm in here now. But we appreciate it. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Schefter. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the college football weekend with how fantastic Saturday was. Some craziness took place, okay? Numbers 1, 4, 9, 10, 11, 22, and 25. Last week's AP ranking, top 25 ranking, all lost.
Whoa. Wow.
All of them. UNLV loses the night before, obviously. Then Saturday is just an absolute massacre for the top 25 teams, highlighted, obviously, by Vanderbilt. Not the same old Vanderbilt.
No.
Brand new Vanderbilt who beat Virginia Tech, took Missouri to double overtime, cleaned house. Diego Pavia is an absolute beasta. Vanderbilt beats Alabama, shocks the entire world. Obviously, Alabama, just a few days removed from the big win over Georgia in the SEC Mega Bowl, has to go into Vandy, a place that has been said to be not that hard to play in. There was a lot of Alabama fans there. There was a lot of Vandy fans there as well. And they're experiencing something this year with this quarterback, this coach, and potentially NIL that are making them much better on the football field in a city that could be sold to people easily in recruiting. Nashville is awesome.
Yeah.
And Nashville was on display, obviously, immediately after this game. Different streets, different parts of the town, and even a river that is 3 miles away. It was carried by the students. They'll be fined $150,000, I think, for storming the field. That money will go directly to Alabama Athletics, I believe is how the SEC works it. Old buddy standing on top of the upright, directing traffic is obviously hysterical. But that son of a bitch went through the stadium. It went down Broadway. Cops are trying to shut it down. I don't think so, brother. We just beat Bama. That thing's going right by Tootsie's. That thing's going right by Aldean's. That place is going by Churches. That place is going by Dirk's. It's going by Blake Shelton's. And then it's going right into a river as the students look along and celebrate. That's what college ball is all about.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations to Vandy. And I'll tell you what, Alabama could have came back and won that game.
Yeah.
Like Miami did against Cal, which was another incredible football game that ended about 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. Shout out to Reese and shout out to everybody that did that game. Shout out to Berkeley being awesome. But Miami storms back, wins the fourth quarter 21-3, rattles off 21 straight points, including this drive to Restrepo on the first play after getting the ball back after a potential helmet-to-helmet. That was not called. This was not called. Quarterback.
Running back.
Fernando on the move. Boom.
Big stick.
3rd and 12. Could have been 15 yards.
Football,
helmet
baby.
to helmet. A lot of people say football. Actually, review it. Say, nah. Punt the ball back to Miami. Miami has that throw to Restrepo, gets all the way down the field. Then they have this touchdown. Ball snapped on the 5. In college, offensive line's allowed to be down the field 3 yards. 2 guys dancing in the end zone. They don't call it. Miami wins another close one at the very end as the celebration that is obviously going around the entire globe is happening in Berkeley. And I was told by Miami fans whenever I got to Berkeley on Friday, they said, "Hey, Pat, tell them Hurricanes fans travel."
Hell yeah.
They went through Vegas for a night, and then they go by Berkeley.
Ooh.
They flew across the country to watch that. Huge win. Cal fans, obviously, probably a little bit, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
ACC fans, after the Virginia Tech situation, what the hell's going on? Nonetheless, Miami's calloused. Miami's tough. Cam Ward's a dog. And Berkeley was a phenomenal host to College Game Day and college football. What a weekend. We're lucky to be a part of all of it. We can't wait to chit-chat about more football, more sports. Baseball had a weekend.
What?
In the next hour, AJ Hawk will join us. Bill Belichick will join us. In the third hour, Patrick Surtain II will join us. Fresh off a 100-yard interception return yesterday. I mean, this is a good day. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 3.
We have an opportunity to give away $75,000 to giving Daniel V.
Yeah.
What is your major?
Civil engineering.
Okay, so what's that mean? What is civil engineering?
I don't really know.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When? Were you a soccer player?
Soccer player, yeah.
Okay, how were you at kicking soccer balls? Pretty good?
I was okay. I was good.
Have you ever said anything negative about football kickers?
Maybe once or twice.
Daniel! Damn, Daniel! We don't need that! You make a field goal here from 33 yards uphill. You're the civil engineer. You'd have to tell me, I think it's about a 40-yard kick. If you're able to do that, we will give you $75,000.
All right.
He's got no laces.
Yeah, what do we got going here? Can we get a shot of shoes?
What time?
Hey, a shot of the shoes.
Daniel showed up in his Vans with no laces. What time did you get here for this?
About 11:40 last night.
You need a lot of power.
Good luck, Daniel.
I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Wait a second.
Just like everything this morning, that was a surprise. We did not expect that.
Let's go. We got to do
one more kick for $100,000.
You got this, dude.
Let's go. How about this, Daniel? How about this, Daniel? Not only is this one for $100,000, if you make it, we'll add another $100,000 to the $500,000 donation we're about to make from College Game Day to the hurricane relief. It could be $600,000 if you make this, with $100,000 going into your pocket. Daniel, this is bigger than you. Let's make a kick, bro.
Way to overcome the shoes here. That was a heck of an effort. Come on, you got this.
In Berkeley, California.
You got it.
Oh! Hell yeah!
Great job.
Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! All right.
What just happened?
Are you kidding me?
He was there.
I know. 600,000 to hurricane relief. 100,000 to Daniel. What a morning in Berkeley.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this massive Overreaction Monday, October 7th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football! He's awesome, and there's a lot going on. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and Bruce Brown. Still in for Ty Schmidt. Congrats, Ty, his bride, and his wonderful family, adding another piece to it. Beautiful. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP. Tony's here. 9-year NFL vet. Darius J. Butler is here. Good fit.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Best one yet.
Clean.
Thank you. Ooh,
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's your most professional sweatsuit here.
Okay.
You know, it's like a tuxedo sweatsuit.
There you
Yellow
go.
buttons, so zipper.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it.
stitching too.
Boom.
Hey, really, and then the legs. Look at the legs. Those look like potential tuxedo pants.
Yeah, like a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleated.
Shout
Yeah, I
out
like-
Reese.
I like the sweater
Reese,
better.
Reese fit right here.
Reese.
Reiss. So only one free promo.
Yeah, Reese. Let's
Only
get some
one.
more
Only
over
one
here.
free shot.
Come on, I like one.
Connor would look great in one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, especially whenever we go up to Italian Fest up there.
Bingo. I got something planned for that.
Yeah. What's that?
I got something planned for that.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is in an attic in Ohio. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
AJ, before we dive into the NFL and the big stories and what's going on with the Bengals, okay? Can't wait to hear your thoughts in Ohio.
A lot of offense by them.
A lot of offense. I agree. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins dancing, going crazy. Ohioans probably losing their mind, though, for everything taking place. Were you as surprised as I was about that Berkeley appearance? You're from Ohio, obviously, Ohio State guy. That college football runs Ohio, you know? NFL obviously is there, but Ohio State Buckeye football runs the state of Ohio. College ball, big deal. SEC, there's those things. I had no idea what to expect going out there. That place was awesome, dude. It was out of control, AJ. As surprising for you when you woke up and saw that as me?
Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit surprising. I think I knew the fact that it was game day's first ever appearance there, that it was going to be pretty massive. But then when I started seeing all the clips pop up of them breaking the gates down early, like overnight, how many people were there, I'm like, this might be some kind of problem. They got so many people showing up and how juiced they were. But yeah, credit to them, man. I mean, I'm sure you guys want to go back eventually when you have a crowd like that.
As we showed up on Friday, we got there. Dumpy, what time is it? Like 5 o'clock local-ish? 5:30?
Yeah, just before, yeah.
Probably 5:30 local-ish. We arrive. We stop at one of their local vitamin shops immediately, obviously, and then we head to where we're staying, and it happened to be a little bit of a ride through campus. There was kids camping out for game day at like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Jeez.
There was like 10 of them. They were shirtless. They were sitting on fold-out chairs right in the middle of campus, had a hat on, and they had their signs or whatever as we rolled by. And I'm like, these dudes are already here.
Good signs.
Great signs.
So they were college kids. They weren't bums?
So the bums are outside of campus. I did see a guy's dong as soon as we landed. Saw a guy's dong on the street.
Use a leaf blower, right? Get them all out.
No, there was dongs out though on a sidewalk.
I never seen a lineup at a yogurt shop before.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I say,
Was it Berkeley football?
Other dongs out.
Was it
other dongs out?
I think the guy had to poop. I just think the guy had to poop. I don't know how. I don't know if he had any underwear on. Seemed like he goes commando over there, but that was on the sidewalk as we arrived in Berkeley. Outside though, it was like South Berkeley or something like that. I forget what it was. We flew into Oakland and then drove into Berkeley area, and literally as soon as we see Berkeley sign, I mean, it was like out of a movie there, that entire thing. But then once we got into the campus, it was active. It was maybe the most active campus I've ever seen. I'll say that. Wow. Because everybody was like getting breaks in between their studying. So you could see these people were zombieing out of a library or out of their dorm, and then they were just trying to do something to stay active. They had these 4 kids were playing U-ball in the middle of campus. U-ball is like it's like a basically a pole with a hoop on it, smaller ball. And it's like 8 feet tall, probably 7 feet tall, and you can just kind of set it up anywhere, and the ball's a little smaller. These kids were playing 2-on-2. Holy shit. I mean, we're talking,
good ball.
They were going up on, they were trying to get on, there was a spike ball thing happening. At one point, I'm standing there. Me and Gumpy were watching these U-ball things happen. I might have partaked in the local vitamins. I'm on another planet. Everything's happening. 10 skateboarders just kind of flank us. 10 of them. It's like a never-ending supply of skateboarders. One of them's just turning that some bitch sideways while going down the hill. I'm like, we're getting the full experience. Yeah. And then you walk by all the students, and then it was a good time for me, okay? And this is not me tooting my own horn or whatever, but most places I go now, it is not like the most enjoyable time, like whenever I'm out and about. Great talking to people. Thank you for the photos and knowing who the hell I am and that I exist. Very cool of you. But I don't get to just like kind of meander around. Berkeley, no problems. Nice. I was meandering around Berkeley. Had a time. Gumpy, that place was awesome. It was so active.
Unbelievable. And I don't know about the pizza place, but Top Dog, they don't mess around. They make a good dog.
They do make a good dog over there at Top Dog. Top Dog also right next to La Burrita, the 2 places that Aaron told us to stop at. And then Blondie's Pizza is right around the corner. That area is called the Asian Ghetto. Okay?
Oh.
That is how I was told to say it. And they said, you say that, you'll get a big pop. Everybody hangs out there. It did. It went crazy. Place was packed. You got little boutique places. They got like this donut store thing. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the postal service is there.
Okay.
Then you got no beers though. I don't think we saw cold pints anywhere.
Jeez.
Gumpy was. Can a guy get a pint around here?
I was looking any side. Just get me one ice cold beer. That's all I needed. Just one.
It was awesome. Hey Berkeley, that was a cool place. That was a really cool place. And I don't know what it's normally like, but everybody was like outside of the midterms and shit like that. But those people are doing real school over there too.
Big time.
They're doing like real school, AJ. Real school.
Yeah. As compared to what? Like, you don't think it's like West Virginia's campus?
I'm sure there's some people in West Virginia doing real
They were
school.
doing school.
There is. There's a lot of people.
There's people doing real school, and there's other people like me that were, at school. We are at a university here. Are we doing the school? Not as much. And, there were some non-athletes that also did school the same way I did, I think, that were at West Virginia and would go on to have degrees. But Cal, I think you got to be pretty...
Tough to get in. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy to get. You can't get in anywhere now, I feel like, but I'm sure Cal is very difficult.
Oh, midterms too, right?
Yeah, middle engineers. The one kid, we were at Top Dog, leaving Top Dog, walking down the street to head back towards where we were staying or whatever. And the one kid stopped me and said, hello, great mullet. This kid had a great mullet.
Okay.
On. Yeah, it was kind of a dog.
That.
I was like, you go to school here? Me neither. I said, you go to school here? He goes, yeah. I go, midterms right now? We're going? He goes, oh, yeah, I got 3 tests and an essay due. Coming on Tuesday or Monday or something.
Jeez.
I guess the essays are the ones that are.
Yeah, that's a disaster. You got like a 10-pager.
That's like actual time consuming.
Yeah, because you can't fake that length.
Got to plug that into AI. You know that.
Well, they're obviously going to catch you doing that. I guess there's all types of stuff. But yeah, my immediate thought is we can just get.
At least give me a little outline. Yeah. AI can give me like an outline, so give me some good ideas on how to start this thing. Probably.
True. Yeah, 100% true.
I looked it up. Cal's acceptance rate is 11.3%. WVU's is 88.4.
That's what I'm saying.
It's because they're more welcome.
An open door.
Southampton Institute of Technology. Come on in.
Mm-hmm.
The sandwiches were a good school. We decided accepted was a good model. We're going to do that. But nonetheless, college football was bananas this past weekend, and it's about to be coming up as well. And then the week after, it's like college football is delivering right now. Cal Berkeley delivered. We appreciate you all out there. All the nerds, incredibly kind. I do hope we go back. Marshawn Lynch was worth the trip.
He was awesome. He was great.
Unbelievable.
Interview on the show too. My favorite.
Yeah, people that were watching on TV didn't get to hear a lot of it. No. I did learn that because I guess it was muted a pretty good amount.
I'm a YouTube watcher.
Yeah, that's who we think about too in the middle of it, because as the conversation's going, I'm thinking to myself, this is the greatest of all time. And then as soon as it's over, I get so people that were watching on TV only got about 4 minutes of that. I'm like, what do you mean?
Wow.
Literally, they're like, holy crap. I'm like, well, that's Marshawn Lynch football, baby.
Bingo.
I don't know.
4 minutes.
I don't know. It's just a great 4 minutes out there. He was awesome. Showed up with gifts, literally on stage. That was so nice of him, so incredibly kind. Immediately afterwards, made himself peanut butter and jelly sandwich as we were on our way out. That was, you remember that cup?
I thought Pat was like, are you just putting jelly on that? I've never seen someone put so much jelly on a sandwich in my life.
We had a 5-minute conversation while he was making his peanut butter and jelly, and it was about 3.5 minutes of sharpening the axe of jelly just on. And I was like,
80-20 jelly?
I didn't see all the peanut butter that ended up happening. Because,
He went jelly first?
Jelly first.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's the biz,
dude,
man.
it was awesome. I'm telling you, because that was our only time really to talk, because the show had ended. So come off the stage. We're going out this back way to get to where the cars are or whatever, because we're literally right in the middle of the campus, like in the middle of it. And there was a tent, little stopway halfway through there with some stuff. Shout out to the game day crew. Shout out to the game day crew putting that entire thing together. And he had already got to the tent before I had got there or whatever. He was making his peanut butter and jelly. And it was a phenomenal looking piece of bread. You remember how thick that bread was?
Full loaf.
Full loaf.
Wonder.
Marshawn was awesome. Anytime you could drop him on TV, you do.
Yeah, I need him.
I think we're going to Oregon now this week, I believe. I think that was the decision.
It was announced.
I would assume.
It was announced?
Yeah, tweet went out.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I mean, where else were you guys going to go?
So
LSU Ole Miss.
LSU Ole Miss. Hold on, there was another. The Red River Rivalry.
Yeah, okay.
Red River Rivalry.
2 versus 3 is.
Yeah, I can completely agree.
Or whatever it is.
But that's an SEC game there. The Red River Rivalry. That's the first time it's been an FCC game.
True.
So for game day to go to Oregon, Ohio State, we're all very pumped about. Just want to let everybody know. I am not in the make the decision where College Game Day goes, although, I think anybody can influence anything if they're able to speak, which I certainly do. But some decisions are made that, I think people on the show don't necessarily love or agree with. And, like, us to go to that one, I think is awesome. And I think everybody is pumped up about it because some people potentially making those decisions at certain companies would be like, well, Red River rivalry is in the SEC for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That is where we are going. Instead, boom, another 5.5 hour flight, but also the biggest game of the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a brand new rivalry. Like, I'm very, very excited that was the decision that was
Yeah,
made.
I mean, we've been looking forward to this one since the beginning. Like, this one was circled as Ohio State and Oregon's pseudo Big Ten championship. Like, to get to the Big Ten, this is it.
This is the weekend. This is the
Saturday. Weekend.
This is the
Yep.
October 12th. Like, hey, when we were in July,
correct.
This Saturday is going to be bananas, and it's going to be.
And then next Saturday.
Yeah, also has now become bananas.
Yeah, college football now with everybody losing
Heating up.
Yeah,
has now become bananas. It is.
But Ohio State wagon, they look great.
What's that dude? He just catches one-handed every time.
He's so good.
Chris Carter.
Sunned him.
Like him and Ryan
freshman.
Williams just go back and forth, just making
Ryan Williams' touchdown
unbelievable.
this weekend was unbelievable.
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
These freshmen, what's the deal? What's the deal with these?
Something's in the water.
Faster.
Stronger, more talented,
They're also making money.
more mature.
Doesn't hurt.
Too, just mature as hell.
Yeah.
Just being able to handle interviews, being able to handle the business side of it, being able to handle being thrusted into the limelight, like just seemingly with no problems. That's crazy. Speaking of problems, I don't want to bring up negativity with you, but this Romeo Dobbs thing that Schefter told us about, targets, I guess, is why he missed work on Thursday and Friday, and then he's suspended for a game, and then Matt LaFleur says, I'm excited to talk to him afterwards and welcome him back. It's like, that's not a Green Bay Packers thing, is it? I don't think so.
No. I mean, I feel like most places don't ever want that to happen, but was it reported anything about the targets before Shefty? I watched Shefty on earlier, and when he said that, I'm like, oh, that's news to me. I didn't know what his reason was for missing practice, but if that was really the reason, if that's only the reason, I'm sure there's more to it, but man, like, how do you just not show up?
Yeah, I don't. It's obviously a modern world. Welcome to the modern world. There are these types of things happening in college ball and in professional sports as a whole than ever before. But I hadn't heard anything about targets. And D-Butch brings it up, and agreement immediately. It's like there has to be something else going on in his world. Maybe targets was a part of it, but then also, and it all. So we hope he's okay.
It has to be because the targets. Like if he would have played this week. Like right here, he's got 20 and the leader's got 29 there. If he had 8 last week, so say he would have got 8 again this week, he's right up there with everybody else. Like, does he want to be by far the main target? That's why the targets thing was a question mark to.
And who's doing the stats of the targets?
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's anti-dog. No.
But if you try to get a new deal, like not showing up, it's probably not the way. Not even just in that building. Like if that's your loan, I want, it's contract the year, whatever. Like, let me just not show up. We know how small the NFL world is. Like you're an asshole one building, that spreads around. I'm sure Romeo, even though he's a young guy, he's smart enough to get that. So I think it's something else going on. And then based on how Coach LaFleur said, looking forward to the conversation and welcoming back. I think he knows as well, but hopefully it get all, swept under the rug and he's back on there balling on Sunday.
I agree. We hope so. And Dobbs, if anything's going on, we hope it gets sorted. Having this happen in the middle of the NFL season is not fun for any NFL player. Good luck out there. But if it's just for targets, come on. Let's talk about Ohio now. 1-4 Cincinnati Bengals after an offensive juggernaut performance in a shootout with the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, Money Mac's going to make that kick. We understand that that's how that goes. You botch the hold in like 3 different ways. Bad things happen when it could have went a different direction. I feel bad for the punter, for the holder. I obviously feel terrible for the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel bad for McPherson. It's a situation that sucks all the way around for all parties included on that side of the ball. For the Ravens, they don't care. Ravens don't care that this guy who's undrafted, rookie, has this situation happen in the biggest moment in overtime because they're a team that, their special teams is like one of their bread and butters. And Justin Tucker hits a 56-yarder reading the wind to send this thing to overtime, so their operation obviously smooth. That kid's going to think about that forever, every single snap he has for the rest of his life, unless he's much more mentally tough than me. I couldn't even see other holders bobble the ball. I was too weak. I was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see anybody bobble the ball. I'm going to keep that thing out of here. I had one that like slipped through my hands against Cincinnati, and I ended up, it was a game winner, potentially in the fourth. Bad hold, still got it up. Bad hold though. Vinny misses it. As soon as I go to the locker room, I say 100% on me. We move on. But for the next 5 weeks, every time I caught the ball punting and for the holding, it was like right before the snap comes. It's like, let's not have another situation like. I couldn't even imagine it not working like that in overtime with the scrutiny that's going to be on it. I assume he's more mentally tough than me, but that's going to be something that could linger. He's going to have to put that fire out quickly. But the Bengals 1-4, the slow starter notoriously. How's Ohio reacting to all this?
They're not reacting great, I would say. I mean, it's weird because the offense is playing well. Joe Burrow is lighting up. Jamar is unbelievable. And they just can't really get off the field. They can't stop them. And also, I mean, you got to give credit to the Ravens. The Ravens are rolling right now. Lamar, obviously, Derrick Henry. We love Ricard and what he is doing, but the Ravens' offense is great. But man, if the Bengals don't figure out their defense, you're 1-4. You got to find a way to string a. You got to have a nice big chunk. You got to have a great October and the rest of November if you want a chance. I know that.
Yeah, you got to talk about everybody performing at a high level. Obviously, offense shows up, defense didn't and hasn't in multiple cases. Let alone special teams kind of giving way there at the end. Because if they walk out of this with a win, I think they think to themselves, all right, we get a good win here against a Ravens team that's going to be at the top at the end. Instead, can't get the hold down, miss kick. Ravens go down and score. It's a whole different conversation. Everybody on earth is worried about this Joey Burrow-led Bengals team. Zach Taylor has people questioning everything he's doing now. This is the world when you don't win. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who won for a very long time. He's the greatest of all time when it comes to coaching in the NFL and general managing in the NFL. Greatest dynasty in the history of professional sports. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Coach, how you doing?
Good. Sorry to be late, Pat. Having technical difficulties here. Appreciate your patience.
Hey, don't worry. Well, there it is. Literally on cue. He almost calls for the technical difficulty. Wow. That's what Bill Belichick did when he was a coach. Now in his post-coaching career or intermediate coaching career, he's able to see the future. This fucking guy can do it all.
It's locked in.
He can, but I must say, that's a fine coach. Got to figure it out.
Yeah, what time's this? 1:10?
That's what you used to tell us.
Did he?
Yeah, we got stuck in a snowstorm before. Hey, it's New England. Middle of October, November. What do you think is going to happen?
How about guys traveling back after bye weeks or whatever, saying, hey, yeah, plane doesn't land morning of meeting. No, because there might be a little bit of a delay. There might be some things like that. Need to think ahead a little bit.
Because riding high, someone got a big win out in Washington over Michigan.
I want to let you know, though, Baker Mayfield and I run an operation similarly than what Bill and Tom do.
Okay.
So it won't be an immediate fine. We'll have a little bit of an understanding. We'll have a little bit of an understanding. But you're right. There's different ways to go.
That's weird. Because did you guys see incredible behind? I can't believe the Patriots released the footage. Did you see the footage just came out recently of him in the draft room taking Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah, pretty nuts, actually.
Oh, you're talking about that television, the sitcom?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean it's
so
that
realistic?
Is so bad.
Documentary, right?
Wait, that's not Bill?
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, actual Bill Belichick.
Yeah, Bill.
Bill, we back?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, technical difficulties here.
I want to let you know, Darius Butler wanted to find you.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Coach knows.
Yeah, I run a different operation. I understand technology can get you. We were just chatting there about the Cincinnati Bengals. Congrats to the Washington Huskies. Big win.
Yeah, huge win.
Big win.
Thanks. That was a big one. What an environment. First time I've ever been out there in University of Washington, Seattle for the game. And, right there on the lake, the crowd was incredible. What a great environment for a college football game, and big win for the Huskies.
What's the mountain over there? What's that mountain that's right in the back of
Rainier?
Rainier, dude.
Rainier?
The views over there in Seattle, I did not know. To your point, that was my first time over there last year when we did game day. The stadium sits on top of this perch, and the views are insane. A beautiful place. I did not expect.
Yeah, it really is. And the fans are into it. It was Michigan, Washington, kind of the rematch game, even though neither team had a whole lot of their players from last year, but it was still a heck of a game. Penix was there, and it was It was great. It was a great environment.
Good win for Washington. A lot of questions around Michigan. Michigan goes from number 10 team in America to number 24 team.
Whoa.
And they're saying that slide is quick. They're saying that slide is like this if they continue to do what they're doing. Let's talk about teams that are struggling right now a little bit. Like a Cincinnati Bengals team that is now 1-4. You know, they lose a close one to the Ravens. You get a good hold there. Money Mac probably makes it. We're having a different convo. But instead, is it all, like at this stage, I don't know how many times you're 1-4. There's full panic happening in that building? Or what do you think the thoughts are over there to kind of right the ship for a good Cincinnati team we thought coming into the season?
Right. Yeah. So a couple things there, Pat. First of all, the hold situation. You know, I heard you talk a little bit about that. That's an interesting scenario. I mean, as you know, that holding's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of. I've had a couple of punters that just didn't want to hold. They wouldn't hold because for that very reason. And you know, I've talked to Romo about the playoff game that. You know, he had, with Seattle and Dallas and it, there's a lot of pressure there. Some of these punters just want to punt. And I understand. One of the funny stories with Sims, though, is I told Sims wasn't a good holder. And I kept getting on him. He was like our third string holder. I was like, we're going to have an accident on the way to the game before you're ever going to hold for me. And then, of course, in the Pro Bowl, they don't have any holders. And so he actually had to hold. And he held well. He held 2 bad snaps. And so I had to really, put the salt and pepper on it and eat my words to Sims because he proved to me in the Pro Bowl he could really handle it. But as you know, kicking is the ball's not there on it like it is on a kickoff. It's got to be snapped, it's got to be held, and it's got to be put on the spot. And it's never perfect. It's always a little bit off, maybe an inch, a half inch, 2 inches, whatever it is. And the kicker has to adjust to that. So. There's a real timing and execution in that situation, and nobody thinks about it until something goes wrong, and then all of a sudden, it's a big crisis. But going back to the Bengals, you look at the Bengals, and they lost a couple of good games. Burrow fumbled a game away against Kansas City, right? Strip sack for a touchdown, and they miss a field goal, and it's just, I think they're sitting there saying, we're probably the best 1-4 team in football, but. You got to start putting some wins up pretty soon, or it's just going to be, too much ground to make up. So obviously, got to play better defense, and that would have been a big opportunity for them to win a division game, but that slipped away. Hopefully, they'll be able to, for Cincinnati, hopefully they'll be able to rebound and get back on track. But they certainly showed they can move the ball. Baltimore's a tough team to stop. They got to play better defense than that, and then, make the kicks and make the plays you got to make.
Now, let's talk about Baltimore a little bit there because they obviously end up with a win. Tucker hits a 56-yarder, aims outside the post. The amount of trust that you have to have in your swing, in the wind, and the amount of talent you have to hit that ball at that moment, that late in the fourth, to send it to overtime against an AFC North rivalry, and then to hit the game winner, obviously, at the end. And then tell me about this. How do you think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are allowed to be on the same team? And how about Patrick Ricard as a fullback in there? On Derrick Henry's earlier touchdown, it was his 100th touchdown in his career, whatever the case was. He falls, gains his balance, then he runs over like 4 guys. Patrick Ricard's pulling him. It's like, is this the year that the Ravens are the most dangerous on the offensive side of the ball? And do they have enough defensively to maybe win this thing this year? What is your takeaway from the Ravens after this big win?
Yeah, well, I think, the Ravens every week, they got to look at it like the biggest opponent is the Ravens. They just can't let themselves beat themselves. They can't let the Ravens beat the Ravens. So I think if they can do that, like the fumble, the turnover that Lamar had, that wasn't anybody's fault but theirs. And so they've had some of those. That's looked like some coverage miscommunication and bust there. Give up a lot of yardage and a lot of points against Cincinnati. Obviously need to tighten that up, but. When they're hitting on all cylinders, when they've got it going right, it really looks good. They just got to find that consistency and eliminate some of the things that they've done that put themselves in a hole more than what the opponents have done to them. So I'm sure that's the focus there. Take care of our business. Let's just play the way that we need to play and not lose the game. And if we don't lose it, we'll probably win it. So,
seemingly, Lamar has taken that next step leadership-wise, too, from everything we see off the field. Yeah. It's like, is this the year where it is they continue to show up? I hope so. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Bo Nix out in Denver, they get a win, and Sean Payton and Bo Nix have some some communication on the sideline. It seemed, I feel like Sean Payton he didn't even secretly love it. He seems to love this fiery nature of a quarterback. Is this something that's normal? And when you see something like this as a coach, are you a little bit excited too inside when you know your player loves it this much?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that's part of coaching, and things happen during the game that they're not personal. They're just reactionary. Sometimes by the player, sometimes by the coach. And I think you got two guys right there that have worked really hard, that are really committed to winning. You can see the progress that they've made over the last 5 weeks. And honestly, these rookie quarterbacks are starting to collectively are really starting to make an impression on the league, at least with me. And so, Nick's got off to a little bit of a slow start. He's, hung with them. But, hey, Sean coaches the players hard, and he gets on them. Sometimes the players, kick back a little bit, and sometimes they don't. But that's part of it. I think it's probably in that situation a good, healthy exchange.
He said that a quarterback's got still has some Ferris Bueller in him.
Yep.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is that?
I've seen the movie, and
he skipped school, right?
He did skip school.
Yeah, kind of does whatever he wants all day. Goes off on his own, does whatever he wants.
Oh, so he still needs to be a little bit
reined in.
Yeah.
Genius though, because remember he did that reverse thing to get the miles off the car.
Yeah.
Right. That happened at the end of that.
Very smart. Until it flew off.
Do you know that movie? Do you know Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I don't know that one very well, Pat. No.
Nah, not a lot of movies in the last 49 years for this guy. Are we watching fucking film?
But Perry Mason solved the mystery on that one time where he had the guy put it up on the found out the guy put the car up on the center blocks and put it in reverse, take the mileage off, even though he went back to kill the guy, and he figured it out. So yeah, I've seen that one before.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, we're happy to hear that. Young Buck going crazy. You talk about Bo Nix since the beginning, seemingly in Washington. It's been going good. D-Butt got a question for you, Coach.
I haven't seen a ton of movies the last 50 years, but I've seen a lot of quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, phenomenal start to his rookie year. Obviously, it's early on, but he's playing great. Great job by Cliff Kingsbury, I think, early on as well with this physical kind of run first almost offense. What's your thoughts on Jaden Daniels early? Do you think the Commanders can keep this going throughout the year?
Yeah, he's had a great start to the season. It's been fantastic, and he handled the Browns defense with Coach Schwartz well. But this play right here is what you can't let him do, is get out of the pocket and extend plays. He can run, and when he gets out and has clear vision, he can throw the ball, make all the throws down the field. So the best way to defend him, I think, is to keep him in the pocket. That's easier said than done, but he's a very explosive athlete and can kill you with his legs. And if he has time and space, he can get outside and, like I said, find some space out there and, find open receivers. So, but he did a good job against Cleveland, and that's not a bad defense. So we'll see what happens this week against the Ravens, kind of a crosstown rivalry there. But, Jaden's had a tremendous start to his career, and they're playing well. Cliff's running the ball probably a little bit more than he did when he was at Arizona. And as every quarterback knows, nothing helps a passing game more than a good running game.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury evolving, I think, is a big part of this entire story here. And the way he has the boys responding offensively is damn near historic. And what Jaden Daniels is able to do, we're talking phenom territory here. Now can he continue it through the entire season once a book is out on you? Obviously, that's a question. Last year, there was a rookie that was able to kind of do it and seemingly is continuing to play at a high level with C.J. Stroud. Tone Diggs has a question about that particular game.
Yeah, Coach, I do. The Bills, late fourth quarter, get pinned on their 3. They have the ball there. 40 seconds left. They call 3 pass plays when the Texans have all 3 timeouts in a 2020 game. What's your thinking? What's your process here when you've been in these situations? Do you play for overtime? What do you think they were thinking here as a Bills offense?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the thought was there. I think that's a question for Coach McDermott and Josh. But for me, I always thought of it as a basketball philosophy: a play for the last shot. So we're going to take the last shot and not give the ball back to our opponents unless it's so far away from the goal with no time that we're okay defending that. So whether it's at the end of the half or a tie game at the end of the game, it's really the same situation. In my mind, I always wanted to try to control that last possession and take the last shot. So if you have the ball on, say, your own 25-yard line with 2 minutes to go in the half, you get a first down. And then once you have control of the situation and control of the clock, then you go into your 2-minute mode. rather than run 3 plays, run 40 seconds off the clock and give the ball back. A score tied at the end of the game is, to me, the same thing as halftime. You get what you can get, but you don't give them an opportunity to score. And I've seen that in a number of games this year. It's just not the way that I would play it. I would play for the last shot.
Let's talk about your situational awareness, because that is like a massive piece of the New England Patriots' success. They never have critical errors in the biggest moments. And then people say, well, that's because Bill Belichick harps on situational football in meetings more than anybody else. With the arrival of analytics and statistics and everything that comes out, like, well, if you go for it here on this particular play with 2 minutes left, you have a 71.4% chance of winning. What the hell does that mean? Does that mean in the past 71.4% of the people have gone on to win? What happened to the 28.6% of the people that lost in that particular point? Are we not going to chat about their livelihoods and the outcomes of football? How much have you changed your view on situational football? And why do you think everybody describes you as the person who kind of harped on it the most in the history of football?
Well, I think the analytics conversation is a very interesting one, and certainly I've had a lot of them in my coaching career. The issue is really for analytics people is they want data, right? And so they look at all the 4th and 1 or whatever the situation is. Let's call it 4th and 1. They look at all the 4th and 1 situations, and they have thousands and thousands of plays, and then they make decisions based on that. Here's the analytics. This is what it tells you based on what yard line it is, and whether it's on the 4th and 1 on the 1 or 4th and 1 on a plus side of the 50, minus side of the 50, whatever it happens to be. But there's all these data points. The problem I always had with that is it isn't our team, and we don't know who the opponent was. It's just random teams. So if you have a good offense against a bad defense, going for it on 4th and 1 makes sense. If you had a bad offense against a good defense, I don't know if 4th and 1 makes sense. And so I always try to take into consideration the matchup of the game and how good I felt about the play we were calling in that situation. As an example, on 4th and 1, there's a lot of other analytical situations too, but that would be one. So I think there's a balance. I think certainly once you get into the game, you have a much better feel for how it's going. Can you run the ball? Can you block them? Can you protect? Can you throw it? And those decisions, I think, are a little bit more straightforward. It doesn't mean they're going to work out, but I think you have more confidence in how the matchup's going to go as it's later on in the game. I think that 4th and 1 in the first quarter on the first possession is maybe a little bit of an unknown, and sometimes you think that they're going to be in one particular defense, and if they're not, then you could be in trouble. So, but the good thing about that, whenever I did that with Brady, he always knew, and he always knew he had the green light that, hey, if you walk up there, Tom, and think that we don't have a good play here, or you don't like the way this looks, then take a timeout, or if we don't have a timeout, take a delay game penalty. The last thing I want to do, if we don't have any timeouts, the last thing I want to do is get stopped on 4th and 1 anywhere. So if you don't like the way it looks, then call it off. And he was very good at that. He was great at it, not good at it. He was great at it. And so I think when you do that, if you have a lot of confidence in your quarterback and the execution of the play, then that's really where you want to be the most aggressive, whether that's the push or your quarterback decision making or whatever it is.
Do you think the conversation about you handling situations is accurate, though? Do you think you harped on situational football more than anybody else?
Well, that's hard for me to say, Pat, because I wasn't in the other 31 teams meeting room, so I don't really know what they did or didn't do. I do know that the players that came to our team from other organizations would comment and say, boy, we're spending a lot of time on this. But in my feeling was always that you're not prepared for these situations until everybody knows what to do. I think when you rely on the quarterback, for example, or the defensive signal caller, AJ, you've been there before, when it's your responsibility to tell everybody what to do here, we got to stay in bounds, or we want to get out of bounds, or put 2 hands on the ball, or field goal range is the 38-yard line. We got to get inside the 38, or when somebody has to tell everybody else what to do in those situations, it's just hard. You don't have enough time. There's crowd noise. Everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know we got to get to the 38-yard line. The receivers and the backs need to know that. They need to know when we're trying to stay in bounds, when we're trying to get out of bounds. So for me, at the end of the half, in a last shot situation, if a back was running the ball from the 25-yard line, he gained 7 or 8 yards, I wouldn't want him to go out of bounds. I would want them to stay inbound so that we can control the clock, either force them to use their timeouts or get the clock down to where we had a chance to score and they wouldn't get the ball back. So those things like that, it's really important for the entire team to understand what you're trying to do and not just rely on one person to tell everybody. It's too hard for that to happen every time. You might get it every once in a while. If there's a TV timeout and a quarterback can go in a huddle and tell everybody what to do. But when you count on that, I think that's where you end up coming up short.
Yeah, I think it ended up working out for you, your decision
He
there.
did.
The Colts.
I was around.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I was around a few different coordinators, and he definitely harped on it. I want to know, where did you get that from, Coach, as far as like the gotta have it situation? We used to have, 15 minutes to just watch over the gotta have it situation. Where did you pick that up in your coaching journey?
Well, really, at the Giants, and we obviously had a lot of big games and key situations there, and we learned through them. Coach Parcells was a great mentor on that. And then when I got to Cleveland, that was something that Coach Saban and I spent a lot of time on the defensive side of the ball. And then as the head coach, I flipped it over to the offensive side of, okay, what are we going to call in this situation? What are we going to do, in each situation? How are we going to manage the clock and so forth? But I'd say it really started in New York, and then with Bill, and then kind of rolled into a lot of strategizing with Coach Saban and Coach O'Brien, the special teams coach, because the kicking game plays a huge role
every time
in situational plays, and so being an ex-special teams coach, that was a very valuable coaching experience for me, because when you understand the kicking game, you understand the different aspects of strategy in the kicking game. That helps you put it all together with the other two phases.
Yeah, because of you, I believe, in your meetings, and Vinatieri being incredibly intelligent and loving football, obviously former quarterback. I think he was going to be a brain surgeon if he wasn't a kicker in the NFL. Whenever I got with him at the Indianapolis Colts, it's like every situation obviously involves a kick, right? But listening to Vinny lay out what we should do, what we shouldn't do, when something happens and you hear Vinny go, what the fuck are we doing? Is like, I feel like, I don't want to say, but I went to like a satellite school of Belichick's situational stuff through Adam Vinatieri because of the special teams being a part of it. Like, there'd be times before we started drive, like, we should not be punting here at all, ever. And then we end up punting, and it's like, well, that's because we make this decision, we do this entire thing, let alone challenging shit, what you don't challenge. It's like, Vinatieri, I think, should be people's like game management consultant, which I assume you've been. Why don't you come do that for the Colts? I don't know if the Colts knew that we couldn't give up a field goal at the end of that. I legitimately, it felt. I don't think they had a clue that would happen. And this dude, this rookie, I think from Arkansas, his name Cam Little, I think his name is. He just walks out there and just strokes one right in our face, and it's like, how'd they get here so easily? And it's because I don't know if everybody on the field knew that we couldn't just give up 40 yards.
Young players out there.
Jeez.
It's awesome hearing him talk about it, because yesterday the Cardinals were driving down to take the lead, and Kyler stepped out of bounds at 2:02, and Tom got so mad. Tom's like, I wish he would have stayed in bounds there. I wish he would have got down. I wish he would have got to the 2-minute warning, because they didn't want to leave the Niners any time to come back and score. So it's funny him talking about today.
Satellite University.
Hearing Tom
We're all kind of going
yesterday.
through it right now. Okay. Thank you for that, Bill. Hey, thank you for that. Really genuinely appreciate that entire thing. It's, Tom's finding his bag.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Tom Brady's finding his.
It's awesome.
He's finding his rhythm. You feel like you're doing that in the media world right now? Another Manning cast this evening. You think Tom's doing well? Have you got to listen? And how do you feel? I think you're crushing right now.
Well, I've gotten some good coaching from you, Pat. You gave me some good pointers going into that draft show, and that really helped me out. So I tried to follow that game plan. You obviously know what you're doing.
No.
But yeah, Tom, I've heard Tom a couple times. I haven't heard him every week. And look, Tom's one of the smartest players that's ever played in this league. He has a great understanding of how to win the game, not just how to play quarterback, but what it takes to win in all phases. So I think he's got a lot of information and a great perspective on it. The hard thing for him and anybody in those jobs, whether it's Chris Collinsworth or Tony Romo or whoever it is you only have 20 seconds to talk about the play. The play was over. They're spotting the ball, and now they're coming out of the huddle, and you've got to say whatever you're going to say pretty quickly. I've enjoyed the Manning cast because it has given a little bit more time to me or Eli or Peyton, whoever it is, to go a little deeper on a situation or a play or something that came up. Because when you only have 15 or 20 seconds to talk about it, it's really hard.
Has anybody approached you about doing color commentary?
Well, I'm just going to stick to what I'm doing for right now. I'm not worried about that next.
Whoa, it sounds like maybe, though, doesn't it?
Oh,
It does sound like a little maybe
sweet.
there. Let's get back into some ball and some topical shit that's taking place. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, we're getting to the point in the season now where some teams are kind of headed towards destruction, essentially, and high-profile players are becoming unhappy. Not saying that's happening with the Raiders, but the first high-profile player, Davante Adams, is kind of the first one to want to be traded out. For you, what was your philosophy as a head coach and GM when it came to dealing with players who maybe were unhappy and wanted to be traded? And how often were you able to kind of get that player to buy back in to what the team was doing and stay with the team that you were coaching?
Yeah, that's a great question, Connor. It obviously, I think, depends on the individual player and the situation. Of course, they're all different. There aren't any that are the same, but they're all different. And I think let's talk about just the trading situation to start with. All right, so if you trade a player now that you know you're not going to bring back next year, then that gives you an opportunity to get some value for the player. So you say, okay, this is week 6 coming up, so I'm not going to have in 11 games, this player's not going to be with us anymore. Is it worth a 4th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick or whatever it is to play without this player for 11 players? Because he's not going to be here next year, and I can't trade him after the season because of whatever the circumstances are, his cap number or his contract's up or whatever it happens to be. I think the flip side of that is, why would I trade a player now when I can get the same thing for him at the end of the season? So let's say you have a player who has a good contract that has value next year, but he also has value now. Why not play these last 11 games with him rather than move the player and play without him for basically the same draft choice you think you're going to be able to get in March as opposed to October? And so those are two very different situations that certainly are influenced by the player's contract situation. So it kind of all depends on what the circumstances are and, what your relationship is with the player and what his role is. But like, for example, with, a player like Garoppolo, who we were going to lose in free agency, to be able to trade him to the 49ers for a 2nd-round pick was better than letting him go to free agency and getting a comp 3rd pick a year later, right? So as an example, that's the kind of the thing that you're thinking about is, okay, we're halfway through the year. Can we, we're not going to have him for 8 games. Is that worth the move up from a comp 3rd next year to a 2nd-round pick this year, as an example? So I think if you're talking about the Adams situation, clearly he's unhappy. I think the Raiders are asking for a 2nd-round pick. If that's true, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what's been reported. That's a very high price to pay for a player that's, I'm not sure whether or not he actually, what his contract situation would be next year, whether you could afford his contract next year or whether the new team would want to redo it. I think, for really a 1-year contract, I think that's really more of like a 4th or a 5th-round pick. I know the player has extra years on his contract. The question is whether or not the trading team would actually be able to absorb those. So I think probably the most likely scenario here for me, it looks like from the outside in, I don't know the details of it, would be that if the Raiders were willing to eat some of the salary this year, then they could trade him to a team that had less cap space, which there aren't very many teams that have the cap space that can afford him right now. Probably no more than half the teams in the league could really afford him without redoing his contract. If the Raiders ate some of that, then that would make him probably more tradable. I think the 2nd-round pick, I'd be surprised if they can get that for him. And then the question is, does Adams want a new contract? Is this similar to the Reddick situation? I think, as a team, you got to be careful. Do you want to get in the same situation that the Jets are in with Reddick, where you trade for a player and then you can't get a contract done with him? All you've done is just absorb a problem and lose a draft choice. You haven't really solved one. So, I think there's a number of things to work through there. What the Raiders are asking for, what his contract is, and then what kind of cap space the trading team has to absorb this player.
Okay, so that Jimmy G trade, there was a lot of chatter around that from the outside looking in about a disagreement potentially. Thank you for clearing up that entire take. And then back to Davante. Do teams say, hey, we want a second-round pick publicly, and everybody else around the league knows that that's probably a third or a fourth, that is just kind of like opening negotiation bids?
Yeah, again, I don't know where that second-round thing came from. That may be true. It may not be true.
No, it's being reported by a lot of people. All the insiders are basically reporting that. Yeah. So I assume if everybody's reporting it, it's probably at least somewhat true. And is that just like an opening call sign, like, hey, that's where we're starting this thing at?
Well, I think, look, Pat, I think if you put the price up high enough, it basically says you don't want to trade the player, right? I mean, if you say, well, it's going to take 2 number ones to get this guy, well, nobody's going to give you that. So, okay, yeah, we'll trade him, but the price is so high, we really don't want to trade him. If you really want to trade the player, then you set the price somewhere that at least it would create some interest. So no different than selling a house or selling a car or anything else. If you want to jack the price up so high that essentially, you're just hoping that somebody would, be desperate or, it's just really a wish that you can get that, but it's not realistic. Then you either have 1 or 0 buyers. I doubt that you would have more than 1.
Okay, so you're saying that the second-round pick, though, is a wish for the Raiders, seemingly, a little bit.
It seems very high to me, yes. It seems high to me, given the player's age and his salary. Look, when you give up a high pick for a good player who has a low cap number, right, that's a good trade. When you give up a high pick, for a player that has a high cap number, now you're paying a lot for the player and you're absorbing a high contract. That's a big expense. Watson in Cleveland, you give up a lot of capital and you're paying the player a lot of money. It's a lot to do. So can you do it? Sure. Denver did it with Wilson. The same thing. You're paying a lot of money and you're giving up a high pick or picks. You better be right on those because it's expensive. You're shopping at the very highest market, and you better really be sure that player is going to be worth it and he's going to make the difference that you want him to make.
Hey, thank you for all that. Yeah. These Mondays are really cool. I know it's just another day in your brain, but we get a chance to hear it for the first time each week about new shit. It's awesome. Your football mind is a beautiful one. Now let's turn our attention to this evening. You talk about the Saints. They were kind of kicking the can down the road for a lot of contracts for a long time. They ended up having to deal with it. I think their salary cap situation going forward has them in a little bit of hell because of whatever decisions were made in the past, but have a chance to be a great team this year. They showcased that in the past, and they're taking on the 4-0 Kansas City Chiefs, who have basically said, we've played like crap, and they've just beat everybody that they've had to play thus far. How do you see tonight going, and what are your kind of thoughts on this game?
Well, Pat, just to back up for a second, I'd say they've kicked it down the road a little bit. They're only $88 million over the cap next year of the $270 million cap. So, but they've been over it before, and I'm sure they have some ideas how to get out of it. Basically, all the players on their team, with the exception of Kamara, are making the minimum. And so the rest of the players have been guaranteed, the money's been pushed out, and there have been voidable years added onto the contract. So they've spread those charges out and credit carded down the line. But they've been doing that for a while, and they've been able to, stay very competitive to either win or be right there on the edge of that division of winning it. So that's what they do. That's the way they do it. I would say, that this is a very good and experienced defense for New Orleans. Dennis Allen, has always done a really good job, and they have a very experienced defense, one of the oldest defenses in the league, but that's a good thing in terms of experience and communication and all that. So I think that they'll give Kansas City some problems there. Kansas City obviously is a good offensive team. They're going to have to do a good job of holding up at left tackle against the edge rush from New Orleans, but I'm sure that Coach Reed has a plan for that, and he's just not going to let that happen all day. They'll have some play action and misdirection and quick throws to counteract that. But I think that's a great matchup against Mahomes, against Dennis Allen, and a very experienced and good New Orleans defense that has a good front. Like you said, the flip side of it is the running game, and if New Orleans can get the running game going against Kansas City, that'll be great for them and be able to control the ball. And but I also think that they need to hit some passes. I think that it's hard for a team to go and convert 4 third downs against Kansas City. So the 3 yards in a cloud of dust, I don't think that's going to necessarily be the way to score a lot of points. I think you got to score to beat Kansas City. I don't think you're going to win with 13 points. That just won't be enough, no matter how good you are defensively. So I think that New Orleans needs to hit some explosive plays. They have a couple explosive receivers that can do that, and I think they'll try to attack down the field at on their terms against Kansas City. I think Kansas City's got to be careful about doing a good job on the running game and controlling the plays that stay out of long yardage for New Orleans at the same time without exposing themselves too much to the explosive plays by their 2 big play receivers.
Follow up there to everything you just said. I saw a photo you're wearing a Taylor Swift hoodie or sweatshirt. You're on the Manning cast tonight. That means Taylor Swift's going to the game. And what does that mean for the Kansas City Chiefs?
I don't have any idea on that. I have on a Washington sweatshirt right now. I'm just left over from the Husky weekend. So, yeah, I don't know if that affects the game. I'll say this. Kansas City is a hard place to play. It's a very hard place to play. The fans, I've had some bad Monday nights there, trust me. And that's a long flight back to New England after getting killed by Kansas City Monday night. Luckily, we've got on to Cincinnati, but there was some tough ones there. And the fans are right on top of you. The visiting bench is like 2 feet from the crowd. So
locker room shit.
Yep.
Yeah, the locker room is it's tight. It's very tight. But it's just a tough play. They have a tremendous fan base. They're very intense, very loud. They're right on top of you. Again, I think New Orleans as an experienced team, they'll be ready for it, but it's still going to be tough. It's a tough place to play. And Kansas City, look, they're tough to play everywhere because they have a good football team, but it'll be tough there at Arrowhead, especially Monday night. Again, I've seen the fans get pretty, they get pretty crazy. And if New Orleans doesn't get off to a good start in the game, I mean, like falling behind 14-0 like we did against them, or 17-3, whatever it was, it's just, a lot of times it can go from bad to worse. So getting off to a good start, come with your best stuff early and trying to, get a lead in the game or at least, keep it even is important. That helped us in the AFC Championship game in 2018. We were able to get ahead early. Yeah. I don't want to say it quieted things down a little bit, but it took a little pressure off. We've been behind 17 points against them, and that's not the place to be.
Never. And if Taylor's there, even louder.
Amen.
Even louder. She hits different pitches than everybody else.
She raises the level.
I do hope she's there so that quiets down a little.
Yeah.
But you're right. That Kingdom is a fantastic fan base, and they got the team right now that's undefeated and mad about it, looking to become the first ever team to win 3 straight Super Bowls. We'll watch you tonight for the first quarter or the first half on Manning Cast. Paul Rudd will be joining after him, and then Archie Manning to close it out. Going to want to hear Archie. He's absolutely a legend. We appreciate you, Bill.
All right, thanks, Pat. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, everyone. AJ, good to see you. AJ, good to see you again. Connor, great. All right, take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Bill Belichick.
Yeah, Coach.
His name is Age Hawk.
You asked him about the Taylor Swift sweatshirt.
He said, I got Washington one on right now. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right here. You're talking about right now? I don't know what photo you're talking about. You know what photo I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know it. I've seen it. You definitely seen it.
We've all seen it.
We've all seen it. Right here.
Yep.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
And then he said on WEEI, right? The biggest catch of Travis Kelce's life is Taylor Swift. He needs to know that. I think that was the first time. And then he told a story about going and seeing her perform
in the
up
rain.
there in Foxborough. He said 3 straight hours in the rain. Didn't stop. He said, I think Bill Belichick's like, Taylor Swift is a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I think that's why, if you're an actual football person, this is I don't want to say self-made, but a workhorse that is kind of built her own lane. And then she has taken an interest into our sport because of an incredible representative in Travis Kelce of our sport. And then all of our fans are now a fan of football. This is good for all families. This is good for everybody.
Absolutely.
We should be rooting for this.
Yeah.
For the good of football. I hope she's there tonight because it's going to be loud.
Better show up for Monday Night Football.
Nah, she got a tour. You think she's got a tour coming up. Starts Friday.
It's great promotion. Monday Night Football, biggest stadium.
She doesn't need promotion. Every stadium sold out already twice.
Saying.
So just so we understand that.
Just saying. There's still tickets available in Indy, so Be a good little promo for it.
That's free sale. Sold out.
Yeah, it's already sold out.
I mean,
Shout
I
out
think
her.
it's
She's
a-
coming to Lucas Oil twice.
Yeah, pump.
She's doing Indianapolis multiple times.
Like 2 nights in a row, like back to back.
No, 3 nights it looks
Oh, she's doing 3. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Jeez.
Legend.
Welcome to Indy. We're lucky you're coming. Thankful she's coming. If she's not there tonight, though, it's going to be real loud. And I don't like that for anybody.
Yeah, it's Miami 3 nights, New Orleans 3 nights, Indy 3 nights.
Woo.
Jeez, I thought only Garth could do that.
Well,
Easy.
You son of a
Oh,
bitch.
Garth
Let's get to a
could sell
break.
out 3 nights in a row at arena.
Not anymore, I think.
You are a
Not
big
anymore.
Garth
Let's
guy,
get to a
aren't you?
break.
No, I've never been a huge Garth fan at all, but I'm just saying he would always, people would tell me, hey, this dude will sell out 2 shows in one night in a
A
stadium.
lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening over there. A lot of
I don't know
very
about
serious,
that.
serious allegations. A lot of them. A lot of them in the world, but in that situation, very.
What's your problem, AJ?
Let's get to a break.
He knows what he's doing.
AJ throwing a fastball here on this Overreaction Monday as he got to. In the next hour, we'll have Patrick Surtain II joining us. He is fresh off of 2 picks, and one of them leading to a 100-yard pick 6 celebration. Absolutely bananas. On that Denver Broncos defense that has been stingy all, I guess, the last couple years.
Yeah.
Can't wait to chat with him. And then we'll also break down all the other storylines happening. Max Crosby mentioned our show.
Yeah, did.
Mentioned my name. He don't like what's being said on this particular program.
No.
Now he does. For those that listen to the answer, further than like 45 seconds, and he goes, "There's one particular guy is one day of the week who is a former G." It's like, okay, he's talking to Michael Lombardi. Thank God. Now that's not good for Michael Lombardi in front of the program, but I'm very happy that he's not just lumping us all into that thing because Max Crosby just fights for fun.
Love that guy.
And he just fights that guy. I don't want to be on the wrong side. We are fans of Max Crosby,
Got the shit tatted on me.
but I didn't like my mentions just being ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. I didn't like that either. The thought of like Max Crosby when he's standing at the line of scrimmage. They don't know, Bo. They don't know what the fuck you're doing.
That was awesome, Cliff.
Awesome. Never stops. I'm a fan of that guy. I saw all of those. Also, all the mentions going. What? I don't know if you heard what he said after the loss.
I was trying to think, like, what do the boys say about it? I don't think the boys said anything about Max, right?
If you listen to the full, you got to listen to the full answer.
Eventually I got to that. Yeah, I got to that later.
Because I got a text from a few friends that were like, "Oh, look what you did this time. Hope you're happy." Pissed off Max fucking Crosby.
I need to listen.
Out of all people, I'm like, "Did you listen to the clip?" Yeah, read the headline too. I'm like, "Did you listen to the clip?" I don't think he wants to kill me. I don't think. Maybe because guilty by association, but he's, without saying Lombo's name, he's a former GM for 1 year, dude. Okay, this guy.
Speaking on me.
Don't mention my name. I'm like, hey, you got it.
Respect.
Stand on business.
SOB.
Max Crosby. I respect it.
You've been through some shit.
Yeah.
Out there.
And as he was giving that answer, I was like, come on, man. I'm so sorry. And he started like really zoning in on. And I was like, okay, maybe in good. We've always been massive fans. Always will be. Love Max Crosby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Best podcast is going to be great this week. The Rush. With Max Crosby.
That's just what he said in the locker room, let alone.
I thought you were talking about GM Shuff.
Well,
yeah, I don't think
I'm
sure.
sure.
That will be too.
I'm not listening to it.
I mean, seriously.
I'm standing with Max Crosby this week.
Let's stop the music for 1 second. Amen. We are Max Crosby fans.
Yes.
What?
I stand with my Paisan.
Okay. All right.
He's talking to you, Tone. Max is talking to you, Tone.
I mean, we fact-checked, too, in the conversation with
real
Lombo
time.
about what was happening, so I feel like that was a big part of the whole thing, too. Hopefully Max saw that from what we were told. Yes, that is the case. We have some breaking news. Talk about friend of the program. Shams Charania has officially signed with ESPN to be the senior NBA insider.
Let's go.
We have seen this little lad, Shams, who at one point would only tweet about lunch happening and uses a fork to eat oatmeal or yogurt or parfaits or ice cream. A man who sets alarms to remind himself to drink water. A man who is always properly shaved up, faded up, hair perfect, lighting perfect, and a man who has worked his ass off for a long time since he's 18 years old to network, to do right by people, to gain a following and some influence, to become the senior NBA insider for ESPN, who just forked over billions and billions of dollars for NBA rights, to become this pivotal of a position, to get to this pivotal of a role. Hell yeah, Shams. American dream, baby.
Baby Shams.
Oh, yeah. Well deserved.
Hell yeah, Shams. Incredibly proud of Shams, Sharanya. And I'm happy they were able to get a deal done. I'm very happy that was able to happen, and Shams will crush it. I mean, Shams was built for this.
Yep.
Shams is ready for this. Shams has been a top guy as an insider for a few years now. And obviously, Woj, incredible commitment to the game and to ESPN and to the NBA for a long time. And good luck with the St. Bonaventures. But ESPN won today now that they have Shams a part of the crew, and we are incredibly pumped and lucky. I'm almost getting emotional for Shams.
Oh, yeah.
You remember he just showed up on our show? Guys, just like trying to be so proper.
Cool background. Remember that one?
Every time.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing behind him.
Spaceship.
And then like Shams, I'm so proud of you, man.
Hey, baby Shams.
I'm for him, AJ, for real.
I mean, it makes too much sense. If he wouldn't have gone to ESPN, it would have, come on, what are we doing?
I may or may not have sent that message to a couple people, but, our show is licensed to ESPN. But it was like, hey, we got it.
Built for this.
It's already,
Yeah.
Don't know what your plan is. Don't know, but it feels like, whatever God, universe you believe it, like there is a prince who was promised.
Yes.
Yeah, love jet passing, but let's keep him in baseball.
Yeah, we love Schefter.
baseball.
Love Schefter
Yep.
too. And all those things were happening, and we're friends with all these people. And it's like, I don't want to say, what are we doing? Like this,
come on.
It's right here. But hands out, just sent a couple. Good dude, has always shown up for us too. Work ethic, insane. Absolutely insane work ethic. Got a good one. Hell yeah, Shams.
That's awesome.
All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll have Patrick Surtain II. Cannot wait to talk to him about this Denver Broncos team. Look, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
3 in a row.
Sure. Don't look now.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5. I had no idea what to expect whenever I came out here to Utah. Shock that.
Yeah,
Shock.
I can't make it.
Steve Smith Sr.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-12 champion, head coach of the Utah Utes football team, pulling in on a Harley-Davidson Sportster, I do believe, Coach Kyle Whittingham.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion, no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Said I'm trying to kill them off, whatever the take down. Seen the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals.
I mean, you got to do it. It is 34 degrees out here in the back-to-back Pac-12 champions. Mighty Utah student section has been here in abundance. They've been loud. In today's a day where they showcase to the world that it's not just Mormons and soaking in Utah. No. It's great football and an incredible fan base. They've been so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before in your entire life?
Yes.
All right, relax, dude. Okay. Boston Connor was drinking with Dwayne Wade last night. $225,000. Let's remember this day forever, Cameron.
that 29 out of the last 30 home games that happens right here at the University of Utah, the Utah Utes win. Cam Rising said yesterday, we don't lose at home, and today, they ain't losing. This place is going to be soaking in celebration this evening.
You guys were absolutely phenomenal. This morning, you showed everybody that this is the town you want to
I am jacked, dude.
Lighting's great.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Ned. Owen, how old are you?
So different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
What?
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking her on
And
the
also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He's making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this massive Overreaction Monday, October 7th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is awesome. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and Bruce Brown sitting in for Ty Schmidt. Congrats to Ty and family. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. 9-year NFL vet, man who played corner, safety, and nickel. A host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius G. Butler.
D-Bud.
And joining us now is a man who has been on the Good D portion of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, literally since he got into the NFL. Seemingly was a 35-year-old man his rookie year, and now he has somehow only gotten better. Fresh off a 2-pick, one of them being a pick 6 of 100 yards.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Famer Patrick Surtain II.
Yeah, Pat.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, so,
Good to see you.
Hey, great to see you too. So if I was the second, I would have, do they call you Deuce? Like, what is is there a 2? Like, what is the normal day-to-day friend number? Is there a reference to 2 in the conversation whenever saying your name?
Yeah, it's a reference. A lot of people have been saying PS2. That's the sort of gig that's been going around ever since I stepped in the league. So PS2 Junior, Surtain Junior, Surtain second, but PS2 is very common nowadays.
You like PS2 or no?
I mess with it. I could dig it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, PS2's on a program. Hey, I'm happy you got there and not me. You know, we tossed a name on a guy one time whenever he was on the program, didn't love it. Now we're, not on the ins, maybe on the outs. Let's talk about yesterday, and let's talk about this season as a whole. Seems like you guys on the defensive side are giving people problems. Now, Sean Payton, Bo Nix figuring it out on the offensive side is seemingly the story. On the defensive side, though, you guys have been really taking over games. Why is that the case? And yesterday, did you just have eyes on everything? That's why you end up with 2 picks, one of them this particular play, which, house call, 100 yards.
Yeah, defensively as a whole unit, I think prior towards the season, we definitely established ourselves. We set a standard out there that we was going to be the best unit on the field each and every week. And just the preparation throughout the week, the film study, the right habits, creating the right habits so we could make plays. And collectively as a unit, the pass rush getting there, us in the back end making plays. And when those 2 and 2 go in the hand, it correlates for success. And speaking of yesterday, the pick six, I was keying my man. It was sort of like a little trick play, not a trick play, but it was a little eye candy because the receiver felt like he was going for a block. Then he went out for a pass, and I just had good eyes on my man. And like I said, man, sometimes luck comes to you at the right time, at the right moment. Obviously, we needed to play, and I capitalized on the opportunity. 100 yards to the crib.
Yeah, intuition, is a big part of football skill, especially if you're going to play corner. So you not falling for the bait and then being in the perfect position and then striding out. Were you running 100% there? It looked like you were just kind of cruising there, pulling.
Nah, I was in cruise control once I seen green grass.
Yeah, because
I seen green grass, I was in cruise control. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, because you guys got to kick the ball back off to them.
Yeah, if you see, once I caught, I had a little excel there. Then, yeah, I strided it out right there. I knew I was good, man.
Yeah, because you're going back on the field. That is.
Yeah. I needed some wind after. I was in cruise control. I know I got to go back out there.
Yeah, at altitude.
I'm conserving my energy for the next series.
Yeah, smart at altitude too. What a play! Going to be a highlight that's run for the rest of the year. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, what's it been like with Sean Payton since he's kind of stepped in the building? We know I've talked to a lot of former players that have played for him. He comes from the old school, like Bill Parcells kind of lineage. And I know he's usually competing every single day in practice. And I know Vance Joseph, your defensive coordinator, they show him a bunch on the sidelines. He seems to be having a great time with how well you guys have been playing lately. Like, what has it meant like for Sean Payton to come in there and obviously bring his staff? And like, what's the vibe like? What's the culture like?
Yeah, the coach is different, man. I think he came in here with the mindset to win games, but to change the culture around the organization. And his mindset is solely focused on winning and bringing the best out of his players. And you could tell each and every week, once we geared up for the games, he's highly motivated that, he's going to come out here and do what he do, but also bring the best out of us. And he just set that standard from day one. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. He's a highly touted coach with a high win percentage. And once he stepped into this role, I knew he was going to be special moving forward. And just having him at the front line of things, just building us with motivation, building us with success, it goes a long way forward. And I'm looking forward to many years to come working with Sean.
Does Sean have a better shoe game than you?
I don't think so. I mean, he be coming out with the J's. He be coming out with some exclusive J's. He be gatekeeping a lot, but he be gatekeeping a lot of his J's, his secrets. But I think I got way more shoe game. So
okay.
He's like got that old swagger, like the generic Jordans back in the day. That's his style. So.
Like
I definitely seen him with some Team Jordans before too. So
that's awesome. Hey, new contract you got. You can buy it. Gatekeeping now. All of a sudden, your world that you're in with that money, you can get whatever. Let's talk about Sean Payton and Bo Nix yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the clips. I'm sure you have. What are your thoughts on it, and what are your thoughts on Bo Nix as the quarterback for your team?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously when the moments are high. I just see two competitive people going at it. Obviously, when you in a situation like that, football brings the best out of you. They both got the same personality. They just want to win games at the end of the day and, do what's best for each other. Obviously, it's not going to, look the cut all the time, but I just see two people making adjustments to see what's better for the team moving forward. And obviously, when you got two guys like that, it speaks volumes for the team because, you see guys like that going at it, but it's just because of the high enthusiasm within the game and how much it means to them at the end of the day, you know. So I know it made them better at the end of the day because obviously they're on the same page. But when you see something like that, when tension is high, I think it just brought the best out of them for sure.
Yeah, and you're not, unless you're comfortable with each other, it's not happening. You know, that is obviously a thing that you can only do with people that you have respect for, because if not, that's going to different.
Yeah, and they both got respect for each other.
Bingo.
I mean,
yeah, and he's a
one,
rookie. You
that's
know,
how it was.
it's like, I thought it was good. You thought it was good. Bill Belichick thought it was good. But some people out there, wait a minute. Wait a minute. PS2, D-But's got a question for you.
Yeah, Pat mentioned it. Pat, one of the best corners since you stepped foot in the league. I want to know who you modeled your game after. I know your dad, big-time Dolphins fan. We got another one in the back, Gump as well. So salute to your pops, Dolphin legend. Went to Nick Saban, got coached by him, getting coached by Vance Joseph as well. Meeting Champ Bailey, I want to know how cool that was pre-game. But what corners was out there that you modeled your game after?
You hit it right there. Champ Bailey was a guy that I looked at a lot. I mean, just his body of work is special. I mean, he's done that at a high level each and every year. He's a legend, all-around legend. A great dude as well, too. Him, Darrell Revis, Pops, Deion Sanders, you know, guys that really made the impact and changed the cornerback position, I could say. I mean, it's a lot out there. I just got a whole list of guys, you know, I model my game after because I watch so much film and I always try to always work on my craft, and there's always tools out there to get better at. And I definitely look at guys, legends in the past, and see what they did best and sort of like translate that to my game as well too. So those guys I mentioned, you know, just Richard Sherman as well too, like guys you see week in and week out in the past that's done it at a high level. I watch their film a lot.
Anybody now that you guys are in a group text, high-level corners, you guys just chit-chatting with each other saying, hey, we're the only motherfuckers that can do what we're doing?
Yeah, man, we talk about it all the time, man. It's such a. It seems like it's an offensive regulated league sometimes. At times, I mean, cornerbacks sort of get like the short end of the stick sometimes because it's just like, you know, when you're out there playing football, you know, you go up against the best athletes each and every week. With receivers like that, but
well, keep your hands off them, PS2. Don't touch them. Yeah, and don't.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Nah, I'm just saying there's great corners around the league that I look at. You know, Sauce Gardner, you know, Darius Slay, Trey Diggs, Jalen Johnson. I mean, I just go on and on with guys across the league, especially young bucks coming up like Christian Gonzalez, Derek Stingley. Guys like that that's been making plays, man. Jalen Ramsey, you know, he's been at the top of his game year after year. So I definitely watch those guys film, you know, and we chat all across the league because it's nothing but respect. This DB thing is a brotherhood at the end of the day. So it's good to hear from those guys.
Yeah, well, you guys need to stop cheating. You know, you guys need to stop cheating the entire time. No, I'm joking. The NFL is trying to take you guys down, though.
He talked about the group, them coming in with the mindset of being the best group in the field, great group. On the other side of Pat, probably the best white corner of his generation.
Big pick, right?
Riley Moss, first pick. Tell me a little bit about Riley, man, because he's an absolute dog on film, but tell me about him and I guess the rest of that group, PJ, McMillan. I love all you guys back there. Brandon Jones, former Dolphin, like just about that group, what the vibes are like.
Yeah, Riley, I just think he stepped in day one with a lot of confidence, as you could tell. And I think he embraced that challenge to the most because he just prepared the right way. Each and every week he's learning to get better. He's studying in the film room, does extra work after practice to hone in on his game. And when you got a guy like that opposite of you, it brings the best out of you, and it brings a lot of confidence throughout that secondary room. So Roddy, he's a great player, man, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. This play here, exactly, like he looked back for the ball and high-pointed it, and he made a great play. He for sure could jump, by the way.
What's that?
I know that's the reference going around, but
What's
he for
that?
sure could jump.
What about dance? Can he dance? He can dance.
I never seen Roddy dance.
We can assume he can dance. Yeah, okay, sure. We can assume.
I hope so. I hope so.
You hope so. He's not even giving it to him. I hope it.
I hope so. I hope so. he even showed no celebrations for real. So hopefully we can work on that with him.
Yeah, be a little bit more comfortable.
He's a baller though.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to his craft, his future. I mean, the sky's the limit for him.
Okay, let's talk about your past a little bit. Wow, tough weekend. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Pat, you ever look back at your college career and just say, man, I am so thankful I never had to play Vandy at Vandy? What
It's
happened?
new Vandy. It's
What
a new
happened,
Vandy. It's a new Vandy,
What happened,
PS2. They're a good team. Diego Pavia is a monster.
Where the fam at?
Yeah, and
No, I
they're-
can't. I can't even speak upon it, man. But I know them boys gonna rally together. That's just them. I know a couple of guys on the team, a lot of leaders on that group. Yeah, I know they're gonna rally those guys together and get back on track. I know, because going through that program and that pedigree, you look at the losses more than you do the wins. To say so. I know those guys, they're going to get back on track, and I know they're going to be more motivated than ever, because just the fact that I know they have a standard behind them, and to let that slip away, I know that's going to haunt them for a little minute, but they're going to get back on track. I got the utmost belief in them.
Okay, so a lot of people, you have belief in them. I think everybody that knows the players from Bama have belief in them. But a lot of people saying, Saban wouldn't have this situation happen in Vandy. And obviously, he never lost to Vandy. And he actually said on this particular program, the only place that isn't tough, really, in the SEC is Vandy. He actually said it on the show. They run it in the stadium immediately after the game while they're jumping on the uprights and carrying it through there. But I think Saban and DeBoer obviously have massive respect for each other. Everybody that knows DeBoer knows he knows football. Excited to watch them bounce back from this whole thing. But let's talk about Saban a little bit, because I know him a little bit more now. As a guy that we're doing TV with, and him in meetings is awesome. Him telling stories is awesome. His love of football is awesome. Then I got a chance to go to the Saban estate, which I assume you have been plenty of times.
Yeah.
House is awesome. Miss Terry's awesome. What was he like recruiting you? And then what was it like playing for him?
Yeah, I think Saban, he's a stand-up guy. You talk about day one, like he caters towards his players and in the utmost way. But even though, you see the other side of him, that sort of get on you, that, yells at you here and there, but it's all love at the end of the day, because he has a standard set for you and the expectation. And, his expectation is greatness. So if you want to talk about the epitome of greatness, that's him. Just with his standard, his level of winning each and every year. And to be able to witness that up front and close and personal, man, it was a pleasure on my end to witness greatness and witness his craft, witness what he does and why he's considered the greatest college coach of all time. I mean, it's a reason not many could do. And I was honestly very blessed to be in that situation with Saban at the end of the day, for sure.
Did you see him do the wobble up there? Did you ever see him?
Do the wobble?
Yeah, I guess from what I've been told, one of the greatest wobblers of all time. That's what I've been told.
I never seen that side of him.
Little two-stepping I heard too. I mean, yeah.
I seen him two-step. I seen him Cupid shuffle.
Yep.
I seen him do a few little razzle dazzle here and there.
So I've been told, because we all saw the Cupid shuffle, I think, on the internet that went viral or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been told the wobble is actually the home run hit.
I never seen that. I never seen that side of him before.
I haven't seen it either, and I haven't seen the Cupid shuffle.
I know you had the chance to really sit down and talk to him. These past couple of weekends, college game day and stuff.
He's awesome on there. Have you seen him? He's fucking great on there.
Yeah. He's great.
He
cares.
Like
he's enjoying it.
He cares too. I think he legitimately cares about future college football, also the show, and telling his shit. He's awesome. All right, we appreciate you, PS2. Have an incredible day, an incredible week, and an incredible season.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all, man.
PS2 is not a bad name.
No.
Good name.
Sick.
That's a good name. Too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick. Oh, shit. I was just told this. I apologize for not bringing it up sooner. You're doing something great for the community. Always have to chat about that.
Oh,
you have I say gala.
Gala. I say gala.
Gala.
I think I'm a gala.
Gala.
Am I the only one that says a gala?
I've just never heard Met Gala.
That's the first time I heard it.
Well, Met Gala, I think, is you're right, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, never heard Met Gala.
No.
Yeah, always Met Gala.
Yeah.
So you're hosting a gala this weekend, is what on Friday night. Inspire the Dream Gala, 6:30, 9:30 at the Ritz. Carl, hey, okay, the Ritz. The Ritz, raising money for your foundation, which helps the youth, continuing to give back to the community. It's good shit, PS2. What is this? Is the first time, and what is happening on Friday?
Yeah, so this is my second annual Inspire the Dream Gala for my foundation. So my whole foundation mission is to level the playing field for students at a financial disadvantage, to provide them with the necessary resources to succeed at the next level. And me growing up, I've always, been an advocate towards giving back to the community in a meaningful way. And why not give it back to such a great community out here in Denver, because they deserve it. And seeing the community as a whole, as the village come together and, just come and set goals for their school population and to innovate and build new things for the future. I mean, it's definitely inspiring to see those kids just work each and every week. And, it inspires me each and every day to keep going with this foundation. So, yeah, the Inspire the Dream Gala this Friday, October 11th. I'm looking forward to it. Another year of success within the foundation. And, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Go to patricksurtain.org and you can buy tickets or donate. And are you giving a speech? Are you speeching, dancing, DJing? How's the night's events kind of go?
I mean, it's a whole rundown. So what I had before a year prior is I had a STEAM room presentation for students. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, English, Arts, and Math, and all those contribute into one foundation room that I would build in each and every classroom. So that's the whole mission behind it. I had 2 schools last year present their ideas. I was able to generate tons of money throughout the gala to be able to build those STEAM rooms for each and every school. And I'm looking forward to doing the same this year. So it's very great stuff behind it.
Hey, keep giving back, man. The more you give, the more you receive. And if you're a good person, I think good things happen. And great things have obviously been happening with you on a football field and you in the Denver community. We appreciate the hell out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Famer, PS2. PS2. It's good stuff. Gala.
Peyton calls it a gala at his gala.
So what probably happened was, as an adult, the only galas that I have ever went to were probably with the Manning family.
Yes.
And I assume Peyton is not the only one that's saying, we're here at the gala.
Yep. I thought I was wrong on gala that night. I was like, oh my God.
Whenever he said it.
Yeah.
Got it. So that was how I was baptized into the the gala world, was from a Louisiana family.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, you can see how that can happen.
Yeah. Google's saying both are correct.
Archie will be on fourth quarter tonight on the Manning Cast.
Gonna be awesome.
Worthy. Depending on how it goes, but boy, he is a lightning rod. He is awesome to chat with.
It'll be good just them 3. Like, no matter what's going on in the game, it'll be awesome them interacting.
He's awesome. Go ahead, Bruce.
Is he going to be at a house, I wonder?
Yeah, probably. Ooh, interesting. Because there was one year he was at Eli's house, I think, because he was at a Giants game.
Yeah.
Peyton was in the, or some sort of event, I think. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Or we'd be at his house.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will see.
Can't wait.
We will see.
Is Paul Rudd a big football guy?
Loves the Chiefs.
Big Chiefs.
Remember his kid?
He was on the field when they beat the Niners the first time.
Schrager interviewed his son.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a big moment. The Rudd family loves Kansas City Chiefs. They're also, they do a bunch of fundraising, I think, in Kansas City. What's that thing, that weekend?
Ooh.
Is it Big Slick? Something slick.
All the comedians from out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
They do a massive Baron Corbin.
Like Riggle and all them, and then Stone Street, the dude from Modern Family. They're all big Kansas City fans.
Yeah, Big Slick. That's what it is.
So someone from
Sud, Jay Sud, I think, too. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Jay Sud.
Riggle, Paul.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stone Street.
What a crew.
Jay Sud.
Yeah, they do a massive fundraiser where they go back, I think, every single offseason. It is a huge event. Like they sell at the fucking, I think they sell at the, I might be wrong. They move a lot of tickets.
Big.
I see pictures from Baron Corbin's Instagram, because he goes back every year because he's from there as well, and it's a massive to-do, a big to-do. I don't know how many galas they're doing, or galas, but it's a big to do.
Yeah, Luke Combs doing one.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Him, Eric Church, Billy Strings.
And one more. Oh, shit.
Performing at the Carolina Panthers Stadium to raise money for hurricane relief down there. I believe it's hosted by Caleb Presley, obviously, North Carolina football quarterback.
Yep.
And, there's another tie-in. Huge. It's about to be a huge night.
Massive. Is Luke Bryan one of them?
Maybe, because Georgia.
James Taylor.
James Taylor. There
Got
it
it.
is.
Huge night down there.
Yeah.
They're putting on like a show in the stadium.
October 26th, Bank of America Field. I assume all money will be going to hurricane relief. And if they're selling ticket prices for actual ticket prices, that'll be a few $1 million. That'll be a big deal. And
Listen to this.
Go ahead.
David Tepper offered up the stadium. So here. Do it here.
Tep!
That boy Tepper.
I think he did $3 million.
That a baby Tep.
Tep.
That baby Tep. Can you put that thing back up there, please? And Caleb Presley, Marty Smith. There it is.
Oh, boom.
Another Carolina legend. Yeah. So I'm saying this is going to be
Marty and McBee.
this is going to be a worthy show down there. Obviously, raising money for a phenomenal cause to get people back on their feet. I guess the devastation is real in parts of North Carolina, down there in Georgia, and I guess Florida is currently being tracked. Northern Florida is currently being tracked right now for another storm
Yeah,
coming.
the whole west. I mean,
Really?
honestly, the whole state is kind of on alert, but it's really that west coast again.
All right, obviously, positive prayers, vibes, and thoughts for everybody down there. I believe it's $600,000 after Daniel's kick is being donated from the game day crew. Us on the set. That was agreed to a minute and a half before let's say 3 minutes before the kicking segment. As we're leaving the set, hey, I'm about to say we're going to donate big. We in? Everybody was like, yep. I was like, all right, sweet. And I just go in there. So I think Kirk was actually learning of what the price was going to be as the thing was happening. It's like, we'll give $100,000. We'll all give $100,000. That'll be sweet. We'll donate. Then Daniel hits another one for another $100,000. It's like in Berkeley, California, obviously in a different part of the country, struggling. It's like everybody coming together in that moment. It was beautiful, like pumped about it. But also sucks the people that are on the other side of these storms.
Yeah,
that is
bad ones.
Bad.
Bad.
Talking about roads
People are
just being
stuck,
gone.
and they're just people just stuck with no way out too. I feel like
No way in, no way allegedly, and then choppers. You know how? That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, exactly. What's happening?
That's devastating down there, and I think the world will continue. America will continue to help. I think as opportunities continue to arise. Let's pivot to tonight. Saints versus Chiefs. This is a big one.
Huge.
Anytime Chiefs are playing, obviously it's a big one because no matter what happens, there's going to be massive conversation afterwards. Are they good enough to do what nobody in history of the NFL has ever done, which wins 3 straight Super Bowls on this Monday night? And if they lose, wait a minute. This team doesn't have any. They lose to the Saints?
Come on.
They're losing it at home? They're losing. Yeah, they're the worst 4-1 team in the history of the NFL. That is what comes from a Chiefs game. That is what comes from a Monday night Chiefs game. Let's take a look at how we did this weekend, picking against the spread, you and I. 5-7-1, 5-7-1. Neither great, but both the same.
Here we go.
It's a big night. It's a big night tonight. Let's start with D-Butch, who looks so cool today in his Reese outfit. Could be Rice, could be Reese.
Ooh. That is sweet.
R-E-I-S-S. It's like a tuxedo sweatsuit, AJ.
Sure. Looks sick.
You could go to one of those fancy galas you do in this thing. Chiefs favored by 5 at home. D-Butch, what are your thoughts?
You know what? Do we know if Taylor Swift is going to be in the building yet? Has that been confirmed or?
I don't know. I saw a meme that said she was going to be there, but was that from a previous game?
I saw they were launching a new show too out there. A lot of.
But I heard Mahomes and Swift not apart.
Okay. You know what?
How do you?
Chiefs win. Chiefs win a close one at home. New Orleans Saints cover. So if I'm going against the spread, Saints cover, but Chiefs win.
Saints +5 says Darius J. Butler. How have you been picking against spread this year? Good?
I have not been making picks week in, week out.
Not at all.
Keeping track. No, just here.
How enjoyable is that?
Great.
Isn't it much nicer?
It's unbelievable. But I tell you what, live betting. That's been my thing.
Yeah, it's
too
nice because
unpredictable.
you get a good read. You get a good read of what's going on, then all of a sudden you're profiting off it. And then when it doesn't happen, it goes, shoulda though. You know, a lot of that during the live betting stuff. AJ, we're not picking great, so I don't know if anybody should listen to what we're saying. But what are your thoughts? Chiefs favored by 5 at home. Do you see it going similarly to D-Butch? Do the Saints get a win maybe without Rashee Rice and Pacheco? And it was just a different Chiefs team. How do you see it going, AJ?
Well, we know anything is possible, but I have to lean Chiefs here. I just have a hard time picking against the Chiefs. I like what the Saints are doing. I really do. But I think, especially with the injuries, maybe Kelsey gets going even a little bit more tonight because they will have to lean on him. So, yeah, give me the Chiefs -5 at home.
Chiefs never cover.
That's the thing.
No.
It being 5 is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because 3.5
About a point.
feels right.
Yeah.
So why is it at 5? I think whoever thinks that it's going to be a pretty good matchup for the Chiefs. So with that being said, I'll take the Chiefs as well. If we both hit, we tie for this week.
They are 3-1 ATS this year.
Covering.
Okay.
Playing for the tie.
Couple.
I'm not picking the Saints against my Chiefs. Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
We were just crowning the Saints a couple weeks ago.
I love the Saints. I'm appreciative of the Saints.
Defense is the real deal. That total's only 42.5, pretty low for Patty Mahomes.
And for a 5-point.
Yeah.
Give me the Chiefs. And the Chiefs is still the Chiefs.
Yep.
True.
I've been the loudest Chiefs is still the Chiefs guy for the last couple of years. Me and Herb Street's kid actually got into a little bit of an argument just moments after a couple older white ladies tried to kick me out of an Athens, Georgia restaurant last year. Okay?
Remember that.
Chase Herb Street. Turned into Chase Orlovsky real quick.
On the field, too.
Where is I haven't seen Dan much today. Where is he?
Who? Dan?
Dan, where's he?
Dan was on TV this morning.
Did you talk about Josh Allen at all?
Oh, Josh Allen had a bad game. That's going to happen. You know, the Texas defense flies around. D'Amico Ryans
Yeah, he's also seeing
does his thing.
8 different guys running routes. I mean, you can't blame him. Where's the unk in that game?
Yeah, that discourse is getting loud.
Yeah, Josh Allen was certainly knocked out. Did you see it, AJ?
Yeah, scary. Hit, like, side of his head hard on the ground.
And body, you know.
Yeah.
Like if there's somebody's job is to look out for these guys.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that Josh Allen, you know, says, I'm fine, thanks for asking. And then goes back in, passes whatever concussion test it is. I do appreciate that, but I think they say like 2 concussions in like a very short amount of time is not ideal. Like that is a big ordeal.
Yes.
Allegedly, that is the big problem. So whenever we all see Josh Allen, a player that we love, we appreciate, we like what he does, clearly get knocked out and then end up back on the field in the front shot. I don't know if we have the front view of this thing.
Here.
Yeah, here it is. I mean, it is. Look at the arms, dude. Just look at the arms. Just, you know, no defense. No,
left arm.
Josh Allen is a phenomenal athlete. You don't think he's going to be trying to stop his face from rubbing off? Like, if you were to just watch that, I'm no neurologist, I'm no concussion expert, but I look at that, I go, that dude's knocked out right there.
Yeah.
And then you see him get up and leave the field, and then you see him come back on the field. I think we all go, I understand everyone's a grandstand about the Tua situation because of everything we've seen, but I think this one is the one that everybody says is the most dangerous, and it's kind of just happening right in front of our face with one of our faces of the league.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, that was a very close game, came down to a game-winning field goal. Josh Allen does not complete 3 passes in a row in the last one, maybe the worst throw we've seen Josh Allen make, especially in that big of a situation. It's like, well, maybe it's because he was pretty clearly knocked out.
9 for 30.
That's not, I mean, in that throw, the last one.
Yeah, it was just,
that's not Josh, you know?
No.
You can't let him back out there. And it was crazy as I'm watching the game, and I was watching some other games, saw him back. I'm like, and then it got me thinking, like, that used to be normal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys would lie.
Back in the
You guys
day,
would lie.
Like, that used to be so normal. Like, especially for a quarterback. Like 15 years ago, if he didn't come back in the game, he's walking around and something. Like, he's soft. Like,
soft.
Back in the game. So we've come a long way. But I hate to see him back out there. I know obviously he's going to say everything to get back out there. They gave him some smell of salt, threw him back out there. I don't think it was right there.
That was wild to watch.
Nuts.
Yeah. That was very wild to watch.
Especially
I thought no way he was going back.
I think we're like, I don't want to say the most fair on concussion show, but I think we are. You know, I feel like we are. We try to do as much research as possible because I have like a lot of friends, obviously, that I worry about and everything that has come out in this whole thing. But I also think we kind of understand how some of these situations have gone in the past and what football people are like and what doctors are actually saying versus what people are projecting into what the thoughts are, because Dr. Will Smith and like everything like that in a high drama, worst case scenario situation is in a lot of people's minds whenever it comes to this. Certainly something to be very, very scared about, but literally every single person that has talked about concussions is like, back-to-back concussions, not good. So I think that is why our reaction is what it is versus what it probably was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. But you're right. Think about how many quarterbacks just. How about when it was just old AstroTurf, just cement with carpeting on top of it? The heads.
And anyone that's hit the back of your head on the ground or side of your head, like that is the weirdest, like scary feeling too.
Yeah, it's like
not nice. Weird.
I mean, and let alone what the tackles used to be.
Oh yeah.
And then quarterbacks were getting sawed.
Oh yeah.
Like this as well.
Technology in the helmets. Come so far.
So far. Congrats to modern technology.
Good work.
Except for the one that had Bill Belichick drop off. You know, don't love that.
Yeah. Those can't be used.
Hey, good convo with Bill today.
Yeah.
That was good.
Awesome.
Feels like settling in, feeling great. Manning Cash should be great tonight. You know what else is great every single Monday?
What's that?
Well, there's these tweets, you see, about people and their reactions from around the entire NFL. And it normally becomes a trending topic. Today, it did. It went to number one. So shout out to everybody.
Hell yeah.
But basically, we say we want to kind of hear how everybody's feeling. All you got to do is put a tweet out and make sure you use the hashtag. I don't want to overreact. But you know, Ty normally goes through those since Ty is at home with a brand new baby and his family. Nick said, I'll go through these overreactions and pick the best ones. Let's dive into them, shall we? This is from Connor. Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But the NFL wants Patriots to lose so they can get Travis Hunter and be an immediate Super Bowl contender next year with Drake May at the helm. Polk got both feet in at the end of the game, and it was a clear touchdown. Luckily, the NFL is playing the long game with New England. Thank you, Roger. Now, you're talking about the touchdown where the toe was in, then the heel comes down.
Yes, sir.
I believe that counts as the same foot. If he would have toe jump out of bounds, then land flat-footed, touchdown would count as two different touches of inbounds, out of bounds. If the toes were dragging towards the out of bounds line and got in and then slid out of bounds, they'd be good. But since you go toe in, continue the step, heel out, that counts as out of bounds.
Yeah.
If he goes toe, jump to ass there, heel doesn't touch. Touchdown.
Sounds like semantics to me. It's bullshit.
What, are your toes connected to your heels or no?
Yeah, but if your toes come down without your heel, are you not inbound?
Well, if the toes stay in bounds and the heel never touches, I think you're in bounds.
Yeah, I
Or
suppose.
if the heel went down too, he's in, right? If the heel went down first instead of toes.
Yeah, if the heel went down in and then toes never touch, you just kind of heel it on out like you're on Heelys.
Spin.
You'd be good.
then.
Brian Williams would have probably.
Yeah.
Probably the only human on earth.
But nonetheless, the toe bone's connected to the heel bone. And I don't love it, but I'm just telling you that's what it is. You're saying it's a reason they're cooking against you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, to be completely fair, you know, like I said, winning this game means nothing for New England. As a whole, none of these games really mean anything for New England unless they're losing them. So at the end of the day, whatever, as long as Travis Hunter's in New England next year, and it's completely fine. I understand if people are saying, like, not a real fan, you want the Patriots to lose. I don't want them to lose, okay? But when we're talking about winning things, I don't want to go to the playoffs and just lose in the first round. I want to win a fucking Super Bowl.
What?
Okay? And the only way to do that is to get guys like a Travis Hunter on your team to partner with your Hall of Fame quarterback, Drake May.
So you're playing chess here.
Yeah, bingo. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit here, people. Okay,
Big picture.
Is a long season.
Close Sicilian.
Yeah, is a long tenure. I don't want anybody fired. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs in New England. I just know that in the end, we need at least 3 to 4 more fantastic players to get back to the Super Bowl, which is what we're fucking playing for.
I don't think it's an overreaction. I think he did. I think it was a very normal reaction.
Yes, and you would agree, Roger wants the Patriots to be good again.
Well, I don't know if I would agree with that. I think he wants the Colts to be great, which is why he let Joey Flack come here for $4 million. Let's go to the next overreaction. And baby time. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Jordan Love is equal parts Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Frustrating, exhilarating, lethal. The Super Bowl has never been more on. See you in NOLA. Hashtag go, pack, go. AJ, do you think that's the case?
I've never really heard anybody, I guess, describe Jordan Love like this, but yeah, when you see this, it does make sense a little bit. Like Jordan Love, he's the guy. Like when I watch him, I feel confident in the Packers offense with him, and I think the rest of the team feels that too. So yeah, maybe Ty is right here.
Yeah, and Gutekunst obviously bet on this, as did LaFleur. Watching him play is awesome, I think. The plays he makes is awesome. And to your point, very confident that he is the guy already. Yeah. He hasn't won, obviously, a Super Bowl. He's only played a limited amount of time over the last few years. Jaden Reed, too, with these catches.
Yeah, wow.
These catches are insane.
Outrageous.
He made multiple like this. It was bananas. With the Romeo duck, I mean, that's just over the opposite shoulder in double team, eyes on it, fingertips.
Jeez.
Catch
What a
no
catch.
I mean, what a catch. What a throw. What a throw. This dude catches a punt like that over his opposite shoulder. I mean, that was fucking bananas to watch. Kraft going ape shit, obviously, as a player, and then this happens. You know, his first ever pick six.
He'll give you a couple.
He got Wentz. He went full Wentz, full Will Levis here, and was trying not to get a safety. Thought he was able to get rid of that one, maybe complete a pass. You can see why he made the move. You can see what he wanted to do, which is why it's Wentz.
Yes.
It's just, it went the complete opposite direction. Jordan Love doesn't have a lot of those. That's his first ever pick six, but he does roll the dice every once in a while, which I respect.
Yeah, you need that. You need a little guy that, you know, he's going to be on the edge. He's going to be pushing the line at all times. And I think that's him.
A little guy.
What do you mean?
He's a big dog.
I didn't say a little. I never said anything about him being a little guy. I see a guy that's going to be pushing the line, whatever that is. Hey, don't step over, but if you are, I'll be here to pull you back.
Okay, I would like to be able to say, ho, not go. Yeah, I appreciate that. Bill Carr, I believe, said he likes somebody with a little muck. So let's go to the next overreaction from In the Thunderdome. It's from Gumpy. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Dolphins are all the way back, and the AFC East is wide open, brother. Big win over the Patriots, and all of a sudden, Snoop Huntley, the Miami Dolphins, waiting on Tua, are a wagon, Gumpy?
Yeah, we got back to pounding the rock, which I love. Just run the damn ball, run the damn ball. Snoop, I'd like to see Snoop run a little bit more, but you look at the schedule, maybe we could be like 6-4 pretty quick here, the way I see it. So a long way from over here.
D. Butch, I know you're a fan of multiple teams, but the Dolphins are one of those teams.
Yep.
How do you feel about the big-time Dolphins win against the Patriots?
I'm right there with Gumpy.
What?
Not in the Patriots, in their spot where it's like, hey, season's over, looking forward to the draft. Nope. AFC East is still wide open, so that means playoff home game is on the table, and obviously we're searching for that playoff win. Not saying Super Bowl. I don't think we're winning the Super Bowl this year. Got some questions that still need to be answered. But I'm not with Gumpy as far as Snoop running, but as more, I would like to see a little more of those bang gates, quick post routes. We saw a lot from Tua, but hopefully Tua gets back in there when he's feeling better.
Okay, if he wants to play, obviously. Everybody, all signs seemingly are saying he does want to return to football. And congrats to you guys. OBJ's on your team.
Yeah, played well.
11 snaps. Look good. Look fast.
He's back. What was the big to-do that was happening with OBJ while we were flying over the United States of America?
He just said he chose to play football.
And everybody was like, oh, thank God.
Thanks for coming out.
Everybody's real mad.
Oh, they were pissed. Yeah. Dolphins fans were pissed.
Yeah. I was just sitting there and Gumpy goes, of course. Of course. I'm like, what happens? He goes, well, OBJ said he's choosing to play for the Dolphins as opposed to just being, retired. And now everybody's like, oh, thank God. That is interesting. The world we're in. I can see how
we do need a third option, though. So if he can play a little bit, it's going to help.
Hey, OBJ, we're pumped you're back.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice seeing with Tua.
It'll be sweet.
Oh, yeah.
If Tua wants to play.
Sure.
Which everybody's saying he does want to play, which I never would have guessed. But, OBJ.
How many weeks? Till he can come back? Tua?
Couple.
They're on a bye this week, and then he's out one more against the Colts. Bill back for Arizona, I believe.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
If he wants to play,
if he wants to play. And he'll throw it to OBJ if OBJ wants to play.
Well, he chose to.
He chose to play. He
you're
made
trying
his mind
to.
up already.
What do you mean? You're trying to.
This is what Bruce does. He buries Giants legends. That's kind of his thing.
All right, let's go to another overreaction, shall we? Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but, says Tone Diggs. As I watched the Steelers blow a game at 1 a.m. on Monday morning, I thought to myself, we're all insane. Here I am, starting my week on Monday morning behind the chains. First and 25 to start the week because my happiness hinges on a football team that continually rips my heart out and pisses on it. Can't wait to do it again next week. Great. Tone?
Yep.
I just, would like to see if you still mean all those words that you said earlier today about what happened last night, early morning, by your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to be in the mirror next week, just like the Joker meme, just put on my clown makeup before that game, too. Because as football fans, we are insane. Only one fan base is happy every single year out of 32 teams. I've been happy twice in my entire fandom of 36 years, and that's actually considered pretty good to have 2 Super Bowls. But here we are. We're going to do it every week. We are football fans, and that's what we do, and we're all insane for it.
Yeah, we are. Shout out to us.
Yeah,
that's on you guys. I was pretty happy with winning a couple playoff games last year.
Yeah, but what about now? What about now?
Well, now it's Super Bowl or bust.
Wow, welcome. Yeah, welcome, Detroit.
Welcome to the real game. Welcome to the real game, brother.
Yeah, that is how it goes. But we're lucky to do this.
We are.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see Russ out there next week.
Well, he said, let's go get 7 or something like that. That's his new line.
Team 3 said that?
I think, well, it came, I don't know who.
Ben's coming back?
Ben Roethlisberger's on the golf course, brother. You know that.
Yep. Oh, he meant 7th with Barty.
Yeah.
I thought Russ was like, hey, let's be realistic.
Win the 7th.
Seven's the only one that can do this.
Thought he was saying, like, hey, let's go get after those people committing those 7 deadly sins.
No, he said.
That's a good one.
Maybe he did. God bless you. But
Maybe.
he said win the 7th, I think. And I think he's talking about the Lombardi for the Steelers.
Oh, gotcha.
So he's, in his time off, he's found his catchphrase.
Yes, is what is being reported.
That's why he hasn't played yet, right? He's
Yeah,
like,
he
I
couldn't do
can't
it.
fucking step on the field. without
And
my
every game, he
catchphrase.
was walking back and forth, pacing, just racking his mind.
Walking by the Lombardies every day.
I don't want to steal. That's why I can't do that.
One of the 7.
I come back week 7.
7.
Oh.
Play for the 7. Heaven rhymes with 7. How many super? Boom, bang,
God.
boom, pow. Win the 7th.
I'm
ready.
7.
Calf's good. Calf's good.
And I'm back.
Win the 7th.
Let's go, boys.
Here we go, boys. Did you see who led the team out? Was he like this in the front of the squad like he was in Indianapolis?
I was so mad.
Did you see that photo?
No, I did not.
Okay, so
He
the
looked
story,
great.
the
What are you
story
talking
was
about?
Najee Harris double bird
Yep.
to Indianapolis. That's all anybody was talking about in that photo. The only thing my eyes saw was Russell Wilson was in front in the middle of the team like this, just like this.
Leader of men.
Leading the entire Pittsburgh Steelers on the Indianapolis Colts. Justin Fields played that entire game. Yes, he was in the front, helmet on, like this.
I love it.
Me too. You got to see
we were,
us.
we were home, so there wasn't. He didn't have that opportunity this week. The Lightning let us out.
And Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop.
Oh,
Snoop
yeah.
had a good twirl.
And Big Glow. Big
And
Glow.
Glow. Yeah, Glow.
Glorilla
Yeah, he was
They
there.
lost with Snoop and Glorilla.
Well,
and Elon.
That's because his fault. Glow's been to a few games.
She's won. Snoop.
A lot of out-of-town fans there. Okay, we need some hometown fans there.
Well, it's 9:45 kick on Monday night.
No, I mean like all the hometown. I mean like we need like Billy Gardell.
Where's Brett Michaels?
Who grew up there? Brett
is
didn't
Brett?
grow up there either.
Well, Mike McCarthy was there, so I think nobody really won.
Joe Manganiello. Okay.
Yep.
Joe Manganiello's jacked.
Cubes.
Mark Cuban's down there in Dallas.
Yeah.
Keaton. Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
We need guys.
Mike Keaton's actually on show tomorrow.
What?
Birdman?
Oh,
Yeah, Mike Keaton's on show tomorrow.
Holy shit.
nice.
Don't.
You son of a bitch.
Come on.
I mean, I know him
Batman.
as Batman. I heard Birdman.
He was in both.
Good movie.
Starred in the movie.
Oh, I
He
never
also-
heard- never heard of
Multiplicity.
Birdman.
Yeah.
I only know one Bird.
He also created the De Leon.
one
The
Birdman,
other
not
guys.
I've seen so much
Jack
Michael.
Frost.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen so
The
much
other
Michael
guys.
Keaton stuff that it's kind of overwhelming.
Spotlight.
Yeah.
He'll be on show tomorrow. He's also
Wow.
Beetlejuice, obviously. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be on show.
Oh, yeah, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, exactly.
Monarch.
So good.
No, that's his name in Need for Speed.
okay.
The De Leon.
I don't. He's from
He
Pittsburgh.
was so good in that.
I'm a big fan because he's from Pittsburgh. But boy, I'm gonna have to do a lot of catching up tonight.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football going to be tough. So tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
Double TV, maybe just throw on one of the films.
I will.
One of your, the favorite one.
My favorite one, Monarch.
Yeah.
Whenever Monarch gets on the screen, I go, "Holy shit, is that De Leon?"
Yeah.
And then they go, "It is, and he needs speed, dude." And I go, "You're damn right."
Him and Toby Maguire.
It's fucking
great
in-
film. You should definitely.
Birdman.
What's the movie called?
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed?
Okay, I don't know. Monarch, De Leon. I don't know if these are movies or characters.
Characters, bro. You know that.
I'm a
We all
Michael
know
Keaton
that.
guy. I'm a Michael Keaton guy. I don't know that movie.
You
I don't
should.
know.
Well, that's because you don't got a Need for Speed.
Do that one tonight. Do that one tonight, H.
Let's go to another overreaction,
Okay.
shall we? This is from ZD Baby. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but if the Bears keep winning, I might get permanent got. And that's something I'm willing to sacrifice. I'll wheelchair around like Professor Xavier if need be. Also, the NFC North is the best and hardest division right now. Just tough-nosed football. And then it's a gif of
Professor Xavier in a wheelchair.
Bam. Okay, bingo. Exactly who we thought it was. ZD, I checked in on you middle of the game because that team has some real juice up there.
Oh, yeah.
It's very evident that this Bears team is, I don't want to say vibing, but vibing. Offensively, obviously, DJ Moore getting into the fray. Defensively, they're doing their thing. Eberflus has that culture rolling. It's like, wait, do the Bears actually have some juice? And Zeke, are you ready for all the meat? That was really what was going through my mind.
Yeah, I ordered a shitload of cherry chart juice because that's the only way to like combat gout. So I've been chugging that left and right, but it's pretty sweet to actually see everything firing in all cylinders. So it's like the offense is actually moving around. The defense has always been there. So
did you see this shit? Did you see this shit out of Caleb?
I did.
Yeah. He was doing the Caleb shit.
I did.
Couple different times. Couple different times.
Broke a record.
Is that the hip hop array or is that?
No,
it was
that's
breaking-
double. That's double.
breaking
It's hip.
When he does the whoo,
the getting out
while
of
he's
pressure.
running.
How he holds the ball too.
Yeah, woo. Yeah, he's like high stepping out of there.
Yeah.
Legs start going.
It is sweet.
These jeans are from Amazon. I don't think I can get them all the way up there. Quite a roll of the dice whenever you buy your clothes from Amazon. It's about 45%er. What I'm learning.
Convenient, so.
Very convenient.
Very
Shows up right here. It's $34.
Always worth it.
It's going to show up. Is it going to fit? Probably not. But if it does, we got a new pair of pants like these ones. But Caleb is cooking, brother. And they, it's Carolina Panthers, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't want to judge it too hard. Caleb, I saw them in the pregame show saying, Caleb's got a little spite with this team because they're the ones that traded away the pick.
Revenge game.
And I was like,
Okay.
They did.
Revenge game.
They did. They were alluding to it. I want to let you.
it wasn't the bulletin board.
I've never been more flustered in my life.
That's crazy.
Legit, it was said. So I'm happy Caleb could shut him up. I'm happy.
Amen.
It was
Good for
also a
you.
bigger game for Poles because Carolina passed on him, and he was really pissed off at him.
Okay. All right. I'm happy to hear that. Big game for the Chicago Bears, and they showed up. And congrats to Chicago fan base.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I think the Dalton. We talked about how you bring an interim coach and that's a game or two. Might be happening for not Joe Flacco, but for Andy, it might just be a game or two.
I mean, they scored all right.
We can call that one though.
What?
It was Dalton first game, and they were fucking awesome. Second game, revenge game against the Bengals, still awesome. It's his third game, I believe, is where the wheels fall off when it comes to backup quarterbacks like that.
All right, let's get to another overreaction. I don't want doom and gloom for the Panthers. This is from Matt Bam Bang. ASAP
Karyawan.
Nailed it.
Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but F the new stadium funding. Cleveland has to chip in some tax money to send Osama bin Watson on a one-way ticket to Pyongyang.
Gee.
Holy shit.
What the hell?
Okay. All right, so that's how people in Cleveland maybe feel about the whole quarterback situation.
Boy.
I think it is a little bit of an overreaction to start pinning those things together, but boy, they're about done with it.
Yeah, they are more.
Yeah, Kevin Stefanski obviously said he's our starter or whatever as we move forward. Calls for Jameis Winston are growing louder.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Fitzmagic even said, what are we doing here? We got electricity on the sideline, brother. Okay. We got a guy that's showing up at Cleveland events for the Cleveland Browns. And Jameis Winston, he has been representing, he said, going to community. I think he cut the ribbon at some house that was for Cleveland youth. He legitimately.
That's unreal.
James, this dude is he's becoming
the face of the
a Clevelander.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there waiting. And it's like, will they ever make that decision or move? And will it matter with how this Cleveland Browns team is? TBD. AJ, you're in Ohio. Cincinnati fans obviously going, well, we're supposed to have a good team. And then Cleveland fans are going, we made the worst trade in the history of football?
Yep.
Is that what happened in this whole thing?
Yeah, I'm around a lot of Browns fans. I grew up around a lot of Browns fans. And, I could see a lot of them making that tweet that we just read, actually.
Wordsmith there, Matt Bam Bang, the way he pieced that whole thing together. Send him to Pyongyang.
Where's that in the globe?
That's North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea capital.
Yeah.
Not the best place to hang out.
So we got Osama and Kim Jong.
Yeah, it's a lot, D, but
Yeah, I mean there's levels to that one.
That's how pissed they are.
They don't like it. They don't like it
I
one
would be
bit,
too.
and it's tough to watch. Then the way that one play was being framed, like Stefanski wants to go for it on fourth down 30.
Yeah, that was-
Deshaun didn't want to go for it. He walks off the field, and look how mad Stefanski is. Well, you don't want to go? Okay. We're going to – I guess there was already 11 people in the huddle. He didn't want to be the 12th. That is one of the jobs of the quarterback, which is what quarterbacks do. They stay out of the huddle until everybody's in it. Then they join late because you can have too many men in a huddle. That is an actual penalty. Allegedly, that's what Deshaun Watson wanted. But, boy, Browns fans are like, I thought so. This comes 1 week after he says, I'm not taking more hits.
Yeah.
I don't want to run the ball more. I'm not doing any of that. It's like this whole $230 million guaranteed experiment is seemingly over for most Cleveland Browns fans.
Well, and that's why it really sucks. Like, absolutely, if you're on a football team, and you guys can attest to this, when you suck, of course it blows for the players, but just the way it looks. Like, you can go all the way back to Dallas where, Deshaun's going to help up. I forget which offensive lineman it was, but then the offensive lineman's basically telling him, like, no, I don't need help getting up. And then, like, him walking out of the huddle like that. I think last week there was a scene, like, the body language and how frustrating it is to watch them must be excruciating for Browns fans. Like, that would blow to be a Browns fan.
Well, and it has blown for a long time being a Browns fan.
Yeah.
So this is a whole new angle.
So much hope.
Wow,
But they had a couple years of hope. That's the problem. They had 3, 4, 5 years of hope, Pat. They didn't really have that hope before. They had the hope, and then now it's like, oh no, now what?
And then Baker's down there in Tampa.
Yeah,
slinging it.
You notice I haven't said same old
Houston.
Browns at all because it's not even fun. I just feel bad for them.
That was a lot of sentiment of the Browns fans. Was last year was very fun. They were having a fun time watching that team. Flacco slinging it all over. Great defense. They were saying there's none of that this year. There's no fun watching the games. It's
zero fun, sir.
They suck.
All we look forward to is fucking football season.
Yeah.
And we don't even have a good time.
No.
We're losing, but it's not even fun. And then we had a guy that was fun, and now he's on the Colts throwing for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And our guy can't even fucking complete it. I mean, it is.
It also doesn't help that the guards are in the playoffs. So like they're just Browns. They're just out the window.
Who?
Guardians.
Who?
Oh, the baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good, right?
Yeah.
I was in Dahn for, what was that? What was the
SummerSlam?
PLE?
Oh,
Yeah. Was it SummerSlam?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
They
it
had
was
it in
Hall of
Cleveland.
Fame weekend. Yeah, so I'm up there.
yeah.
The Guardians hit a walk-off dinger, fireworks, people in the streets. It was electrifying.
That's a great setup they have.
Yeah, everything's kind of in one
Next
little
to each
area
other.
there.
Yeah.
And then you got Cleveland Browns. They suck.
Stink.
Worst
Chubb may be coming back soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they were
that'll
getting their
help.
line was
Healthy
healing
O-line.
up. Yeah, it was like vibes should be high, but then you just got Deshaun,
Nothing matters.
scrambling into sacks and moping around. And
Yeah, but Jameis is ready.
yeah.
Yeah, put them in.
Let's go to the next overreaction, shall we? This is from RG Veteran Muscle, okay?
Hell yeah.
I used to be a noob and a rookie,
Mm-hmm.
but these muscles, fucking vet, dog, they've been around.
Seasoned.
Okay, you see these tits? See these pecs? These things been around. You think this is the first pec dance I've done? I don't think so. See these abs? They've been here a while. Biceps, triceps? Come on, cuz.
Stacked.
Hashtag I don't overreact, but the Texans are going to the Super Bowl. The wins aren't always pretty, but a dubski's a dubski. All 3 phases of the game working in tandem to finish off the Bills was amazing. And as I said, John Christian, Kaimi Fairbairn better not pay for another drink, steak, or lap dance while he's in H-Town. Hashtag H-Town made. And I will say, Kaimi Fairbairn, the new points king of the Houston Texans organization as a whole, 59-yarder. That thing starts turning a little bit left, comes right back down the middle, and I assume every Texans fan's like, that's what Kaimi does. He's hit multiple 50-yarders. I think he hit 3 50-plus yarders against the Colts alone. They're hitting the top of the net. He's phenomenal. C.J. Stroud, incredible. Tommy Townsend, who got brought in to punt and hold for this particular kick, pins him at the 3 there at the end of the 4th quarter for them to even get in this position. It's like D'Amico Ryans, I don't know what he has done since he got in that building, but it needs to be studied and it needs to be duplicated by anybody that is looking to turn around a dumpster, not even a fire, just a fucking dumpster into what they are. I said it yesterday during the game. They need to trade C.J. Stroud out of the AFC South.
Oh.
Okay?
Please.
They need to think about trading him out of the AFC South. And look, this board even thinks so.
Yeah.
This board's like, amen, retweet is what it said. Because in the AFC South, he's going to be facing very tough defenses every single week.
Yeah, those Titans.
That's tough.
What
That's
year?
Yeah, those Titans.
Jacksonville,
Jaguars.
Titans, Colts, obviously.
Wow.
He needs to get, so he can go on and have a Hall of Fame career. They need to trade him out of the AFC South. Not everybody knew why I was saying that on the internet yesterday, so that caused quite a stir. But the Texans have really gotten it fucking right at every turn. And veteran Muscle 16, he can see it has brought his day.
Yeah, it started with Nick Caserio. You know, he inherited a dumpster. Obviously, Deshaun Watson was there at the prime of his career, didn't want to play, held out, kind of held the franchise hostage, went and got his deal, and then you rebuild. You go and get the right head coach. You go and draft the right quarterback. And typically, obviously, it's a lot more that goes into it, but those are huge problems to solve. So it seems like they hit home runs in that department. So Nick Caserio got them going the right direction. Unfortunately, I think they will be in the AFC South for the foreseeable future.
That's shame. Yeah, maybe expansion. Get the whole team out of the AFC South.
Maybe they'll realign.
Yeah, if they're not going to trade CJ, or maybe realignment. Maybe get Houston, Texas, the NFC. Get them out of here.
Or just pass for Texans.
AFC Midwest.
Or, well, you can't relegate them now because they're at the peak of their.
Yeah.
That city is large. There's a lot of people down there. There's no state income tax. CJ Stroud is awesome. They're going to be able to get free agents, trade prospects.
D'Amico's the
big time. They're not slowing down anytime soon.
How'd you feel about those new jerseys?
So sick.
The H-Town ones?
Yeah.
They sent me one. They sent me and Ziti one.
Yeah, it looked good.
It was sweet. It was very nice. Those Denver Bronco uniforms.
Those are cream of the crop.
We showed the PS2 highlight, and then while Patrick Surtain was giving his answer, Diggs was in here on his thing going, in our ears going, those Broncos jerseys are the nicest jerseys in the NFL. And it's like, can't help but stop conversation whenever you see him. And he's running 3/4 speed there, just kind of chilling.
Cruising.
Yeah.
Smart.
Also love the Jags jerseys. To not to rub it in the Colts' face, but I thought those looked sick too.
Didn't you think the surface was a little bit too slick? People were talking about the coconut husk. What about the grass down there?
Yeah, they were slipping and sliding
all over the place.
You got to wear the right cleats. You got to wear studs sometimes.
Well, our studs had studs, okay, and their studs had
11 years now.
Hell of a day, historic days.
11 years now.
11 straight, yeah.
That's tough business.
Flacco was the man for the job.
Why is that? What's the deal?
It's weird because the Jags have been really good over those 11 years too.
Yeah, that's the thing. The deal is the Colts just aren't good. And once again, 6
That's
years need 2 Super Bowls.
What do you mean? What do you mean the Colts aren't that good? You see what Joey Flacco did without any players on his team?
Joey Flacco is fantastic.
Alec Pierce, you see him?
They paid a lot of guys.
Michael Pittman Jr. had a touchdown. Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell. Couple decisions were made out there, I think, but other than that, they've been good for us. I didn't like seeing that early in that game.
Well, they know. Like something's in the air down here. I don't feel comfortable playing. Yeah, I'm not fucking.
There was a couple times maybe they could make a catch, but there's a human.
Yep.
And it seemed from the angle that I saw on TV, it might be different. And I'm not the only person that saw it, obviously.
Mitchell one was.
It's like, did they turn those down? Did they just say? Nah, I don't think so. And it's like
one alligator arm for sure.
Yeah, and if they're doing that, it's like, wait, those are our young guys. Those aren't like our, It's like, wait a minute, so everybody's just comfortable doing. We'll tell you about what is going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
You start. What do you guys have? Literally done nothing. Now, I don't want to, sound like old man in cloud, but how do we think that's the way that we're going to go about doing this? And then do they even care? Then you start spinning out of control. And it's like, why do I care? Why?
It's what every fan goes through, huh? I feel like.
Yep.
At some point.
But he might have just slipped. They both might have just slipped. That's just from one angle that I saw something. It's like tough, but they got a chance to bounce back.
Sunday, you'll be back.
We got a big one coming up on Sunday. Once
Huge.
again. Yeah. Can't. Joe Flacco's doing everything he fucking can.
Yeah. Long season.
That's when you know it's bad.
I got faith. EJ Speed flying around.
Oh, yeah.
Zaire dog.
Mm-hmm. Now we know why Nick Cross is so much.
The flow.
Nick Cross is great. He had a big pick yesterday.
Dog. Jalen Jones, dog.
Yeah. The flow, thank you.
Yeah.
He should probably. Is he not going to put one out this week? Since
I don't like that everybody that we play is starting to, remix that song. And that's going to get bad. We run into some of these real, it's going to get loud.
I mean, that's why DeFlo needs to go back to DeFlo. He was fucking chanting last week when it came to
He switched the flow up, bro.
And what happened? DeFlo stayed the same.
Again.
Yeah, we didn't finally break that curse.
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly. Finally break that curse. That's not the flow.
It is the flow.
Sing with
It's
flow.
not, man.
The flow.
It's not.
What, Coach?
Hasn't been all year. That's why you're losing, brother.
No, that is not why
It is.
Everybody's hurt on our team.
It's like Bones. Steelers are 0-2 since Bones did his banger. You can't have your team singing
Fucking
songs,
Steeler
dude.
time.
Fuck you up on time.
He went to the game. He got home last night.
I have no idea. I assume so because he wasn't texting Nick and I about it, so I assume he was there.
We have a friend who might be the biggest Pittsburgh Steelers fan on earth. Actually, would.
I think we all have a friend who thinks they're the biggest
Steelers fan
on earth.
I don't know about this.
This guy would actually.
He was mowing his lawn at 4 a.m. last night.
Yeah, after the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not happy.
We lose, we work.
Wait, that's what he did. Lawnmower, yeah.
Yep.
And he teaches his kids too.
Yep.
Yeah, wakes him up.
Excuse me, Steelers lost. You know what that means? We're all miserable. Fucking cut the
Get
grass.
the fuck up.
We cut the grass last week because the Colts. Fucking cut it again. Right now. That's awesome.
But again, they won. Colts won last time they beat the Steelers. Steal another victory. The flow was the flow.
That's a
Good point. Yeah,
he wasn't chanting.
Let's get to another overreaction, shall we? This is from Caden at Caden Stop PO. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Broncos are basically Super Bowl champs already. Just won 3 straight. We have the best corners in the league, and yeah, one of them is a white guy from Iowa. Riley Moss is a dog. Sertan is a dog. Bo Nix is rolling. Okay, Williams is running hard. Look out. All right, Caden, I'm happy to hear that. After talking to Sertan, it feels like the team feels that way as well. Behind the scenes, very comfortable, very calm. Sean Payton's got a winner, seems like.
Yep, and we know Sean Payton is a winner. You know, it's all about the quarterback. Can he continue to develop? I liked seeing that fire from him on the sideline, especially after what we saw last year.
He's 25, right, Bo Nix?
He's a grown-ass man. Yeah, he's a grown-ass man. But he, obviously he's got to continue to play better. But that defense, they show up every week, and they fly around.
Taking an $83 million cap hit over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So if they're able to continue to do their thing, seemingly it will only get better. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? It's from Stage at Sports Stage 101. Shout out to you for following along. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but I'm tired of seeing no coverage of the 5-0 Minnesota Vikings. You turn on Get Up. It's all about the Cowboys or Ravens for 2 hours. When is this team going to get some respect? Hey, Minnesota Vikings, congrats on being 5-0.
That's awesome.
KOC will be joining our program tomorrow in the 2 o'clock Eastern hour, obviously friend of the program. What they're doing and how they're doing it, I'm excited to chit-chat with them about. That defense, shutting it down.
Filthy.
That defense is shutting it down. Now, Aaron, obviously leading on a potential touchdown to win the game against, that Minnesota Vikings team in England after starting out incredibly rough. 3 interceptions against 1 defense, obviously 1 being the game ceiling from Stephon Gilmore down the sideline. But whenever you think about this Vikings team, Van Ginkel is just a menace.
Just killing it.
Everybody on Sunday Night Football that was talking about it, Football Night in America, was like, he knew the call for double slants, seemingly. So as soon as he heard it, he just dropped back and then knew it was coming. So that had to be some sort of information from Flores, from the Vikings, or they were just assuming that was the case because of how effortless he made it. Nonetheless, Flores' defense has been making people look bad all year. KOC's offense with Sam Darnold is obviously something that is very, very effective. And then special teams-wise, they got guys. It's like, are the Vikings... And we've talked about them being a wagon here for the last few weeks. Are the Vikings actually built to go on a true run as opposed to just being this splash in the pay and fun? They are, I think.
Yeah, it feels like they are. And one of the interviews during the game, one that I've actually enjoyed, was KOC, and he said Van Ginkel did that twice in practice this week. Now he blew the whistle so that he couldn't do the return. So they were ready for that all week. Flores has been unbelievable. KOC can scheme open anybody. I mean, the one play Mullins comes in, he looks incredible as soon as he
What was it, like a 31-yard ball or something? A 25-yard ball down the sideline. Mullins, 1 play, 1 completion, back to the sideline. Let's go ahead and talk about that in the meeting tomorrow. Sam back on the field. It's fascinating.
We need to make sure Aaron Jones is healthy.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be healthy. But when in different ways, like Sam Darnold didn't, light it up by any means. Defense always plays great. Only team to beat Houston so far this year. So
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah, so they're obviously rolling. I think they are built to make the long run.
I was going to say, I liked Sam threw an interception. Rodgers comes down and scores. And then Sam, the first play of that next drive, just ripped one like 30 yards down the seam. Like, he didn't, there was no hesitation.
Yeah.
Like, he came back and just kept doing what, like, he's confident right now.
I like when teams answer.
Yep. Yeah.
I like whenever teams answer in the fourth. I think that tells you a lot about the team because you can't get game-winning drive moments or last-second moments all the time, but you can get a team that can sense if we don't respond here, this could go a different direction. And then when they answer, it's like, okay. And the Minnesota Vikings, after a year without the football gods,
Yes.
Have to be feeling pretty good, especially with J.J. McCarthy's injury announced earlier.
yeah.
Losing Kirk Cousins. Now the Aaron Jones injury, we'll see. Congrats to the Vikings, AJ. Do they run the NFC North? Congrats to the Vikings.
I don't know if they can say they run the NFC North yet, but I give them a ton of credit, man. They're legit. I love their defense, and it's actually fun to watch Sam Darnold and see what he's doing.
I agree, and good for him for the road that he took to get to this point, and to beat the Jets, obviously, cool for him. I didn't love the horn that they took over to England.
Yeah, no noise.
Yeah, it felt like they kind of bamboozled Jared Allen into having to awkwardly bend over. And did he even do the sound himself, or what was he told? Because then smoke just came out, and then sound was a little bit. I didn't like
And
what
all
they
the
did.
Brits, so like, what were you just clapping for?
Why has he got his mouth on that big fucking cow horn? I wonder if they were. Did you see it?
I didn't see that part.
It was right before the game.
Right after Breland crushed it.
Breland did crush it, representing the United States over there.
Eisen.
Because normally the opera singers,
Yes.
they come in and fucking. When we went over there, the opera singer, very good,
Next level.
and the whole place. God save the Queen, obviously.
It's a very quick song.
It is, but they all were very. It was like a
Engaged.
chant on.
Yeah,
Yeah, here it
they're
is.
screaming.
They have him awkwardly. Look at this.
Like
It's right
that.
before the fucking game.
Looked like Michael.
Look how
Irvin out
uncomfortable he is. And then sound.
Nothing.
Nah, it's pre-recorded.
They
You
started
see
the
a
horn
mic?
later after he was done.
You see a mic? There's no mic even hooked up to that.
He
thing.
did start the skull chant or do the skull chant very well.
Great
I will
work.
say.
Can't do Jared like that.
I saw Packers fans doing it too.
What?
Yeah, they were.
No.
Everyone loves the skull
I
chant.
just want to be included.
No, they don't.
We can't see the drums. Or Jared Allen, so we're just going to kind of guess here. McQuaid was with this Viking. We will talk to McQuaid this week.
There's a Packers fan doing it.
There's a Vikings fan. And Ultimate Warrior fan.
It's a Viking.
And Jared Allen fan. And the guy with the hair down the bottom left. Now this is where it started getting uncomfortable. Look, Jared. I was so uncomfortable for Jared. He was too. Come on, we doing this? See, it didn't. See,
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Rich Eisen and Kurt, obviously, thank you for crushing it on a nice Sunday morning primetime game. Only game on.
Yep.
I guess you would call it.
Standalone.
Wonderful.
A lot of flags too. On
Too many.
Has that been away?
On Sauce?
Jefferson been getting those calls all year?
What?
Oh, he's an absolute dog, but I mean,
Whoa, what
they
are you
were-
saying?
They were
they were
giving
trying
him the
to favor
Michael
once.
Jordan.
Oh, they're
whistle.
finally calling PI on Sauce after a few years here. Guy's been getting away with it since he came in the league. dude.
Jeez, Gumps, that's a Miami Dolphins fan. Bubblegum Peanut.
You know it too, D-Botch. You know it too.
Hey, you do business as business is being done.
Bingo.
Now business being done right. He's getting called for it.
They went a little overboard. Him and DJ, I thought it was some that were, let the boys play.
A lot of flags. A lot of flags.
Yeah, ton.
It felt like yesterday there was a lot of big plays would happen, and then everybody's checking for the flag.
Well, Josh Downs tried to shoot a ref in the head when he got that first down.
So I don't like that one bit.
Pointed right at the ref, said, "Fuck you, bitch."
No, he
did.
No, he didn't.
I saw it.
That is not what he did.
That's what I saw him do.
He pointed at nobody. He didn't do a single gun. He just pointed for a first down because he got one. And I'll tell you what, at this point, him and Joe Flacco, unstoppable. I actually put that they're the next Hawk.
Yeah.
First down. First down, that's all he pointed. He just pointed.
Ref.
There's no ref around.
Ref
That was like a
standing
50 cal.
right
Look at
there.
that.
No. That's first down. He's got first down.
Big eye in the sky.
Almost as bad as the guy in
James.
South Carolina on Saturday.
No. Guy in South
100
Carolina.
shots.
He needs to be fine.
Yeah, the guy in South Carolina.
That was amazing.
Vastly different than Josh Allen going, move the chains, dude.
Yeah.
That's all he was doing, move the chains. Guy in South Carolina actually said, excuse me, pulls that thing out. How did he?
I thought that was.
He thought- was he shocked?
Freshman did, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Was he shocked by the flag, you think?
What? What did I do?
What the hell?
I'm too good at football? Okay.
That was crazy.
Okay. Yeah, boom. I mean,
We need more of that.
No, we don't.
I think we do.
No.
He got a lot off.
Jeez. And then and his teammates like, golly.
I thought it was a super soaker.
I think he was doing the Merriweather.
It is interesting that there is.
Super soaker. right
Merriman.
there.
The lights out.
Oh,
Yeah.
you thought you
That was the lights out.
Oh,
Light
boom,
switch.
boom,
Yeah,
boom,
light
boom,
switch.
boom. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And how would they view that? Because that could be like the American Gladiators tennis ball go.
I
I do like that. It seemingly is this year that everybody's like, no more gun. We're done with it.
Yeah, well, it's an election year, so.
Okay.
True.
Take our guns. It says a lot coming from some guy who had Elon at his game.
All right. Big thanks to everybody that sent in tweets using hashtag I don't want to overreact, but those are a fun part. And if you want to scroll through some great action on X, go ahead and hit that hashtag. It'll pop up on your search thing. Just read through those. There are teams going through some shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
We got to send out some real positive prayers, vibes, and thoughts to a lot of these fan bases because people are giving up hope and firing everybody. Now, there's also, I think, something pretty therapeutic for people to let their thoughts out on a particular post. And for that, we thank you for allowing us to be the outlet for your NFL fandom emotions.
Yeah.
We move on to week 6 now.
Hell yeah.
After tonight. But we're not doing overreaction tweets tomorrow. So, all right, if this one goes in, me and AJ are right.
Yep.
Oh.
Online.
I'm not doing it. All right, we're wrong.
There is a KC blog reporting that she will be there, but
Who's afraid of little old me? Should be. This is what Taylor's saying tonight when she walks into the kingdom. Okay. And then she's looking across at the Saints and Derek Carr's down there. Oh, my God. Can't believe Taylor Swift's here. And then, boom, he throws a pick.
Whoa.
Bang. Then Travis Kelce comes out and he goes, there's no Rashee Rice. Okay, there's no Isaiah Pacheco. But you know what there is? Little old me. And he fucking scores a touchdown. Can't do the bow and arrow, though, too.
Nope.
No, you can. You can do the bow and arrow.
Oh,
You can?
Yeah, because it's Cupid. It's love. Remember, he's shooting that thing up.
You sure?
I'm sure the rest.
If they do proper form, you know, if
Yeah.
it looks like they are attempting to act, I think that'll probably be.
Brisker doing last week, and he didn't get enough. He didn't get flagged for it.
Well, there was also a sniper right after a sack.
Yeah.
That was Vea crawling.
That was Thursday.
What if you fake an RPG on your shoulder? Could you do that?
You just doing one of these
And act like you're pressing the trigger, and then like watch it take off.
you know the My Cause, My Cleats?
Huh?
You know the My Cause, My Cleats, like the 1 week you're allowed to do it? They should have 1 week where you're allowed to just do whatever
all the gun
you want.
celebrations.
Yeah.
Imagine. Let's
Every weekend.
Yeah.
You can have some guy as like the truck driver in front of you.
I really need to score a touchdown this weekend. Why? I got a gun celebration that the world needs to see. I'm fucking spinning them, bang, throwing them up, pulling out of the thing. Boom, 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 boom. I'm throwing a gun up and catching it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? They are attacking the gun celebrations. Seems like a good move.
Probably the right thing.
Everybody's kind of agreeing on it, too. It seems like.
Good move.
Even his teammates, after he did that whole thing, were like, bro,
What are you doing?
that's not what we need to do. We can do anything else.
Jackson Dart is a family, okay?
Jeez,
His teammates had like, you really thought this was you were cool? Like this is all right?
I saw somebody tweet, oh, some kid going to think that he's allowed to bring in his loaded finger guns into a stadium. Is that what? And it's like, I don't know if that's the reason, but feels like everybody agrees that this is a good time to move on. I'm excited to see what people come up with next, you know?
Yeah, we'll see.
That one's catching on.
That's pretty good. You know what
What's
that
that
is?
do?
Well, I think it gets calls late in fourth quarters,
Huh?
and you win.
About that?
Do you have any idea what we're talking about right there?
No clue.
Couldn't even guess what this is from.
Come on, AJ.
No.
All the kids are doing it.
Wow.
Ask your kids; they'll know.
AJ.
It's
They
in
probably,
right
oh
now.
wait, is this old buddy? Is this one of the Rizzler or Big Justice guys?
It's not the Costco dudes. Costco dad is getting back in the wrestling ring. You know that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Shit.
He's an indie wrestler. I think he just
Mania.
signed. Yeah, and then Costco kid, I saw him doing something the other day. He was throwing a baseball, maybe.
Big Justice.
I don't know. Costco guys feel the boom. They ain't doing this though.
Still bringing it.
You'll learn it. You should know it, by the way. Just you should know that, AJ. I'm kind of disappointed actually.
All right.
It was a late game.
I don't know what it is either.
What the fuck?
Cam Ward.
Foxy was going through a goddamn maze up there.
So this is college football?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, I got it. Okay.
Run Cam Ward's touchdown.
Just run anybody basically scoring a touchdown in college at this point.
Anybody they played against.
You know what I did like when they were down? They weren't doing the Sally though.
You know what I
The
did?
old you would have done it.
Agreed. You know what I did like as well? Michael Irvin trying to jungle cat himself into the game.
Yeah, incredible.
Him down on all fours, obviously emotional, riding every wave. It was that was a huge part of it. Run down the field, Cam Ward. Boom, bang, pal. How you doing? See ya. Love it. Hey, Joe, come on. I think you're saying you smell. You're stinky. You stinky.
Really?
You stink.
Oh, okay. I like that. Then. Very creative.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a
It
big
is.
gun.
It is. You stink.
You stinky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like it.
away the smell.
You
smell like poop.
What if they go, what's the next step? Oh.
Oh.
What if they take uniform?
Yeah.
Up over a thing?
Over the nose.
Jeez. You stinky, dude. A lot of people saying the ref's stinky whenever the Miami Hurricanes are playing.
I mean, this was bad. I saw this. I did see this.
9:46 left. You know what the Miami Hurricanes would do after Michael Irvin went down on all fours? They go on to win this game. They go on to win this game.
Good tweet. Good tweet.
Texas got Matthew McConaughey. We got Mike.
I'll tell you what, X is alive with Michael Irvin both the last 2 weeks.
Man.
Fourth quarter last week against Virginia Tech, they were down. He called up the whole team. Called up the whole team on the sideline. I don't know if Cristobal said, sure, Michael Irvin, you do whatever you want. This week, he's down on all fours.
What's this camera guys do?
The camera person was really trying to showcase the doggy styleness of the stance. It felt like it was real artsy shots.
Like
explore the space.
We need Texas versus Miami playoffs.
Bad.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome.
Anyways, all right, let's get out of here. Let's enjoy tonight.
Okay.
Week 5 wraps up this evening with the World Champions playing. We're lucky to be here. College football, thank you for bringing the heat all year.
Oh, yeah. They keep going.
Is baseball happening tonight?
Yeah.
What do we need to know about baseball over the weekend, Bruce?
So over the weekend, the Phillies and Mets are the NL series, both of them are tied 1-1. The Mets kept the magic rolling in Game 1, but in Game 2, they lost on a Nick Castellanos walk-off single.
I heard place went bananas.
Oh yeah. That game was a banger. You had homers from the polar bear. Nick Castellanos had one. Bryce Harper had one, and then this here is the walk-off in the 9th after the Mets tied it in the top of the 9th. Story of this series: turn it on in the 8th inning. Magic's about to happen. Every game so far has been late deciding action. The Dodgers and Padres, they are also tied up.
They're fighting each other, I heard.
A little bit, yeah. So the first game, Ohtani sort of made his presence felt in the postseason for the first time with a 3-run homer that powered them to win Game 1 7-5. And then last night in Game 2, things got ugly a bit. It was all Padres all night. They won 10-2. But Profar, left fielder for the Padres, robbed a home run, pretended like he didn't rob it, so the whole place.
From who? Mookie Betts.
Yeah, Mookie Betts in the first inning. He sells it like he didn't catch it, so the whole place celebrates. Mookie Betts rounds the bases. Dodgers faithful didn't take too.
Graphic even pops up. Home run!
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great move. I didn't know this could happen.
No, this is new. I don't know if this has ever been done. He's laughing about it afterwards, right in their face.
What a move. To have the wherewithal.
Yeah.
I'm robbing a homer. I'm going to make everybody think that there was an actual home run, except for these 7 people that had their hands around this thing. Everybody else is going to go, Mookie Betts is rounding second base. The Dodgers dugout going bananas. The TV graphic pops up. Home run! Home run! This is what you came for. It's in his glove right there. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Mookie needed that, too.
Yeah.
They're struggling. Last couple posts.
I think it's even worse now.
Yeah.
Even
Kinda.
worse.
I'm out of the slump.
So we didn't see it because they cut away because once again they thought it was a home run.
Yeah.
Did he just toss that ball up out of his
don't
glove,
know.
snag it, and go, ha ha ha? Is that what happened?
I think basically, yeah.
Man, baseball's awesome.
Because he must have showed the umpire to be like, hey, no, actually, I caught that ball. So then as the night went on, some Dodgers fans were throwing balls at Profar while he was trying to play left field. The game was actually stopped. Profar went over and talked to the umpires like, this is getting a little crazy out there. On the other side, in right field, Tatis, who hit 2 home runs, he was sort of just giving the fans the business. He was like kind of strutting his stuff. I don't know what he calls the move. He's got some like pretty sweet Dominican dance moves, but he was kind of just like showing them his balls, I guess you could say. But yeah, all Padres. That one's knotted up at 1-1. Both those series pick back up on Tuesday. Michael King, Carl Ravage's sweet boy, is pitching for the Dads in that one. And then on the AL side, The Guardians beat the piss out of the Tigers in Game 1.
Oh, no.
7-0.
Was Brewski pitching?
No, there was no Brewski. Well, that was the problem. But the boys have been doing so much. They just wanted to take a Saturday off.
Nice.
It was a day game. They said, hey, guys, you did it. You got here. Let's take one off. Now we got Screwball tonight. And Screwball's the best pitcher in the league. So we'll be right back in this thing.
Paul Skeens is, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's actually at 4:08. So coming up on us now, they need to get a win behind their ace Screwball. And then the Yankees are up 1-0 on the Royals after a thriller, really, where there were 5 lead changes, a postseason record. Verdugo, the hero in the 7th, with this RBI single. Jazz Chisholm comes around to score without a slide. He is our spark plug. He is our lightning. He is our king.
I like the umpire just staying in the way.
Yeah, what the hell?
I thought he was going to slide. I assume that's why the heat comes around. Big time win. Bob Costas going crazy on the call there, or what?
Man, Bob Costas, searching for a nice way to say it, but man, listening to him call a baseball game is just
What's wrong? He's a
Whoa.
Since when?
It's awful. It's just monotone and boring, and he's telling random stories about
That's baseball, right? Because there's a lot of time, there's a lot of personality.
Sounds like he's nailing it.
Yeah, but he explained a reviewed call at second base for like 5 minutes about how the Yankee player was surely out, and then they came back from review. He was safe. Everybody watching the replay could see that he was safe, except for the guy calling the game, Bob Costas.
Did you talk to Ty about this? Have you talked to Ty about how?
I sent him a couple funny tweets about Bob Costas. I do wish he was here to discuss it further.
I'm sure we'll get an opportunity.
The Yankee story, though, a lot of people are saying this is kind of like the Celtics path. The Astros get knocked out. The Orioles, who we couldn't beat, get knocked out. Now we got the Royals, whoever wins Guardians, Tigers. Bit of a chill ride through the AL.
For the Yankees.
Perhaps. I mean, Judge has not hit in the postseason throughout his career. It's kind of a...
What? I thought you guys paid him like $900 million or something.
Yeah, and every time you look up during the regular season, he's hitting a home run, but not so much in the postseason. He struggled in Game 1. Garrett Cole struggled a bit, so we got to get going now, fucking tonight. But if it was ever going to happen, this is the easiest path through the AL that there's been in some time.
All right. Well, thank you for the baseball roundup. That was really good.
Thanks. Guardian Tidbit, they have the best bullpen by far.
The Guardians?
Yeah.
Guards. I learned that today.
Yeah, they dropped
the
that out of nowhere.
The guards.
The Guards are playing.
I was so confused. So flushed.
I'm not going to call them Guardians.
Cleveland Commanders.
Bingo.
That's
their name.
That's what I want to call them, but.
All right. Thank you for that. Baseball's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey starts tomorrow, I think, for everybody.
There we go.
The NFL is rolling into week 6. College football, hooking.
Dominating.
Anybody can be in it right now.
Yeah.
Literally anybody with everybody that lost. Once again, cannot stress this enough. 1, 4, 9, 10, 11, 22, 25. That's not some lottery number. That is all the top 25 teams that lost this past week in college ball. That's bananas. That's the most since 2016. Since 2016.
And in 2016, I assume it wasn't against
I assume it wasn't 1, 4, 9, 10, and 11.
And against unranked, like all of like Bama, Tennessee, Michigan,
all of them,
USC. Those are all against unranked teams.
Yeah, 9 to 10.
Louisville and UNLV too.
Michigan shouldn't have been ranked 10th, and they weren't favored. So
no, but they were.
Bruce is a Michigan fan there, trying to soften the laws.
I'm just saying, we ain't got a quarterback. We're not going into Washington winning.
But you guys play rugby, though. Pretty good.
You're on your third quarterback, so you don't have one.
I saw that.
3.
I turned the game on when I got home. I turned it on, and it was like, that's not who I thought.
Yeah, the fuck is that?
They benched Georgia.
Oh, no.
He can't throw a football. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how it happens. How can he be that athletic, play football, play that position, and not just pick it up?
No.
Like throwing a football.
How can you
lucky
be the
a couple
defending
times.
national
The other-
champions and not have
The other problem is he's had some runs, but it's not like he's housing 80-yard QB
Last year,
powers.
seemingly, maybe because it was intermittently
Yeah,
with
it's
JJ.
a little more razzle dazzle. But even now, it's like they bring in Tuttle, and then it's just Tuttle. You don't see Orgy the rest of the night. Like we're not using any of that athleticism really. It's just Tuttle show now.
With that being said about athleticism and being able to throw a ball, I don't like what you immediately said about punters after that guy dropped that hold. You need to watch it.
Bad look.
Do you see the reason?
Had hands.
Do you see the reason why it's such a big deal? It's because the guy dropped one.
Yeah.
There's hundreds and hundreds every single weekend. Never hear about a drop. You know why?
Fair point.
Punters, baby.
Walked in.
Punters got these hands. Holding was the worst job I've ever had. How far?
Thankless job for sure.
No-win situation.
What kept you up the night before your first couple of games? Fucking holding for Adam Vinatieri. That was great. Vinny knew it too. The thousands of balls that he threw to me during training camp. Like, we're going to find out. You're not ruining the Hall of Fame career here, pal. Heard you had a good time in West Virginia. Lied to Bill Polian about Holden. That's cute. Okay, we'll see. That was tough. That was no fun. Legitimately.
What do you do there? No fire call? We had one in the Dolphins game as well. That was just.
So for that, I wish that Sanders would have stuck with him. Do we know exactly how long that kick was?
That was an unbelievable play by Jake Bailey. Did you see how many times that thing bounced 3 times on his way to him?
It would have been a 50-yarder if Sanders would have
It
kicked.
was 50-something. I looked it up earlier. Hold on.
So that's a far kick. If that's really far.
And a fire call.
51-yard attempt. That's, I mean, he would have had to one-step that thing through it. So I'm wrong on that note. But with that being said, I thought Jake Bailey handled that very well.
Like what? Like that got to be fire, right?
Trap, yeah, probably. Shorter kick, you put that back up, I think. Like, because Sanders could one-leg it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like, if it was 40 and in, I think you can one-step that thing and kind of power it through if you're an NFL guy. But because the ball rolled back, obviously the timing's off. From snap to kick, you're trying to get it from 1.25 seconds, 1.35 max. So that roll probably took 1.4 seconds to get back there. So the Patriots are already in the backfield. They blocked a punt already at this point too, I think?
Yeah, same guy, Schooler.
Yeah, so there's been some special teams flaws. Every once in a while, a ball either slips out of your hand as a snapper or it hits the ground and like deflects off the ground. Those are the two ones that are like kind of the Achilles heels.
Never high.
What's that?
You don't see a lot of high ones, though.
Yeah.
I mean, high sucks too.
Yeah.
The one that the
Bengals one.
The one that the Bengals one was back here, which is not good either.
No.
Like this is not great either. None of those are perfect. Give me that fucker right here.
And the laces are on the snapper. Right?
Bingo. I want the laces from here to here, and that fucker better be right here. Okay, we got 1.25 seconds here. I don't have a lot of time. I'm just bang, bow, and then ball's out of there. You know, that's why the quarterbacks don't do it as much anymore as punters, because the amount of times that's repped for the timing purposes, because people have figured out how to get around the edges in a certain. If you have a guy that runs 4.3 or 4.4, you don't get that off 1.35. That thing is blocked.
Yeah.
Like that is just how it goes. And if you block it, there's a good chance you take that back to the house.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of offensive linemen, you got a kicker and punter out there. So it's like timing is everything, which is why, I mean, jumping right over top the center that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. It was San France.
That can happen whenever.
Did you see the name that scored that touchdown?
What's that?
The Giants touchdown? It was Bryce Ford Wheaton.
West Virginia stud.
Yeah, man.
Dog.
Yeah.
Flying.
I did not know he was in the league.
You repped that too, scooping scores.
Dude.
Yeah, that was clean.
Yeah, you cannot get a kick blocked because nothing good happens because you got a lot of big bodies trying to chase people. But the timing is everything. Timing, boom. Which is why quarterbacks can't get as much reps with the snapper, with the holder, with the kicker. So anytime it's off a little bit, it's a big problem. I was wrong there with Jason Sanders sticking with Jake Bailey. To your point, 51-yarder, I think that should have been fire call.
Fire, pick it up.
Fire. Yeah, I've never seen one work.
Right
I was about to say that.
Yeah. True.
I don't think I've ever seen one work.
I would have thought you would have had one.
No. Brother.
I mean, I know you got mitts, but
Brother.
the snapper, you got to depend on the snapper.
Overton was great. Justin Snow was great.
Fourth down Army.
Every once in a while.
Pat had a firework in high school.
That's right. I ran that fucker myself as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
That snapped overhead.
Yeah.
This might have been my first game. Overhead, all the way back to 30 maybe?
Yeah.
20 or 25, 30. I go scoop that thing, kicker. Guy, before that game, I don't think I even knew how to put on my pads. Guy only played backyard football. Guy gets on waist, throw guy with waist.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we're dancing. Now all of a sudden we got opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking run it. I run it, score.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive because you got a defense out there with.
I felt good too. I didn't
a lot of other athletes.
I thought I should have got the ball a little bit more after that.
Yeah, probably.
But we were just waiting on the ball to get snapped out again.
What a start to the career, huh?
Yeah, I think I hit a 47-yarder in that one too. Never get sent back out for another one longer than that. Thanks, Coach. I had a good time. Shut up. My mom drove me to that game because we had an away soccer game on Friday. So I hop in car with my mom, drive to football game. It's like 30 minutes before the game starts. That's when put your pads on. All right, so we're fucking.
Ow.
I think I remember this one. Are we actually doing the
hip pass?
Yeah, are we actually doing the whole? Yep, gotta do it. It's like, all right, I don't know how to fucking. What am I doing with the belt?
The belt. Oh,
yeah, the whole
pain.
thing. Yeah, and then I get one in. I remember that. That was a cool time. such a beast. I think we won that game, too.
Yeah.
That was a good
Blew
time.
him out.
That was a good start. Fox Chapel. Sorry about it. Rich kids.
On AstroTurf, yeah.
On AstroTurf, yeah. I have great memories at Fox Chapel. Boy, those kids hated me. Buddy.
It's good.
They hated old Pat. I almost got into a fight with their student section, a volleyball game. I mean, that's where.
Close quarters.
Yeah. I mean, they're on top of you.
True. Yeah.
I also hucked I threw volleyball, kid's chest.
Ooh.
It was awesome. That may be one of my best throws of all time. Past Eric Swope. Good ball.
Yeah. Good ball.
Dewey.
Called it. Swoop called it.
Caught it. Dewey, good ball.
Did not.
Yeah, but there was a lot of things that happened there. And then that kid getting hit in the chest with a volleyball, maybe my top 3 throws of all time. But I don't like you taking the moment to shit on punters because that guy had a bad moment in that
You're right.
situation.
It doesn't happen. I was wrong.
Thank you. Punters have better hands than all DBs? I think so.
Ooh. If you put us all together, yeah.
All combined,
I'll
for
say
sure.
that.
I think
for sure, because you rarely see punters drop it. You see DBs drop.
But we can't move.
3 every week.
It's not a moving catch, though. You know, this needs to be a stationary contest.
Reps.
Just
From the
jugs
jugs,
machine. Yeah.
The DBs, it's just some guys who you just see who just never, they could be 10-year starters. Like this. It's wild to me. Like,
How's it happen?
I don't get it. You can do everything else, but you just can't catch a foot. It's not like a tennis ball or base, like it's a football.
Just like the throwing thing, like with Orgy. It's like, how can't we, it's like 10-yard ball. Just
quarterback at Michigan.
Just put it there, and it just doesn't go there. I'm like, is it a mental thing at this point? I wonder.
It's got to be. I mean, he's just like throwing it 101 miles per hour when he doesn't have to. It's the class, just airmailing everybody.
Is your season over up there in Ann Arbor, brother?
No, I mean, it's kind of a one-game season. It's never over till it's over in Columbus.
You got Indiana a couple weeks.
That's true. That could be tough.
Run into Sig.
I thought there might be some trouble lighting up Sigs on the lake there, but there really wasn't at all. He's got Rourke fucking buzzing.
Hey, this Indiana team's real deal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, boys.
They score points.
Let's go.
That means you're in every game.
Yes.
If you're not to score points, you're going to win. You're going to be in every single game, especially in the Big Ten. And it seems like they're able to win even these like shitty weather, like on the lake, not going to be easy. They're able to do it.
No problem.
When you're a team and when you're a good team and you can't score points, which exists out there, like Iowa, Michigan, stuff like that, you're playing with fire and can lose any single week.
Hey, AJ, Ohio State a little scared to fucking Kurt Cignetti's come to town?
I don't know. I think they're probably even bigger chip on their shoulder because ESPN said they had a sluggish day beating Iowa 35-7. So people are definitely rallying around.
Who did that?
I believe some ESPN folks may have put that out there.
Who though? I would like to know.
I don't know. I don't know who's the actual author who did that.
I don't know.
Who said that?
I didn't hear
it's
that.
all over.
I saw
it's all
this
over
as
the internet.
well. Yeah.
Who was it?
I'll try and find
even
it.
who was it? Joel Klatt even commented on it and said, "This is garbage. Like, what are we doing?"
Buckeye Pete reverse jinx probably.
No, it wasn't.
Joel
Pete
Klatt last week had saying that his Georgia-Alabama take was one of the wildest things I've ever heard.
I respect the shit out of
I
Joel
love
Klatt.
Joel
A lot
Klatt,
of work.
but it was
I enjoy
wild.
listening to him. But the ESPN said what? That Ohio State had a sluggish game?
I guess how they recap the games that all these other teams got beat by people that you probably normally wouldn't get beat by, but Ohio State wins 35-7, and it was like a bad day for them.
God, Buckeye.
Which is a great spot to be in. It's a beautiful spot to be in. I love it, man. Take it all.
Ohio State had little trouble swatting away Iowa 35-7. Still, it had to feel like a loss for the Buckeyes, who are the first-ranked team to allow points to Iowa's offense since Michigan surrendered 2 touchdowns in a win over the Hawkeyes in Week 5 of 2022.
Who?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
We just want to know who said it. Because if ESPN's going to get blamed for it, I would like to know who.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, especially if the entire state of Ohio is like, fuck these people. Like,
Yeah, what? No, whoever. Yeah, whoever
looks
did.
like,
I'd like to thank
David-
them for giving the Bucks some ammo.
Let me make sure.
Jesus.
Just so we know, though. Just so everybody just so we all understand.
This guy,
Yeah, it's David Hale.
Okay, David Hale said that. David Hale has a job for ESPN, it appears.
Yep.
And David Hale, I guess, wrote a article, which, David, we appreciate your journalism and journalistic standards, ESPN staff writer. But I don't like the entire state of Ohio going, ESPN, SEC ESPN says that Ohio State struggles in a blowout. It's like, whoa. We got massive respect for this Ohio State team. I actually appreciate the fact that they went all in. Like, hey, we're paying a lot of money to a lot of people. We're sick of fucking losing around here. I'm a big fan of that. Going to game day this weekend to watch the show with Oregon. It's like, let's not let David Hale be although I respect David.
Yeah.
And David Hale, you do a great job staff writing all over the place. I appreciate you doing it. But let's not just say this is it. Kirk Herbstreit doesn't think it was a sluggish day against Iowa, who's one of the voices of college football forever.
I don't know. I mean, I think if Ohio State goes on to beat Michigan, win the national championship, there might be an asterisk there that just says gave up a touchdown to Iowa.
All right, okay. All right, enough.
Lost.
We don't need to feed into this, please. David Hale doesn't even have an X account. Okay, so this might not even be real. We don't know what's going on.
AI Sports Illustrated.
Will you please tell the people of Ohio, though, that you run into, like, ESPN did not say that. ESPN called people.
I'll make sure to tell them.
David Hale said that. Okay, David Hale.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Hey, direct it, whatever you're feeling, direct it to David Hale, I guess, right?
Yeah, just like, whenever we say something, people are like, they blame a lot of people. It's like, oh, so you think these people are giving us, so I'm kind of offended by this all of a sudden, but I understand why you're mad. David Hale said that.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't even know if he exists.
Yeah.
Did you see that prank that Glazer and them pulled on Gronk?
Oh, yeah.
Good prank.
With
That
the
was a
tight
good prank.
end.
Good prank.
Oh, fake
That's a good
tight
prank.
end.
I enjoyed that. I thought to myself, that's a good idea, especially live in the moment. All right, give a take. Everybody else, Terry Bradshaw, was like, I think he's a really good player. And Gronk had to be thinking to himself, whoa.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. I've never heard of this guy. He's a tight end. I think I should have been known something. What's up, AJ? Getting a good pop out of you?
I did. I watched that clip as well. Gronk handled it very well, honestly. I think he did.
He's been out of the game for a bit. Gronk's.
He's got 2 feet, got 3 fingers.
Did you see the...
I got all 5 of mine.
Did you see the dunk tank this weekend?
No.
Fox Baseball and Fox Football came together.
Jay.
There was a dunk tank. Jay was sitting over the water.
good.
3-piece suit.
Oh.
Baseball. Had to throw footballs. Football had to throw baseball.
Yeah, his little footsies dangling in the water. Little feet.
Anybody hit it?
No, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Somebody ran up and touched it. Those are tough to do. Plum Community Festival, Community Days, used to have a dunk tank every year. Used to be a good time. I hit it. Years that I would hit it on my first 3 bowls, I would genuinely leave thinking, good community
Won the
days.
day.
Yeah.
Good community days. Tough. You got to hit it. You got to
It
hit
is
it.
difficult.
Yeah.
Because
You
even
gotta
if
hit
you're
it
at the
hard.
edge,
Yeah.
even if you're at the edge, not enough leverage to kind of
Yeah,
move
you
the lever.
gotta be middle, and people chase velocity too much. You gotta just
Location.
nail it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you hit the edge, it's not going to be able to move the lever.
Yeah.
Because that lever pretty solid. It's holding up a seat. Mm-hmm. So you hit that thing square away, it's going to move. You hit the edge of it, not going to move much.
Sport coat makes it tough too.
Yeah. Well, and also these dudes, I don't want to say it, but I'll say it, kind of all older. Probably a lot of reps on their arms.
Oh, it's far.
Straight in.
Wait, they don't even have They don't have a net or a cage in front of Jay. Why didn't any of these guys throw the ball directly at him?
We didn't see the full clip. There could have been certainly an opportunity
That is
to
a
throw one.
huck.
I think there is a little. No, there isn't.
No, there's nothing there.
Is it? How far is the pitch? 90 feet? What is it? 90 feet's the base?
90 feet's the base.
Yeah, it's like
66.6.
60 feet. 60 feet 6 inches.
Is that
But
what
that's
it
not.
is?
They're not 60 feet there.
56.
This is a throwback from when A-Rod overthrew Jay Glazer and knocked out the sign. Let's do that again. That's what Jay said. Good callback. Nostalgia. They set it up.
Throw a football.
He,
I played his golf swing. I lost
Let's see.
faith in his.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he can throw a football.
That's not a bad strike.
Good throw. Good toss.
All right,
Yeah.
this goes in.
Taylor will be there tonight.
Taylor Swift said.
Boom.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit. This is a big deal for
Big
society.
shot,
Made
brother.
this.
It's a big shot.
To take us to new heights.
I see what you did.
Nice.
Jay Kels on call tonight,
What?
Wait, what?
right? Monday Night Football, isn't he? He's countdown, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he'll be on
yeah.
countdown.
Yeah.
So he'll be there with his. There's going to be.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
There's going to be a moment. They probably had a sit down. They just ripped the podcast.
1-on-1.
Maybe.
And then if this goes in, you know the deal.
Holy shit.
Before she goes on tour selling out stadiums 3 times a week for the next, 4 years?
No, this is for me.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Oh, shit. It's over.
She's the international superstar.
Cheers.
Need the international ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Money.
Oh, no.
Man.
It's over.
No. They said this one.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, good. That one looked good.
All right, we're all
Great
good.
shot.
Tomorrow's going to be a great day. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Never been more evident, than going to Berkeley, seeing how much they love football, going to every part of the country, seeing how much we have in common as opposed to everything we have that kind of separates us.
Hell yeah.
Let's never forget that. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.